Radio. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nintendo podcast, season 2, episode 50. Half a century mark, man. Pretty exciting. Glad to have the core 4 here. Andres Restart back in the house. Between Andres Restart dipping out a couple episodes, Eric dipping out a few episodes lately, I feel like we haven't even had the core 4 truly together very often in the last couple of months. So it's nice to have the group back together.
I love the core 4. I love you guys. I'm gonna keep it clean tonight.
Yeah, look, I've heard this so many times. So many times.
Wait, why do people?
The last time I think you kept it clean was like the very first 2 podcasts when we barely knew each other, like over a year ago, 2 years ago. You came on, you were super clean. You were this pristine. I just sell PS5.
Thank you, because that's who I am, man.
I do. I was on NBC or ABC or whatever. I am.
Come on, get out of here.
And all of a sudden, little did I know, a year later, nah, dude, keep it clean. That ain't the truth. That ain't the way. No, it's okay, man. How we doing, everyone?
I keep it clean. I keep it clean.
All right, Mr. 2-inch. Let's get.
Hey, Nate, you look really cute tonight, by the way.
Well, you know, I'm sure you're feeling pretty dapper today after the victory last week, but we'll get to that in a little bit. How you doing, everyone? Welcome to the Center Pride Podcast. We're going to go around the room as we do at the beginning of every show, introduce ourselves, and what have we been playing lately. Let's slap her down to Andres Restart quick. Who the hell are you, and what have you been playing lately? Because I forget.
I don't think I'm at liberty to tell you who I am.
Oh, shit.
Wait, I didn't hear that. Andres, did you restart?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Wait a second. Is this like a cartel leader over here? You didn't even know?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Andres, come on, keep it clean. Let's not have any tomfoolery or shenanigans tonight, all right?
Oh, I'm being real. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Anyways, you asked me to tell people who I feel like it's evident, but I'm Andres Restart. I make Nintendo videos. Like,
well, it could be somebody here who doesn't know who you are. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't.
No, I'm actually gaining. Hey, I'm gaining subscribers this month, so it is possible there's people who don't know who you are.
It's possible. It is.
It's okay, and I might have dropped a bet on your live stream yesterday, so this audience might be your audience someday.
No,
you didn't take up the bet. No one actually took the bet. See, you can't. You can. I can bet whatever I want, but if nobody takes the bet, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
we'll get into that in a bit. But we got some topics coming up.
Anyway, to answer the question, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. What have you been playing?
So I beat Mario RPG already. That was a good time, and now I am playing Pikmin 4 again. I'm working on the 100%. I'm in the final area. I mean, I've gone to the credits, but there's stuff there's a post game that's actually pretty healthy. And so I'm well into that. There's 6 areas, and I've 100%ed the first 5. So I've entered the final area, and I will probably beat that
no
fairly
bragging.
soon.
No bragging.
It's Pikmin 4 is not a long game, so it's not really bragging.
That's okay. Hey, my bad, but no bragging.
I'm just talking about my progression, bro.
Okay, that's fine.
This is his way of keeping it clean. He's gonna find a way to pick on us without.
Yeah, just keep it clean.
By the way,
can you do me a favor and just do the rest of the chat a favor?
Did you do your year in review for Switch? I know you play a lot on PlayStation and stuff.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I could probably do it.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
just
on
you just
your Switch?
Google like Nintendo year. You might be able to do it on
No,
your Switch.
it's through a
but you can do
website.
it.
Go to their Twitter account, the Nintendo America one.
If you just Google Nintendo year in review, it'll pop up. You click the link and
that'll work too. Yeah,
log into your account. It shows a whole bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, I was surprised how many hours I logged between January and November.
Yeah, I had a lot in February for some reason. Ton of hours in February.
Maybe
I think I know what it was. I think it was. I said 250 hours in Breath of the Wild this year. I think it's because I was doing the master mode run to beat it.
So I put over 150 hours in Breath of the Wild as well this year, and I was like, wait, where'd that come from? And I forgot that
exactly what
we both were like doing like our own personal runs.
Yeah.
Lead up to Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I'm honestly surprised how many hours I put in though.
Like, I can't believe I put 250. Oh, you know what though? It's Zelda. I guess I can't believe it.
Yeah, you drop a 250. Yeah, that's significant.
I don't want to like look up the thing, but I can go
and
see how many hours I've played games. Right?
It's actually crazy because they keep a pretty good track of what your playtime is for each game, but they won't tell you actually on your Switch like they did for prior systems.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. It's weird. They just give you like a vague number after a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I've played Pokemon Scarlet for 315 hours, but that came out last year technically, right? So it's including a little bit of last year.
If you're looking at yeah, that doesn't count.
I'm not going on my thing. I'm just looking.
Yeah, I had 250.
It will be a solid estimation.
Breath of the Wild was the one I played the most apparently, and then I had like 90 in Tears of the Kingdom. Which I'm surprised I didn't have more, but then I'm not, because once I beat it, I really slowed down. So now I just kind of play it casually. And I know I'm already playing it casually.
I think I have like the same
comes out, so
in Tears, to be honest.
Like I think after May, I've only put in about 40-ish hours into Tears of the Kingdom, which is a good amount for a normal game, but for the scope of Tears of the Kingdom, that feels like a little bit. But I put like 215 hours in the first month. So it was definitely front loaded.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait. Actually, now you guys got me curious. What do I Google? What's the thing?
It doesn't take long. Just Google Nintendo Switch year in review.
Yeah, you just log into your Switch account. And
it'll
just give you a bunch of info.
Shit, I've got like 4 different ones. I hope it logs me into the right one.
Oh, well, you can check that on your Switch. Check that profile. Check the email.
Oh, I can. All right. Well, I'm just gonna give it the old college try. If it hopefully it'll give me the right one.
Try.
If it works, it works.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's all right.
Yeah, like it's the year in review and Nintendo.com will get you there.
Eric's literally looking at his right now. Eric, why don't you go? What's your year in review?
1 hour.
What you've been playing lately. Maybe you did play some games, but you get tossed in your year in review while you're at it. What have you been playing this year?
This year, yeah. Apparently, my first game of the year was Sparks of Hope.
Yeah.
I didn't even play that. Eric has played games that I haven't played.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah,
I beat Sparks of Hope, but that was last year. I beat it. I did a review.
Yeah.
Do you play it, Andres?
Sparks of Hope? No.
I'm looking
at mine. Well, my first game of the year apparently was Breath of the Wild.
How many games did you play this year?
41.
I played 36. So yeah.
And my total hours is 924.
Okay.
I came in with a solid 9.
9 games this year. Hell yeah.
171 hours.
Hey.
Solid.
Broke 100.
Tears of the Kingdom's your most played?
Tears of the Kingdom's most played at 124.
Hell yeah. You got more hours
than me into the right account.
It did or did not?
It did.
It did.
Sparks of Hope at 40.
There it is.
That's
most played in May, apparently. At 26 hours.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I had 21 games and 358 hours Number
Yes,
one was
I play more Switch than at least Jake. Hell
good
yeah.
job. Number one was Tears of the Kingdom, but 155 hours.
Solid.
And then Pokemon was 95 hours, and
That's
Octopath
good
Traveler
for
was
after the
30.
holidays. Okay.
Yeah.
There it
So
is.
for me, Tears of the Kingdom, I logged 254. I don't think this counts December, by the way.
No, I don't
Breath
think it's this month. No.
because I've actually been playing more games this month. But Breath of the Wild, 158, Metro Prime Remastered 63. So I did play it 3 times. Fire Emblem Engage 46. I'm surprised I put in 46 hours. I haven't finished that one. Future Redeemed, I put 44. Mario Kart 40. Mario Wonder 39, Pikmin 4 33, but I'm playing it recently, so that's probably gone up a little bit, and I don't have to talk about every other little thing.
No, that's awesome, man.
There's been some good games this year.
There definitely has been some good. I mean, I played 36. I was surprised I actually played 36. Then I went through the list and I was like, oh yeah, no, I actually did play every single one of these. I remember. Damn.
No way you beat them all, but you definitely
I
definitely
didn't beat
fired
them
it
all.
up.
I beat
Remember Farming Simulator? That was a good time.
yeah, that was a sponsorship. I mean, look, it was fine. It did what it did. It simulated farming.
It did exactly as
As
advertised.
the game said, it's not like Goat Simulator where okay, that's not really what a goat's life is
If
like.
you want to simulate some Farming Simulator is your simulator.
I when I looked through the list, I had beaten out of the 36 games I played, I had beaten 11, which I was actually surprised I actually beat 11 games because like my third highest played game was Mario Kart at 32 hours. And I'm like, man, how many games were I pulling off sub 20
Have
hour
you beaten Mario Kart yet?
No, because I didn't know 100% all the DLC. So, like, go through all the tracks and
what do you count as 100%ing them?
Just getting
all the
I don't know,
stars.
unlocking everything, getting first place on and 200cc on every single
The 60 pieces.
Yeah.
Those 60. Yeah, it's a little hard when you count for mirror 200cc. Like
yeah. So I haven't done that, but
I might have a couple to.
I might get around to
I don't
it
think I've
next year,
100% it. Yeah.
Because what's going to happen
pretty
is
close
they're
as
going
well,
to announce a new Mario Kart. And I'm going to be like, okay, I need to actually
Time
100%
to
DLC. Yeah.
do this.
I mean,
That's just how I
Yeah.
am with Mario Kart. Because I didn't care necessarily about 100%ing the main Mario Kart game because I already did that. That plus the first DLC back on Wii U. I 100%ed it back then. But when they did this whole, hey, we're adding all these new tracks, like, oh shit, I should probably do it for these. Nah, never really got around to it.
I'm actually surprised. I've only played 13 hours of Smash this year. That's
Nice.
that's not on that account because I've definitely played with other friends on different accounts.
So we got look. I'm about to put up a thing about how you guys can submit questions. By the way, for our Q&A section for $2 and up super chats. But we already got people hitting on Jake Randall, just kicking off the stream. Foxy Snivy coming in, or Sin Ivy, Fox Sin Ivy. Jake is so hot. Just throwing that out there. Thanks for the $2. I do appreciate the support. I'm glad that
I think I'm jealous.
I don't think I've ever got a super chat saying I'm hot.
Hey, Andres, I just want to, bro, you never have to be jealous of anyone in the chat. Like, you have my attention, brother.
I hope you saw my wink.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I love it.
Someone screen record that and send it to me, please. Thank you. DMs are open.
So,
You
Jake,
know,
what have you
on,
been playing lately?
wall.
So I gotta keep it clean, keep it real. This was one of those weeks where I really don't think I played much. Still trying to make that PlayStation Portal review.
Did you open it yet?
No. No.
Like, have we at least got the unboxing record? No.
No, but I've dude, in my head, I've planned out so much.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. No. I've made a lot of progress in thinking about the video, for sure. So don't even worry about it.
All right. For me, finally, you guys, for those who don't know, I was pretty sick a few weeks ago, so finally now getting right back into things. Played some Tears of the Kingdom over the last week. No surprise there. What might be a little bit surprising is I started Fire Emblem Engage, and this is how I know December wasn't recorded because it didn't say that was one of my play games this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, just briefly got started. I don't want to go too deep into it yet. I wanted to make sure that I started it because if I didn't buy it and start it, I was never going to, and I really like Fire Emblem, so I wanted to make sure I just had it. And then
you talking about Engage?
yeah, Engage, yeah. So I'm
I
gonna
actually-
probably play a lot of
I
that
didn't
over like
finish it.
Christmas breaks and stuff.
I got
So
like a
we'll-
little over halfway, and then
Yeah, we'll see. I know
Shoot
I
up.
really enjoyed everything I read and saw about the game, but I also really enjoyed Three Houses, and I know they're kind of different in how they approach some things.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm kind of curious how you guys feel on this, right? Because I would say I'm a Fire Emblem fan, right? Like Nintendo announced a new Fire Emblem, I'm buying it, right?
Yep.
And I haven't beaten Fight Engage yet, right? But that's just because we had a really crazy year. Because right after January, things got
Yeah.
nuts. And
Yeah,
right,
I didn't
so,
buy it because I got burned out doing my. This is why, if you guys wonder why I don't do game reviews, I got Sparks of Hope. I actually got it early, and I plowed so hard through that game. I was completely burned out on video games by the time January hit. I just didn't want to play anything.
I mean,
Sorry,
sometimes,
Fire Emblem.
sometimes you need breaks.
Yeah. Sorry, Fire Emblem. It's okay. You're back now. I got you before the
Yeah.
end of the year.
It's interesting because when I was looking at like my playtime, the first half of the year I was definitely playing more games, and the second half of the year it slowed down. Like I'm still averaging more than an hour a day, right? There will be days where I don't play on my Switch, and there'll be days I'll play like 2 to 3 hours, just kind of give or take. But well, I'm kind of curious on how you guys feel about this because I'm kind of thinking about it. Like I would say I'm a Fire Emblem fan, and I loved Three Houses. Like I was totally enthralled into Three Houses.
Yeah.
But I only did one campaign. If you count the DLC, there's
Yeah, I only went through one campaign.
you can easily have 4 different campaigns, right? I mean, like literally, it's not like yes, there are 4 campaigns if you count the DLC, and I had no interest in getting the DLC. Like I'm kind of content with my one campaign. Maybe someday I'll go revisit Three Houses and I'll do another campaign, but I just don't have any desire to do 3 to 4 on that.
You mean when they dropped the deluxe edition on Switch too?
Yeah, that's I'm not gonna buy that. But then and then for Engage, like I'm probably gonna beat it maybe later this month or January. Once because I'm trying to make sure I beat every major Nintendo game on Switch before Switch 2. So hence why I want 100% Pikmin 4. I'm gonna go back, get all the Shrines, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna finish like this stuff like that. But I don't think I'm gonna buy the Engage DLC. And so I'm kind of thinking like, what Nintendo games am I like for sure going to buy the DLC for, and what Nintendo games will I not? Like, if it's a Zelda game, I'm always going to buy the DLC, right? If Metroid Prime 4 comes out and gets DLC, that's for sure. If Pikmin gets DLC, I want to say yes for Pikmin, but I think I would have to see it before I know for certain. Xenoblade's a given. Like, yeah, that's it. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what do you think? Like, if you're not willing to buy the DLC for a game, does that mean you're not as much of a fan of it?
I mean, I think there's just levels to fandom. As an example, I consider myself a Fire Emblem fan. I have played almost every single one, and yet I didn't buy Engage for the end of the year. And if it was a Zelda game, I don't care how burned out I was, I would have bought it and bought the DLC.
Wait,
so I just think there's like levels
Nate,
to it.
You've probably said this before, but what did you think of Three Houses? Was that like a top tier to you, or you didn't like it?
It's probably one of my favorite Fire Emblems.
Yes.
Games.
Okay. Me too. Me
favorites.
too.
I mean, I think it's my favorite Fire Emblem.
I'd have to go back and revisit a couple of the old ones.
I agree, Andres.
Well, my
really
first
love
Fire Emblem is Sacred Stones on Game Boy Advance, though, so that one kind of has a special place in my heart.
Sure.
But
the GameCube one.
Dude, I love the Persona stuff
a lot.
I haven't played Persona, but I kind of that whole classroom thing.
The social links and the relationship building.
I really like that aspect. Like I like the
monasteries. You should try Persona.
I should. I know.
Persona 5.
It's
like literally the relationship stuff in Fire Emblem is just like that. And then it's a turn-based RPG outside of that. So yeah, I think you'd like it, man.
Literally a friend let me borrow Persona 5. I just didn't touch it.
Well, you can play it on Switch now.
I know. Just have to buy it.
Wait, did your friend let you borrow it on Switch?
It was a different system.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. But yeah, Persona 5 Royal Switch.
Yeah, I should.
Do it up. That's my favorite PS4 game of all time.
I know. I mean, people speak so highly on it. I wanted to play SMT5 as well. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
I think Persona's a lot more fun because it adds the stuff that Three Houses added. So SMT is like a regular turn-based RPG, but Persona adds in the social links and it breaks everything up. You know what I mean? It like divides up the gameplay and just works well.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah,
I probably will play it soon.
cool.
By
Well,
soon, I mean maybe within a year from now.
He's got to finish off the other games. Maybe before Switch 2 gets here. Maybe. I don't know. Depends if these rumors are true, then it probably won't be. But we'll get to the rumors in a moment. That's not our first topic. Our first topic is actually, hey guys, we had a couple like huge things happen over the last week. One was the Game Awards. So we're going to talk a bit about that here. And also the end of E3. Officially. Technically, hasn't really been here since 2021. If we're being real, it hasn't been here since 2019. That's the last time they actually did the in-person event. But first, let's talk about the Game Awards, because that was the first thing, and that's, I guess, the oldest thing since it happened right after the podcast last week. So what did you guys think about like the whole show? And as I noted here, I get to eat crow because I lost a bet. That kind of makes this trophy
every
also yours,
prediction correct that I had. Not only
the trophy is actually Jake Randall's now,
but how many Nintendo announcements there would be, everything, the whole shebang. And now you guys know, I might not say the popular thing and try to just win you over with manipulation like others, but I will be honest with you.
Hyping irresponsibly is fun.
It is.
It's fun. I'm not trying to hyping irresponsibly isn't telling people this is going to happen. It's saying I'd rather be excited for possibilities than just go in being bummed out.
Yep.
Because you know what happens when you hype irresponsibly and you don't get what you want? You get the hype for the next thing.
You know what's really fun?
Keep it moving.
Being right. Yeah.
I do agree. Being right is pretty.
I gotta throw the disclaimer in there. I honestly don't care whether I was right or not.
If we didn't have a bet, would it matter then?
I just
like the bet. So like, if we didn't have a bet, it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, he's betting everything. I mean,
don't
go. Please don't go to Vegas.
Wait, next podcast, are you gonna wear the Celtics shirt or is it gonna be like later?
It has to be. I have to wait till I get paid. I get paid at the end of the month. So.
All right, January.
Yeah, let's just say I didn't plan to lose. That was the thing. I could have pre-bought, but I was planning.
Would have been wise to have pre-bought.
So for those who don't know,
pre-bought then burn.
Jake and I had a bet on Game of the Year. Now we both wanted Tears of the Kingdom to win, but he knew it was going to be Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if he's got a judge connection. I don't know what's going on there. Might be a little. I don't know. We've had this debate before. We've had this debate before, so we already know.
Maybe I'm just wicked smart.
Based off social media, that was.
I don't care about social media. They're not the ones. They're not the ones deciding the awards.
I know, but that was the polls.
That's besides the point. That's besides the point. We lost. It is what it is. I voted for Tears of the Kingdom and bet Tears of the Kingdom. So we had an active bet. We're both NBA fans. We're actually like, ironically, the three of us are kind of like all rival fans of different teams that beat the shit out of each other in the playoffs all the time.
Yeah, the three best teams in the East, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, they've only been the finals representative like the last 5 years. It is what it is. Between the Bucks, Celtics, and the Heat. Anyways, so Jake's a Celtics fan and I'm a Bucks fan. So we bet, the loser would have to wear a jersey.
And for those of you that are really good at math, that would then mean I'm a Lakers fan.
And technically, Jake won another bet
the Lakers are in the East?
that he forgot about.
That's a joke. Because I'm the Heat fan right anyway.
Because Jake actually won two bets. We had sort of a for fun bet on Switch 2 being revealed there. Neither one of us really thought it was going to happen, but I wanted the hype. So he's actually supposed to control my name right now. And he forgot.
I was going to save it until you're wearing the...
Oh, you're going to do it with the same when I do the... Okay.
Since we're kind of touching on sports, it would be interesting if they did like a Vegas odd things for video game predictions. Like imagine if you could have bet money,
dude,
on like Switch 2 showing up at the Game Awards.
That would go crazy.
Because the thing is, the odds would have been low, but you'd make a lot of money.
Actually, that idea sucks, and anyone that's listening right now should forget that because it's so bad and definitely not steal the idea.
strike it.
Yeah, let's talk later.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Anyways, so yeah, the Game Awards came and went. Tears of the Kingdom did win best action game, which was pretty much expected. Mario won best family game, and then Pikmin won best strategy / sim game, which was not a shoe-in. So Nintendo's 3 best games they dropped all won their categories.
I mean, I would
Yep.
say Pikmin 4 is so deserving. Like, if you understand, like, so who's familiar with Dandori? Like, if you paid attention to like the developer diaries for Pikmin 4, Dandori is that it's if you play Pikmin 4, they tell you what it's about. Dandori is like the art of like organization and just like streamlining your process. And that's
Man, I would suck at Pikmin 4 then.
but that's what it's about. It's about kind of like playing efficiently and using your resources well. And that's strategy.
I do really like Pikmin. I didn't play Pikmin 3, but 1 and 2.
Dude, you should play Pikmin 4. I think it's the best game in the series.
I know. Trust me,
it is.
I'm going to
You
soon.
can
I'm not
skip
like,
all
just
the other
playing
games.
that.
You don't even need to play them to enjoy this one. It's so good.
I think
Yeah.
they did a good job. It's still a strategy game. I mean, it won best strategy game, but it's also like a legitimate action and adventure game at the same time.
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing. I want to play 3 first, not because I feel like I need to for the story,
Honestly,
but just
don't.
because it's
Play
just
it
because I
afterwards.
know that Pikmin 4 is so good that once I play Pikmin 4, going back and playing a previous game is gonna be like so unsatisfying. You know what I mean? So I just want to save the best for last.
I'll give you that. I mean, I'm not saying that I feel the other Pikmin games are unplayable, but definitely Pikmin 4. I think it's clearly the best Pikmin game for it. I'm sure there are some Pikmin fans that feel differently, right? Because there's nuance to these things, right? The same way there's nuance to the Zelda fan base. But I would say the masses would definitely pick Pikmin 4, and not just because of recency bias.
What a politician answer right there.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's everyone's favorite because it's very fair. But I think you're right. The consensus
would be Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4 is the best.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's very good. I mean, 3, by the way, is also really, really good.
Yeah, they're all good. I mean, the Pikmin series is honestly like it's
3 to me
extremely
was the
good.
best one, and then 4 happened.
2 kind of like the black sheep a little bit? It's still good, but it's like
Pikmin 2 is like the Metroid Prime 2 of the series, where it's like ridiculously hard.
It's really difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so it's just like Zelda 2, really difficult. What is it with the second game?
Right.
Mario Brothers 2, way harder than the original Mario Brothers.
It's kind of funny, right? That's interesting.
Yeah, with Nintendo games.
It's like they just know. I mean, Splatoon 2. I wouldn't
Name
say
one
that.
more example. Is that it?
Well, Star Fox 2 had to be canceled. So.
Well, no, we did eventually get it though.
We did get it. Yeah, I don't even know if it was even hard. I didn't beat it, but
yeah, I don't remember. I didn't play the original. I should have played the original and then played 2 after it came out.
You know, apparently it's on NSO, and I completely forgot it's on NSO.
Yeah, that's where they.
Oh, it is.
Cool.
Oh, I forgot. I think I knew that and also forgot it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
By the way, I just want to make sure to shout out Aaron Rass. Thank you so much for gifting the 5 memberships earlier. I do.
Yeah, you're a
really
real one, bro.
Part of the show, man. Which also reminds me, before we continue this conversation, that actually I got to shout out 3 patrons today. For those that don't know, you can support our show at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. I never talk about the damn thing. We're going to be adding a new tier soon, by the way. I'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But I want to make sure that we shout out our patron thanks tiers, Joyce J, Jeff Morrison, and Inchy Donley. Thank you so much for your support over on Patreon. And again, I'll have a new tier to announce at the end of the show, where you can actually sponsor an episode.
Is it going to be the tier of the kingdom?
Maybe the tier of Nintendo Prime's kingdom, when I had to wear a Boston Celtics jersey. Anyway,
AG guys here, Draymond Green was suspended indefinitely.
Indefinitely, yeah.
That I do think
he's
suspended.
Been acting crazy.
Oh, I mean, he's been off, but like
see what happens.
Definitely though, I would never. I thought they would have like a set amount of time. Indefinitely. We don't even know what that means. Like, that could be forever. It probably won't be forever, but it's just crazy that they don't even have a set time for his suspension.
Yeah, they're sending a message, not giving the time right away. I like that.
Oh yeah, I mean he has a problem for sure.
All right, so What did you guys think of the Game Awards? Was it pretty good this year, or kind of whatever? I
Oh,
mean, Nintendo didn't bring anything, but you gotta kind of judge the overall show.
Hey, Nate.
What's
You don't
up?
have to get mad if we go off topic.
Who said I was mad?
It's okay.
I would say, as someone who wasn't planning on watching it and only tuned into your live stream to watch the end of it, and just kind of looked at the announcements and what won, and seeing what Nintendo announced on Twitter throughout the day, honestly, my experience with the Game Awards this year was pretty good because I chose not to watch it, and it was great. Like, I actually really enjoyed tuning in to see Pikmin 4 win, Tears of the Kingdom win at their rightful awards. I heard about Mario Wonder. I saw the end of the show. I thought it was fine. I do think it's unfortunate that the please wrap up screen kind of worked the way it did. I know that it wasn't done with nefarious intent. It's just kind of an unfortunate circumstance that they're obviously gonna have to tweak in the future. Because like I see AJ Enuma, like, he's delivering a speech, right? And then that it feels so disrespectful. But I know they didn't do that because they're like, oh, we hate Enuma. That's just kind of like,
They need to stop trying to be like the Oscars.
I agree.
Yeah.
We don't need timers. I understand like they wanted to make sure there wasn't another like 8-minute speech, like the voice actor for God of War last year. And I get that. But when the people presenting the awards are given more time than the people who win the awards, that's not okay. When Gonzo getting 3 minutes to run a joke thing, but then we're sitting there and giving the literal Game of the Year winners who are talking about employees who died during development less than 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's not cool
to accept an award. Like, it's just not cool. And it's a thing that's the Grammys does it, the Oscars does it. I think what has to be understood, and I know that a lot of gamers tune in for the game announcements. That's why they do the game announcements. It brings in the audience. But when it comes to the actual awards, the video game industry is just different than these other industries and should be treated a little different in that gamers feel connected to games in a way that we don't to movies, because we get to feel like we're part of it. So when one of our favorite game developers wins an award, like say Zelda, and I can say this is a huge Zelda guy, and IGN almost on stage, and he's sitting there having to go through a translator on top, so he's even getting like half the time of everybody else because it's got to be said twice. It does feel extremely disrespectful to gamers looking at that and realizing, hey, we waited all year to see this man on stage accepting an award, and you're just kind of like, get off my stage. And I know that's not the intent of it, and I know they technically didn't kick anyone off, but game developers aren't used to this. Like, the game development industry is not movies and
hopefully
TV.
Nubba can't read English.
Music. All those people do public appearances, public speaking in front of crowds all the time. Game developers aren't. There was a guy up there accepting an award that was shaking.
Yep.
Because they're not used to being in front of people.
That was one of the Baldur's Gate ones, right?
Yeah, I think it was one of the Baldur's Gate ones. Yeah, I think the voice actor. Or
who was the voice actor? Wore the suit of armor? Was that the director?
I don't remember.
I can't remember who he was. But the point was like, this is a different industry. Those other industries that are all used to being in front of people and public speaking, and they can say a lot in 30 seconds to a minute. These people are going to take more time because they're not used to it, and we shouldn't be trying to get them used to it. We instead should respect the medium, and if you want to shorten anything, do less bits.
They should shorten it. I think they should shave an hour off.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I think
conversation happens every year.
Well, here's the thing. I think I've just realized the show is always going to be around 3 hours long. It is what it is. You know what? I'd rather the show respect to the developers, still have awesome game announcements, and Jeff Keighley needs to stop trying to please everybody. You're not going to please everybody. Stop trying to shorten the show. Just say fuck it. Put the best goddamn show together you can. Let the amazing speeches happen. And I talked about this extensively during a live stream because the big thing to me with the Game Awards and the speeches is my favorite moments at the Game Awards here. The big game announcements are great, right? Breath of the Wild was great to see that but some of the speeches have been absolutely amazing in the past. Greg Miller, when he won the Creator of the Year award, and he gave this epic long, like 3-minute speech, and he started talking about the people that never get credit in the video game development world, the artists and all this stuff that need recognition. And it was such an impactful speech that wouldn't be allowed to even happen today. The one developer for that Dragon, whatever, that won games for Impact, and it turns out the entire game was actually about his son who died of cancer. And it was such an emotional moment. Wouldn't even be allowed today with that timer. So it's one of those, and then you have obviously Baldur's Gate 3. They're up there trying to have an emotional moment, not really allowed to do it. Got to rush through it. I want that emotion from our developers because we feel emotions playing these damn games. And it's nice to see that the developers themselves care almost as much as we do about the games and what it means to them. And for me, it's a unique experience because we always see like interviews pop up on IGN and all these places where it's just these little text things and they're just asking game specific things. We don't see the emotion. This is an event where we can actually see what this means to them. And I feel like this year they ripped that kind of away. Like we don't get to see how much it really matters to them anymore because we're rushing you off the stage. And I just think if the time, like as an example, even that 8-minute speech last year that I know this, we don't want it to happen again, but you know what? I went back and rewatched it and I remember complaining a little bit back last year. Dude, it was 8 minutes long because he cared. Mm-hmm. He cared.
Yeah.
Well,
here's an idea. Tell me what you guys think of this, because like I know I said before they should have less awards, and you kind of, didn't necessarily agree with me. But what if they allocate longer times for more important awards? So maybe like some of like the less important awards, not to diminish anyone's accomplishment, but obviously there are certain things that are clearly. I mean,
I think the last hour of awards, or like those last few awards, right? But like best, like the ones that Nintendo won or Game of the Year, like those are obviously the bigger awards, right? Like
right,
Anuma, it's kind of weird. Like Anuma is like maybe arguably like what like maybe one of the most single. Like if we're talking about like a single individual, like a single dev, like he's one of the most important and prominent in gaming history, and you just kind of shove him off stage. It's kind of mind-blowing to me. Like that might even be the last time we ever see Anuma on stage at the Game Awards.
You think?
I'm not saying it will be, but I mean, the man's getting old.
You think it's possible?
Well, he's gonna be the producer for the next game. So I think he's gonna have one more Zelda game at the awards, and then that might be it. And we don't know if that game's gonna
I'm not saying it's not a
right.
prediction, it's simply me explaining that it's not a certainty, like he's not someone to take for granted, right? He is a gaming great, like he is one. He's. I mean, I know he's probably been featured in like he's one of those like really important figures that kind of he's so important he goes beyond just gaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just to me it's just kind of weird to like be rushing someone like that off, especially when they're not overstaying their welcome, right? Like.
Yeah, that's why I sent because Jeff Keighley, I was a co-streamer. He sent out a thing to fill out for feedback, and I literally just said, Jeff, I think it's time to stop trying to please everyone. Your show is just going to be a long ass show. It is what it is. Let the developers speak. It is better that gamers don't walk away feeling their favorite developers got disrespected, and it's better they walk away with some amazing game announcements and feeling like they wasted an extra hour of their life more than they should have. Guess what? Not everyone has to tune in. Not everyone has to watch. And yet 100+ million people keep tuning in every year anyways. So just put together the best damn show you can and don't worry about it. Like this happens in like sports also. Sometimes I like try to find ways to speed it up and it's not always better. And it sometimes makes for a worse product to watch. And
not baseball.
So like
they got to make that even faster.
Well, they did.
They did.
Make it even faster.
Ratings went through the roof.
Yeah. They had. There's been a lot of time wasted with pitchers for a lot. I'm really glad they kind of sped that up. That was a lot of wasted time.
Like, 20 years ago, it didn't need to be sped up. Like,
no, they were just going. They were just going.
Yeah. But in today's game, they absolutely needed it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the batters themselves too would every pitch step out.
Oh yeah, step out. Adjust,
yeah.
Everyone was always just wasting time. Yeah. But that didn't really need to be wasted, and it was proven that, hey, the really good pitchers, guess what? You were still really damn good, even though you had to go faster, weren't you? So it turns out maybe we didn't need to waste.
What was interesting was the players that got like significantly better when they implemented the pitch clock, and then a few players got significantly worse.
Yeah.
And it was the ones that were taking all the time, that got worse.
Yeah. It is what it is. You know, the batters that would always adjust things in between every pitch all the time and waste all this time. A lot of them did not have as good of a year. And it's like, yeah, you got to change your routine. I know you've been doing the same routine for like 30 years.
I
with the
didn't
times.
swing at this pitch. Let me back out and adjust my gloves because they totally loosened up.
Yeah. You know, I didn't even lift the bat off my shoulder.
Yeah.
We need to adjust. But it wasn't that it needed to. It was just a habit.
No, I know.
It's just like Giannis doesn't need to take a fake free throw before he gets the ball.
Yeah.
But he still does it. It's a dumb routine. It's a stupid routine. And the NBA might eventually take that routine away. I don't know. NBA games, though, don't ever, because there's so much going on at once. That never really feels like it's too slow until the end. But most fans at the end don't care that it's slow because they just, hey, this is a tight game. Let's get it right. Not keep it clean. Let's do it right. Make sure the right team wins.
Michael, don't say Eric's talking too much. All right, we're keeping it clean tonight. This is new me. All right,
this new me. This new me. You know that new you is like the old you, right?
What?
This new you is like the old you.
What do you mean?
When we were talking before, like, hey, weren't you featured on like a major news network? You were totally keeping it clean.
What, the first podcast?
No. Oh, jeez. The references already go over his head. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
I talked about a major news network, and you're just like, the first podcast?
Yes, we're a major news
Yes,
network.
we're a major news network here.
Well,
The Nintendo Prime News Network. We're on national TV.
Your news and like, what do you define as a network?
Well, you had
major network
that
that's in front
earlier.
of millions of eyeballs. It doesn't matter. You don't have to attract your own audience because the audience is provided for you.
So a network is defined by audience size.
Yes. No, it's not defined by audience size. What I'm saying is a major news network is one that provides you eyeballs. Your show doesn't have to get its own eyeballs. Like you have a default audience every time.
Oh,
as an example,
is that a
if ESPN took my podcast and threw it up, we would instantly have a significantly more viewers than we do now. Out the gate, and then we'd probably lose a bunch once they realize we're not talking sports, or maybe they'd stick
but you would
around.
still probably retain more than we have now.
Sports in.
Wait, I don't understand. Were you like?
By the way, we should be doing a sports podcast.
Yeah,
I just feel like all four of us are like sports. I don't know why we don't do a sports podcast.
I like playing sports more than I like talking about basketball.
Well, you're off the team.
I'll be the star of your team.
Oh, look at that! He comes in hard. Anyways, let's get back to the Game Awards. So yeah, I guess that's really all my thoughts. I just think Jeff Keighley should just stop caring, and just not stop caring about the show, but stop trying to. I think he's trying so hard to like cater to everyone, and it's like there's no other show where we walked away thinking the game developers were disrespected until this one.
Yeah.
Cut that shit out. There's no other. You know, this show I felt like actually had one of the best mix of announcements. It felt very like there was something for everyone shown at this show. And I know Nintendo fans are like, we didn't get a big Nintendo.
Yeah,
no,
we got Nintendo fans.
I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan. I liked the announcements they had.
Yeah. And like I have a very strong feeling something like Visions of Mana is going to end up coming to Switch too, because every Mana game has been on the
Wild.
You're right.
Like
by the way, I ordered Monster Hunter World. I'm going to make sure to play that.
Yeah, the new Monster Hunter game coming out 2025. Don't know what that's coming out on yet. Like I can't imagine.
Wait, you never played World?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a self-proclaimed Monster Hunter fan.
Oh man, you got it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
See?
the thing is, I play Monster Hunter on Nintendo, right? So I've played that's why. But
it was like a PlayStation exclusive for a really long time.
Was it? I thought it was on both on PlayStation and Xbox.
No, it was actually mainly on PlayStation handhelds, like the PSP and the Vita.
Oh, I thought we were talking about World. Yes, that is true. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about the franchise, like as a whole.
And then they transitioned to 3DS or 3DS.
Nintendo got like a 10-year contract.
Well, I mean, there was that. I think the first Monster was Monster Hunter Tri on Wii. And that was my first experience of Monster Hunter. That was awesome.
Well, the PSP ones predated the Wii one for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about like the first Monster Hunter.
His first Monster Hunter he played.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, Monster Hunter's before that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm aware of the PlayStation history, and then there was that transition, and then there's a little bit of a back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
but I'm excited to give World a try.
No.
I'm gonna really fill out my Monster Hunter
The,
experience.
the only thing that might be like hard, like it is a really. I think I do like it more than Rise, but just because I played it a ton.
Dude, take that back, you
long.
son of a bitch.
Well, here's what's going to be tough about it: is Rise added like the grappling hook and stuff.
Oh, it's just that all the
You don't
aerial
have- you
maneuvers
don't have
and
that
the
in World.
palamutes. Well, there's mounts in World, right? World has
Yeah,
mounts.
but you don't have like the zip, like whatever you call it.
Do you
The
have
bug
life-
thing.
Do you have
what
the
is it?
wyvern riding?
Hmm.
The
Where
what?
Can you ride the monsters?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
I
you can
think
ride
I
one.
think you can get on top of them, but can you actually like run around the map with them? Because you can
Yeah.
do that in Rise. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that in Rise we use that to mount the monsters, but you can use it not just to mount the monster. I think is what Jake is saying. Like it's
Yes,
just
wire bugs.
it's a
Thank you,
traversal
Noodles.
tool, wire bug. Yeah, it's a traversal tool as well.
Yeah, I hope they bring back the wire bug. But it looks like the mount in Wilds though, like it can both fly and run, so it may be kind of like a little bit of a hybrid in
Yeah,
terms of
they
like the
stole
Rise
it from
mechanics with World
the greatest
mechanics.
game of last year, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, but I don't care because Monster Hunter's better.
All right.
And I've also
Well-
I've played more Pokemon than I've
Well,
played
Jake,
Monster Hunter. So
I know you watched the show with me. What did you really think of the Game Awards? That now in hindsight, we're like a week out.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed them. It was fun, but I think it makes a difference, like that we watched them together when we were just like
Makes it
able
more
to.
enjoyable watching it with a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and like we had the chat
The
here
audience,
and stuff,
yeah.
and so like that made it so much more fun than if I had just been like cold watching it. So
I
I'm
think that's
trying
the
to like I'm
idea.
trying to think, what did I think of the actual show, not just like my experience, which involves other things. And like I think if I had watched that by myself, I think I would have been bored for a lot of it. There would have been like certain things that excited me, but I don't know. It's an event that is made to stream, to watch a streamer watch. You know what I mean? To watch with other people. Because even if it was like really good show, best case scenario, like maybe like, like a Nintendo Direct, 40 minutes packed, right? There's still a bunch of stuff that you're not going to care about. It's just not for you. It's not that it's even bad.
I think it's intended
So-
to be like a giant community thing.
Yeah,
Like it's a live
exactly.
stream event already, so there's already a chat attached to every single stream of it. They
Yeah,
encourage
you'll
co-streamers.
Watching the show with you guys helped me get through it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
like they
it.
really try to make it a community event, and so it's never been hard. Like I actually look forward to the Game Awards every year. I enjoy the awards, especially when I saw how much it mattered to the developers. The announcements are always going to be hit or miss. That is what it is. You're either going to get games you like or you're not going to.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to be. I thought they had a good mix this year, and there was plenty that I cared about. I mean, Visions of Mana still has me like. This is one of my favorite
I
franchises
might
ever.
play
So,
if it comes Switch too.
I
It's interesting.
can't imagine it skipping.
So I think I'm gonna. Nate, you may have anticipated this, but I feel like we're gonna touch a little bit on the debate I had yesterday during the Switch 2 topic. But since you brought up Visions of Mana, though, I didn't know this. 'Cause I was talking to Botox Games during the stream last night. Like he's more of a Mana fan. I was aware that like Mana's been big on Nintendo lately, but apparently like the Mana games even sell better on Switch, and they've had like a lot of priority there. So it's actually really weird that there was nothing Mana announced for Switch, especially because Square has that same engine they use for Dragon Quest XI's. Games are very similar looking. Like they probably could get that running on Switch if they really wanted to, and they haven't. And so
yeah, it's on PS4. They're
yeah,
bringing it to
like
PlayStation.
they could totally I think they could totally have Visions of Mana come out later on for Switch 2, but it's just kind of odd that they wouldn't have
I don't think
something
it's gonna
ready
be later on.
first for Nintendo. Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't
kind
think
of
it's
getting
actually
at.
going to be later on. I think it's
Um,
going to be on Switch 2 day one, but can't say that right now because it's not.
It's not guaranteed, but it's interesting because Mana is so big on Switch that
Yeah, it's
they haven't
literally the
announced
biggest
that.
audience. Like that's why it
Yeah.
just doesn't even make sense to ignore that.
Yeah.
But I could see it possibly being a Switch 2 and not coming to Switch, which it feels a little weird maybe, but also, hey, you know what? If they're making it for these other platforms and they have the dev hardware and they slapped it on there and like, dude, this thing runs great on here. Like, why would we even attempt to put it on Switch? Too much work. And they
Yeah.
think there might be a big audience for Switch too, which who knows? And maybe Visions of Mana they think could be an evergreen Nintendo like title because Mana games have actually been a bit evergreen on Nintendo in the past. So
If it wasn't for how stupid the main character looked, I'd be like 100% on.
that's just what the main
100% on
character.
this game.
That's been his look like the entire time.
I'd-
Like the entire time of that series
just,
existence.
like-
That's just how he
Like
looks.
if they just some minor adjustments, I think it would look great.
Well, on the bright side, you look at his backside most of the time when you're playing. So
Yeah. Hopefully, there's cosmetic options. Like I could put a bag on his head or something.
yeah, there's always cosmetics.
Okay, so maybe there's a bag option.
A bag option.
Yeah. For
Anyway,
any Visions of Mana fans out there, I'm sorry, I just
well,
insulted the main
I mean, look,
character.
we don't know if it's going to be
Yeah.
good. The Mana series is always like a hit or miss. Like,
Really?
Yeah, they have some really bad games.
yes, but then they
I mean,
also have some just, oh my god, like this is one of the best
I mean,
action adventure RPGs of the
They,
year.
they also have like average ones, so there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
this
that's the thing.
is-
I'm hyped because this looks like it might be a better one, but
it looks
also
really good.
I've thought that about prior ones that didn't turn out. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I mean, there's
hoping
a
that
lot
this
of
will
games that
return to
seem really
form.
hype at first, and then it comes, and we're like, oh, this is mid at best.
yeah, but I think a lot of Mana fans are seeing what I'm seeing, where it's like this looks like a return to form, and plus we haven't had that banger one in a bit, so it's like this might be finally that banger one that modernized.
Do you
the original.
remember how hyped people were for No Man's Sky?
Still
Dude,
really
they
popular.
had a new game at the Game Awards, and it might be
Yeah. No,
my
yeah.
most
It's
anticipated one.
it looks really good.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
so-
to bring up No Man's Sky to connect to that, but that game does look really good.
Yeah. Crap, I just interrupted you so bad. Go.
No,
with what
I'm
you were
glad you
saying.
did, because that game, I forget the name of it, but
Okay.
yeah, it's from the creators of them. Like
Yeah, that looks really good.
and I mean
Yeah.
they've done a better job of making No Man's Sky actually interesting. Right, like it came out at first and it wasn't very good, but over the years they've made it a better game. So I hope that knowledge and wherewithal is actually going to play a role in this one being pretty good,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
it does look pretty awesome. What's the name
Hold
of
up.
it?
Light No Fire, right?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think
I'm not sure. I'm asking.
well, yep.
Well, it's funny
it.
though because
Light No Fire.
Starfield was eventually Bethesda making Skyrim in space, and Light No Fire is essentially No Man's Sky making No Man's Sky from space to like a Skyrim universe.
Yeah,
They keep it
but-
clean.
nah. Someone's like, "Hey, if you have that blue bottle again, I'll throw super chats like crazy." I mean, you mean the one that's literally right here?
What
that's
is
what I
that?
sort of.
Oh, it's the gold slugger.
No, that's Sky Vodka.
That's what I thought. What
This
I
is
thought
the
of
gold part.
Starfield, but the thing about like Elder Scrolls games, like it's a world you can seamlessly explore, right? For the most part,
Yeah,
you can't. They're like Starfield is segmented, and I think that kind of takes it away. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of was turned off by it a little bit.
True.
So just like want to mention that disappointing distinction.
So the
But No
other
Man's Sky
thing,
is segmented too, because you have to like go to different planets, which is similar to Starfield, but
Yeah, I
Skyrim is
haven't
obviously
played it, yeah,
one
yeah.
big universe.
And
on
I would
Earth, and
assume
that's
that this
what
is one
Light No
Light No
Fire is.
Fire is a continuous world,
Yeah, it's all in one place. You're not going different planets. It's just
and
like
it looks awesome.
yeah, I agree. Dude, flying around on the dragon looks sick.
Yeah,
And do you
Yeah,
see
it
how
does.
fast it was going? Like you can
don't
like
remember. I
get
have to
around,
go
like you
through.
can explore so freely so quickly. That's what really intrigued me.
just
this
to
will be
remind
awesome.
Jake that they think you should be known as Innuendo.
That's
What?
first of all, it's way too complicated. I'm already confused hearing that.
And this is
Innuendo?
multiplayer.
He's just the 2-inch destroyer. That's just
Hey,
come on.
I'll in your Tendo. Hey,
Thanks for plugging my
there we
OnlyFans.
go.
I appreciate it.
Look,
I'm
you're
looking
being
at a
called
trailer now.
hot
They move
in
pretty
your
fast.
Everything's about Jake tonight. I'm waiting for more super chats to come in and be like,
You,
Jake's the man. He's the greatest.
you know,
I
what this kind of
mean-
reminds me of. It reminds me a little bit of Ark.
Mm.
Of
Because
what?
in Ark you can ride dragons or wyverns.
Oh, I never played that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
what was the
cool.
point you were trying to make with No Man's Sky?
I don't remember. I'm just this guy. I think we're just talking about.
Now you're
cool
just
stuff at this
distracted.
point.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
just shooting the shit. Like, because that's
All
not
right.
what you do on a podcast.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
we do.
Now Nate's gonna be like, no. You who said you could have fun? Let's move on to the next topic, boys.
No, it's
I don't.
not.
I mean, do you want me to try and remember what? No, what?
You
why
were
I
you
brought
had
No
a
Man's
point you
Sky?
were trying to make, and then
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's so great about No Man's Sky? I mean, it's a game. Oh, right. Okay, I remember now. I just brought it up because initially, like, there was a lot of hype and excitement going into it at first, and when it came out, it wasn't that good. Like this happens a lot. There's a lot of games we kind of think
Empty promises.
looks amazing. Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, it happened. Like Watch Dogs comes to mind. Like this, the list goes on.
And we have
Don't get me. Don't actually. I'm salty about Phantom Liberty
Okay.
as a Xenoblade fan. Phantom Liberty had several nominations, and it's objectively worse than Future Redeemed, which had 0.
So another thing that happened in this last week was E3 getting canceled for good. Announced by the ESA themselves. Yeah, we're done. Basically, it was a very short tweet for what used to be a massive part of this industry. E3 just is done. They're not even they hired ReedPop like over a year ago to try to bring it back. They couldn't do it. Then they said, we'll do it ourselves. And I'm guessing they decided to cancel it because if you can't get Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo there, no one's going to come. So we're not going to do it. And I'm guessing none of them were coming back. Sony had already left years ago. Getting them back was already going to be really hard. And it turns out, I know a lot of people are blaming Nintendo and the Nintendo Directs for killing it. And I agree to a point that created a shift in how game stuff was delivered. But Jeff Keighley leaving E3 is what killed it. Apparently, when Jeff Keighley left E3 to start Summer Game Fest, he was like the person running E3. He was the one making E3 happen. Now he left. Summer Game Fest is a thing. Oh, and by the way, he's got the Summer Days of Play now where you can go in person and play game demos just like E3. He literally was E3. So I think him leaving is really what killed it because he's still doing the E3 thing. It's just much smaller because he doesn't have as big a reach as the E3.
Question for you guys. Is Jeff Keighley the face of gaming?
No.
The face of...
Dude,
no.
That's a face of gaming.
Has
That's
a face.
a joke.
Who's the face of gaming then? If there's
There is
one
no face of
person
gaming.
to represent all of the game industry, who is it?
Honestly, this
Everything
gave me a
in
really good
Nintendo,
idea of
that's
how
all.
people feel about him. When the other day, E3 is done forever, right? Wario64 tweeted about it before E3 even tweeted about it. And I posted the meme of like Spider-Man like going like this, or not Spider-Man, the Flash like going like this on the grave, but it was with E3 over the tombstone and Jeff Keighley's face. So he was like doing that on the grave of E3. And dude, there were so many people that were like, fuck Jeff Keighley. Like they were tagging him and like ripping on him. And I was like, yeah, the gaming community does not like Jeff. And I knew that a lot of people weren't fans, but I didn't know like, well, Twitter is also super toxic. So take it with a grain of salt.
And Twitter
still.
Yeah.
The people who
saying.
hate like to say.
By the way, you're
something
looking
for
good,
just
apparently.
normal, healthy
I'm
living.
on here
I
to
saw
talk
that
about
super chat from Izzy, right?
Yeah, Izzy's just letting you know. In case you
Izzy
forgot how good
Diaz,
looking you are
I
today.
appreciate you. I
In case
appreciate
you forgot
you.
how good looking you are today. It is what it is.
Dude, people are just
never
being nice
forget.
to me. I don't know why, but thank you.
I guess this is what happens when you keep it
You're
clean.
about to get jumped the moment you leave the room.
Whoa.
Oops, I shouldn't have
whoa.
said anything. My bad.
Whoa,
Oh, well.
whoa.
We'll
Jumped
have
in
to
the good way
on
or
you
jumped in the
harder
bad way?
then.
Is there a bad way?
Oh, I don't know.
If you're in your own home, is there a bad way? I'm not sure.
There,
Like,
I
getting
don't
jumped
think
in
so.
your own house, I would say is pretty bad.
I
That's
don't
the one
know.
place you would think you're safe, right?
Well, because they're
Oh,
only
yeah,
in there if
you
I let
meant-
them
you
in.
meant it in like an okay.
I
They're
meant
only
in a literal
in if
sense.
I
Sounded
let
like
them in.
something else.
A literal sense and not sexual, you weirdo.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, then why does it
hey,
have to happen when the
you
show
can't-
ends then?
I feel like you just gaslighted me.
What's
Oh, okay.
happening?
We're good.
This went. See, I thought it was a more compliment, and now we find out it's an insult. I don't even know what's
Oh,
happening.
I'm sorry.
Now I got to worry for your safety.
I do
Nobody
see why.
squat
I do
Jake,
see
come on.
why you thought maybe that, but I mean, when I say
Wait, well, in
jump,
that
like,
case, I just don't understand. Why would I get jumped?
I would have said I
then?
would have said pounce if it was sexual. I said
Oh,
jump.
okay.
You're gonna get jumped, not pounced.
Yeah.
Well, wait, why am I gonna get jumped? I just don't get it.
I still don't get
Because
it.
we're being really nice to you. It's just like it's just.
You
we're
think it's
being
like
nice to you.
karma or something?
Karma's gonna catch up.
I don't know. It's like fattening the pig.
No, you think I'm like manifesting, like getting beat up?
He doesn't
That's
know how to
not-
deal with clean Jake. Leave him be. Leave him be.
Yeah, I'm just trying to genuinely. I have a bet with myself that I can keep it.
I
Clean.
figured you had a bet with yourself on this.
Apparently, I just
it's gonna end
inherently have a
badly.
problem with that.
It's gonna end very badly, and I kind of know
Yeah.
it, but I'm
Yeah,
trying.
He's made
I
it
think
an
you're doing
hour.
great.
Let him be.
I
He's
think you're
making
doing
progress.
great.
Dude, you know what's crazy? The one night I keep it clean, everyone's being super nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well,
You're
maybe
getting
it's
all
a
these
sign.
compliments, and people are even super chatting in to make sure we display it, so
Yeah.
you just get double
They're like-
reminded how good looking you are.
They're like, Jake, you're so sexy. Jake, do you want to sleep with my wife? I'm like, guys, stop. All right, shit, I'm keeping it clean.
Whoa,
keeping it
whoa,
clean.
whoa,
I actually,
You
I
might
had
have
someone
crossed
say
the
that to me
line.
on a live. I did have someone say that to me on a live stream once. They donated $20 to say that, and obviously they were joking, but like their timing was hilarious.
Alrighty then.
Yeah,
No.
and naturally I DM'd him and got his number, and we're all close friends now. But
So turning things around, I don't think there is a face of gaming for start. I don't think it exists. The games are the stars.
Yeah,
The games are the stars.
maybe Mario or
Even
guy.
then, I mean, Sony crowd, Mario doesn't matter. So
Fortnite
um,
guy.
you know, PC crowd, Mario doesn't matter. Like it's all the games are the stars. I don't think there is like one thing that encapsulates all of gaming like that. But
Well,
what I
since
will
Baldur's
say-
Gate 3 won, maybe it would be
Izzy
like
is
a
the
bear
man.
in a
He's
bikini
just
or
like
something.
hyping everyone up.
well, now and see, Izzy just felt bad. So
No,
this
what
is
a
this
bro!
is a pity.
What an absolute
This
Chad.
is a pity one. Where Izzy comes in and says, "Just a bunch of handsome fellas, $2 super chat." Thank you so much, Izzy. This
Well,
is
dude,
just
I would say
literally
it
a
was
I guess
pandering.
we're all
said
gonna
that.
get
He
jumped in, and we
donated
should
to
watch
say
our
that.
backs.
What
He
is this?
donated to say that, so it's not pity.
Wait, what? Whoa! That doesn't mean anything. Could have felt bad, and so
Yeah.
he donated it because I'm not going to feature the comment if it's not a super chat. They know this. This is how the.
Well, he
how it
still
goes.
could have just said
Hey,
it.
hey,
You know what I
hey,
mean?
Can you
And
highlight Sam West?
I don't know why you needed the visual aid.
Why
but-
am I highlighting Sam West? What did you do now?
It's fun.
Oh, here we go. It's just gonna continue. It's just gonna continue.
That
Fox
you
and
are
Ivy
so-
saying Jake is sleeping with my wife. $2 super chat. Thank you so much.
Fox, you are so funny. That is classic comedy. Just so you know, my DMs are open on Twitter, but all in good fun.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're ready?
Oh, E3.
Yeah, it's canceled. It sucks.
Are you guys
All
gonna miss it?
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
I'm
haven't had
gonna
it
miss
before
what it
you.
was, but that's been dead for a long time.
right. Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's kind of like we've all known this was coming, and we've I feel like for me personally, I've already had my mourning period. It is.
Not me. I hate
It
it.
is what it is. Yo, Izzy Diaz, what the heck? Most
Izzy
super
Diaz
chats the
just
stream has ever gotten is when I'm keeping it clean.
Oh, here we go. Not true, by the way. We've had ones more than this, but that's okay.
He's just saying that to get you to donate. Don't worry, Izzy, you're good.
No,
I'm
I'm
just kidding.
literally about to grab a thing and do a shot to celebrate. the
Let's
kindness
go.
tonight.
Do a shot for the handsome boys.
Exactly. I'm taking one for the team because we're all handsome, apparently. And
Yeah.
there's been several comments about people hoping that I get smashed on stream today. I don't know why. Apparently, I'm just more entertaining. That could be the case. But again,
I did the thing where I misinterpreted what you meant by smashed.
oh, see,
Nah.
you didn't see how
I-
easy that is because we all use words differently.
Don't look at me.
Like, if you
Oh,
would've
dude,
said-
I lived
if
in
you would've
PA.
said Jason
I lived in
jump,
PA for a few years.
then I would have been like, well, why the hell is Jake about to get jumped? That's not good.
It is funny though how some people interpret words differently. I think a lot of it's based.
Well,
off,
because it
like,
means different.
location.
It's how it's
Yeah.
used in different parts of
Yeah,
the country and
it
cultures.
is. It is.
Like, yeah, we all know these things have multiple meanings, but like in your certain crowd, you might use it for.
One's more popular than
Different way.
another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, here's the thing. I miss a few things about E3 that I know will never really be fully replaced. One of them, maybe one of the biggest ones, is a time of the year when we knew everyone was announcing things at the same time. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Bethesda, EA, everyone, same time of year, same week. it's like Christmas. If you're a gaming fan, there's literally something for everyone, and you can just, oh, you don't care about EA? You don't got to watch the EA conference. Just watch the Nintendo one. Watch this, but you just knew that week every year you were going to get a whole bunch of stuff. Like that's just awesome. And I miss that because like Summer Game Fest has some of that. The Game Awards has some of that, but still, like, hey, Nintendo didn't show anything at the Game Awards. You didn't have to worry about that at E3. You were going to get all the companies showing something. And even after Sony left, oh, they would still conveniently do a showcase right around the same time anyways. So it kind of still worked out for a little bit. And I know that still sort of happens. Like Summer Game Fest still has its show. Microsoft's been doing their show. You're still usually a Nintendo Direct in June. But it's not all in the same week anymore. It's more spread out. And I, as a gamer, don't really like that. Even though I'm a news channel, so having news spread out gives you more to cover on different days. So, like, for what I do for a living, it's actually nice because there's more news all the time. But man, and the thing is, I got to go in person, and I've been in person to E3 3 times. And this is where you go beyond the press conferences. Having one event where every company brings their demos is awesome. It's just awesome. Yeah. It was such a unique event. Game developers, gamers, and media all in the same building, literally walking shoulder to shoulder past each other. You can meet so many cool people in the industry, so many content creators. You'll bump into fans that might like, hey, no one says anything to me in Chippewa. Go out to E3. There's people in LA knowing me. Who the hell are you? I don't know. You watch my channel.
Well, but dude, the thing is, it's just not worth it anymore. It costs like millions of dollars.
It always was really expensive.
Why would you spend it when you can do it for free online?
And some of this has been replaced. Like, you know, PlayStation did PSX for a bit. I think did they start doing that again? I can't remember if they started doing their in-person event again. Nintendo now is doing Nintendo, the Nintendo Live thing. And now that we saw that they did Mario Wonder at the last one before the game come out, you know, you're starting to see that Nintendo might be setting up Nintendo Live to be where they preview upcoming games, like in E3. So now it's like, oh, I got to start planning to go to Nintendo Lives. So it's to me, it's just E3 is a relic of the past, and I think the big thing is that E3 at its peak, which I would say is like 98 to 2010, that 12-year period was like peak E3. I don't think we're ever going to get anything in the industry that feels quite like that, where that was Gamer Christmas for everyone.
Yeah.
We're never going to get that again. And I think the acceptance that there's not even going to be an attempt to get it again is just... And the funny thing is, the irony with all the hate Jeff Keighley gets, he's like the only one that still might sort of attempt to give us that a little bit, like he's doing with Summer Game Fest. And we're going to hate on him. I get it. Some people just don't like the Dorito Pope. It's cool. I think he generally cares about games and the developers, but not everyone likes the way he goes about things. So.
I think it's tough when you are responsible for so many different companies working together. You have to be politically correct, like all the time. I mean, and so that really ties you down.
Oh yeah, he gets blasted a lot for not making stronger stances on certain things that happen in the industry.
That is true.
And he's in such a tough position because he doesn't want to ruin relationships that affect future events. And that's tough. Plus, he's got to like totally stay dead center all the time.
Yeah,
you can't like ever politically lean one way or another. It's
one of those things where he's doing his best to not piss anyone off, and by doing that, he's
end up upsetting people on all sides. Yeah.
The thing is, no matter what he does, he's going to upset somebody.
Yeah.
But when he does this, he's only upsetting fans. He's not upsetting companies, and the companies give him money.
Yeah, this is true. We just need to make sure that Aaron Rass wanted to make sure for $5 that Andres got some props.
I appreciate the props. Thank you, Aaron.
You know, the clap.
Also,
Andres smells like amazing. Like I can close my eyes and
I imagine that even though he's like at home and like by himself at the moment in the room, he probably is wearing some nice cologne just because
I don't wear cologne if I'm not going out.
I think his natural musk is just intoxicating.
I do use deodorant, like, you know, person who's clean.
Okay, if you don't use deodorant, you're a savage. Sorry.
Right.
Just saying.
I got a good whiff of you at PAX, and I liked what entered my nostrils.
He's in public. Yeah.
I did put on cologne that day, probably.
Wait, did you really?
I don't remember, honestly.
I thought you smelled good, but I was wearing cologne the whole time. I'm out right now. I'm literally out of it right now, so I can't wear it, but it's all right. Next paycheck.
Well, Varen Burby's asking
How do
real
you
question.
run
What
out?
does
Like,
Ruby smell like?
There's
Ruby
always like at
smells
least one
like a
cologne that you
sweet
like
little baby.
never run out of.
Have you ever had a
Yeah.
baby?
I smelled
You
babies.
just said
Personally, I don't think either of us
sweet little
have.
baby. Babies don't always smell so sweet.
Okay, my baby does.
Wait,
My
so you
fur
use
baby.
up all your cologne on babies? What the fuck?
That's what he's getting out of it.
And this is why I've never.
I'm
Right,
liked
about
her.
to do a
no, I'm
shot
fine.
anyways.
Why?
I'm about to do a shot anyway, so I'll throw the Izzy Diaz one up for the $2. Just take a shot out here if you win right now. Yeah, so I normally on podcasts only do shots when we get like big the orange super chats, but you know what? For you guys, screw it.
Dude, you guys have been a fun
back.
crowd.
Throw it back.
I'm having
Actually,
fun.
before I throw this back, give me a drink. I need a chaser, man. This is my first shot of the night, and I have nothing but hard liquor. It is what it is.
What, hard
Hey.
liquor?
Hey,
I hardly know
hard
her.
liquor.
I
you hardly know her.
gotta tell you.
Yeah,
I gotta
got
tell
it.
you.
Got it. I'll take it from you.
Hey, leave
I
me
got
alone.
you, Jake. You're keeping it clean. I got it.
You really are an
I
influence
said
on me
I
'cause
hardly
you make
know
me
her, as
seriously
in I
consider
don't wanna
drinking
do
on,
that, 'cause that's
on
not
stream
cool.
sometimes. Like I
It's
think
gotta be something you're comfortable
a fun
doing.
thing to do.
Never do it if you're not comfortable with it. But I have so much fun with me in the audience, and they know. Like, we throw it back on my lives. Like, it's just fun because, hey, dude, we all got shit in our lives. We all want to just chill. And it just creates that chill vibe. But I also know that I happen to be a hell of a lot of fun when I drink. So,
Yeah.
you know, my chat's a bad influence on me. They
I
want to
mean,
have a
people-
lot more fun.
I will say that
do
people
you,
do
bro.
like it when I'm drunk. But,
You like it when you're drunk or your chat, you said?
well, my chat wouldn't know.
I wouldn't
I'm
know
just
either.
saying. I'm just saying in real
I
life.
didn't do a single shot when we went out that one night.
Dude, that was such a business trip. We didn't really have time to just kind of like.
No,
not
you
worry.
say we don't have time. I remember a specific night with Jake Randall. I was out till like 2 a.m. and still got up the next day and went to PAX,
that was
even
a
though I was
special
still
occasion.
drunk.
Well, some
It
of
is
us
what
are
it is.
troopers and some of us are sleepers.
Yeah, I know. Some of us are from Wisconsin and we know how to handle our liquor. It is what it is.
I just have a problem with drinking when I have something to do early in the morning.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah, well, that's why it's
that's like
I have something to do every morning. I have children.
that's like,
I gotta
like,
be up
yeah, I have a really
Yeah.
hard time breathing when somene's strangling my throat. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
So
Right.
the thing is,
Whoa.
yeah,
Whoa.
I would
You
rather
can do that
someone
in the-
not.
I mean, it's kind
strangle
of
my
violent, I
throat,
guess, but like
so-
it's not like dirty. Oh, I can't.
Yeah. I really want to get to the Switch 2 topic, but I have to put up with this.
Okay, we actually have some really good time. We haven't even gotten to the Zelda stuff yet.
Yeah,
We have like some really big topics. But just I'll feature a few more super chats that are relevant here, guys. Remember, if you submit $2 and up super chats for questions, we actually have a Q&A specific section. So some of you guys have asked some questions. I'm saving for that. But yeah, for me, I don't know, like being someone, and Eric knows, like Eric, what's going to E3 just like, man? Like, we don't get to have this experience anymore. We went to PAX, was nice.
Yeah,
But
no,
E3
it
was just different, man.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I'm gonna miss it for sure. It gave me something to look forward to kind of get away from the area. Nice warm climate.
Well, you know that more than me because I'm always working.
There
so
is that.
he gets to go out. I'm seeing the Hollywood sign. Although that wasn't a very good trip for
No,
you.
that one wasn't.
But he's
yeah,
going to like the only thing I actually think I ever did when we went out there is we went to a Dodger game once.
Yep, we did.
Otherwise, did I ever like not work?
No.
It was always because as Andres like said, business trip. E3 was a very business trip. I go in, I play all the damn games. I have hours and hours and hours of footage. And then I get back to the hotel and we order some food and I'm just sitting there work until like 2-3 a.m. Have to get back up at 5 a.m. turn back around and do it all over again for like 4 or 5 days straight. But I loved it, man, because you never knew what was going to happen. Like, hey, I'll say this. I am so glad E3 2019 I got on stage to do the Just Dance. It was a bucket list item for me ever since they started doing those Just Dance stage shows at E3, and we'd always see it. You're watching at home, like, oh, ha ha ha, it's Just Dance, ha ha ha. I want that to be me, actually. So E3 2019, I went up on stage. There was footage on my channel
Really?
of me dancing for like 4 minutes straight.
Mhm.
I
Dude,
killed it,
that's
man.
awesome.
Watch
Dude,
me
that-
do it. I look, I'm the fattest guy on the stage, and I'm just nailing it.
No, stop it, dude. I'm
Oh,
so
dude, I used to be in
jealous.
show
That's
choir,
so
so, like,
cool.
So they show you there was a screen for you to mimic, and I did no problem. There were none of the
I
moves. They
would
just
have
removed
just
ahead of
done
them.
finger guns. I would have.
Dude, it
I
was
would've had
so
to.
fun, man. It was so. I'm so glad that I did it because little did I know that was the last E3. We're leaving the building. It says, "See you next year." See you never again. So, I don't know. Like for me, and I never got to go back when like E3 was really in its heyday. Our first E3 was 2016, which was, by the way, when you're a mega Zelda fan, doesn't E3 get
Mhm.
better than Hyrule being built and you
Mhm.
get to spend 4 straight days in Hyrule? I don't know. I don't think it really gets much better than that.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'll
badass.
say that's maybe the thing that's going to bother me the most is not having the opportunity. I never got the opportunity to go to an event like that where Nintendo
Yeah.
really set it up.
It's like
once
now you
these
kind
hard
of do,
sk-
and now it's like, nope.
actually, those opportunities still exist. They're just not going to be at E3.
Yeah, Nintendo Live still
Yeah.
does. It's like Nintendo
Hey,
Live, the footage I saw
PAX
from there looked kind of cool.
Listen,
PAX is
I
pretty
said-
legit for like actually getting to play stuff, and you've
No,
been to that.
it is.
Yeah,
Not from
I said
Nintendo,
this
though.
on Monday, right? I said this on Monday, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll probably say it a few more times. I'm going to try and will it into existence. But if there's anyone out there that is a contact or has a contact with Nintendo and/or Retro Studios, let me know. My business email. Send me an email when you're ready to start that campaign for Metroid Prime 4, and you're going to invite people in to play the game.
Yeah, the private demo session.
that
Yeah, the
I,
private demo
I
session.
think I will be one of the best.
I will
possible
fly into
people to
Redmond,
do it.
baby. Let's go.
Like, I mean, seriously, think
gladly
about
fly in.
all the Nintendo content creators. How many of them know Metroid
Oh,
as well as me?
why is Under Restart Nintendo Prime bunking up out in? Why am I seeing a vlog in Redmond where Nate's showing off a sign in front of Nintendo? Don't worry about it. I can't talk about it. It's NDA. NDA.
Hey,
Wait,
hey,
what?
Don't worry about it.
I already said too
I
much.
already
Hey.
broke NDA
Now
by
they
saying
won't even let
NDA.
me in the building. Now I'm not allowed in. Thank you so much.
Luciano,
And it's
you
just
son of a
me because
bitch.
I won't break squat. So
My wife make you spaghetti and meatball.
No, you can always mention that you're under NDA. If you actually read the NDAs, you're allowed to mention you're under NDA. So that's why you can't talk about things. But anyway,
Yeah.
when you go to demo events, I've been to one before. Yeah, it's very much like you could say that you're in town, but that's it. That's all you can say. So because they can't tell you, oh, when you're not here, you can't talk about where you are. Well, of course you are. But you just can't. They really don't care that people know that you're playing. They don't want you talking about it until the NDA does this thing. But anyways, it's kind of like because there are content creators all the time that will tweet, "Oh, hey, I'm out here," and they're usually not there. You know, it's a demo event, and you probably know exactly what game it's for. Yeah, it's all right. It's not that big a deal as long as you're not leaking stuff from the game until it's time.
Yeah.
And they are
Or,
they
like-
treat you very well at these demo events, very very well.
Mhm.
Sometimes
So that
catering.
Twisted Kingdom demo
Oh,
event.
Sometimes you
really?
get swag out the ass. Sometimes there's like an after party with drinking, and you're literally
That's
there
true.
with employees from the company. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
it'd be so
open-
cool. I would
open
get like a
bar tech
recorder.
and
events
that
like,
is
are
still
the
a thing that
best.
happens at these demo events.
Can you
So,
do? Would we be able to do interviews? Can you imagine
Sometimes, yeah,
interviewing
sometimes
just
you
a
get
team
to
at
set up
Retro
interviews.
Studio? Like, okay, like just think about it though. Like, there's been so much mystery around Metroid Prime 4. Like, people are gonna really want to hear about some stories from some of the devs at Retro Studios. Like, it's got to be interesting.
Yeah, probably is interesting.
So, my work email. If you check my about page, my about on my YouTube or my Twitter, Team Restart or just restart.com. I'll be there.
Honestly,
I'll sign that NDA.
right. There you
I'll
go.
sign that NDA. All right. So let's maybe move on. We can talk. Well, do you guys have anything else? Anything fun? Like, I really want to make sure Eric gets a chance to talk here because
Yeah.
he really like. I don't know if Eric ever thought he was going to get to go to E3,
New.
and then I made it happen.
Yeah. Right.
And by the way, thank
Well,
you because you also
yeah,
helped
Yeah.
in certain financial situations.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, in the community helped too. I mean,
oh, the
that
community.
First year,
that first year
was
for
pretty
Nintendo
much-
Prime.
Yeah.
2016 was not. That was us out of pocket.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Eric,
split.
are you sugar daddy?
There's
Yeah.
well, some of the situations shouldn't have been the way they were.
Mhm.
We had a hotel situation that just no idea. Car rentals, what is that? Like all these hidden fees that
That's
you don't
really
know until you
stressful.
get
Yeah.
there. And they're like, "Oh, now we need an extra 300." What do you mean you need an extra 300? That wasn't
That
in my
sucks
budget.
to like happen like on a trip too, because you're like
Yeah.
trapped.
Because you're already there. And you're
Yeah.
like, I don't
Well,
have
right?
that extra 300.
I mean, well, that was like just out at PAX here. I mean, we got there and all of a sudden they're like,
the
here's
car.
an extra couple hundred because we
Oh
need to
my
pay
God,
for
the
tolls
car.
and shit. It's like, why wasn't this an option up front? And
Oh,
why
why
didn't you
didn't
tell
it
us
have
this
like a
shit up
thing to
front?
check to prepay for tolls before
Yeah.
you even?
Don't
Yeah,
get me started on humanity,
Yeah.
society, and just
So you
trying
get
to
there, and I'm
steal
like, I got a
every
certain
little bit
budget,
of
and it's like,
money
oh, this is
from
so
us
dumb.
and take advantage of
whatever.
us and manipulate us.
It's not like we can complain too much about that our last two trips, because since like, look, we have a private investor. I've talked about it before, so like almost everything's paid by somebody else. They get their little their payment, their little payments for me, but yeah, dude, it's
Yeah. But to
insane.
kind of wrap it back to the topic here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the thing I'm going to miss most, I mean, PAX was fun. PAX was a lot of fun, but E3, there's just something about the theatrics of the booths, and and you just walk into completely different worlds just walking around it. PAX was great, but it was just a whole bunch of just booths. There was no fanfare, there was no nothing.
Yeah.
You don't really feel like you're walking into worlds.
There is something magical about a live hardware reveal, and we're probably not
Oh,
really
man,
gonna have
yeah.
that again.
Yeah,
Because that's never happened at the Game Awards.
no. I mean, I'm glad I went to PAX East this year.
Yeah,
Got to meet
Yeah.
some people, and now I'll probably never
Jake.
go back. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll probably never come back. Discovered I don't like $15 beers in Boston. It's okay.
When
you're
you
exaggerating a
say
little bit.
live, like you said, you
Depended
when
on
you
the
say
bar.
live game system reveal, do you mean like a whole presentation or just like a teaser?
No,
Dude,
like literally they've
pulled
brought
the Wii
out.
and DS out of the pocket at the
Yeah.
press event.
Yeah, that is cool to see, like them pull out of the jacket. Yeah,
In front of a huge audience. Yeah.
That was a cool
And
thing.
see the crowd reaction, or like as I put in my one video when I reported the news, I put in the Twilight Princess reveal that nobody thought was coming because we just got Wind Waker 6 months prior, and the crowd went nuts. And Miyamoto's on stage, and you hear this guy yelling from the like, "You're the
Is it
man!"
really
You're the
6 months
man!
later?
Yeah, yes, that's why it was 7.
No,
technically.
wasn't it?
7, technically.
Didn't they show Twilight Princess at E3 2004? Wind
Yes,
Waker came
and
out.
Wind Waker came out in
2000
November of 2003.
No, it came out November 2002, or December 2002 in Japan, and then March 2003.
Hold on. Yeah, maybe it was March.
How do you
2003.
remember
Right.
that?
He probably maybe he looked it up, or he just has
Well,
that good a
Well,
memory.
how did I look that up in 5 seconds?
Dude, you're
Well,
like the
because
Mike.
it only
Ross
takes
of
5
video
seconds
games.
to type in Wind Waker release date in
Yeah.
Google. Anyways, but no, yeah, but that was the point though. The point was like Wind Waker had just come out. No one expected the Zelda
It was
review.
a quick turn. I'm not trying to say it wasn't a
Yeah.
quick
Wow,
turn. I
Andres
just think
was
it
right.
more-
Someone looked it up.
Someone looked it up. Yeah, I literally have it looked up too. Yeah. So it did originally drop in 2002 in Japan. 2000 March
That's
20.
impressive.
March in North America in March in 2003.
Dude, that's great. You
Europe.
must have looked that up recently or something.
I
He
look
does
at
a lot of research for
dates.
videos.
Yeah,
but-
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like-
but anyways, the point was it was in most of the world that came out in 2003. No one thought we were getting a new 3D Zelda reveal literally the next year. And then it happened, which was crazy, and people went nuts. People didn't even know it was Zelda when it first went on the screen. We're like, wait, what is this? And then when they saw Link on the horse, everyone just and people gotta remember how crazy it was back then. You see Link on the horse sitting there swinging his sword, hitting enemies. That was a big damn deal back then.
And it should be noted that during that time, that was when the Lord of the Rings movies were coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a huge Lord of the Rings inspiration. So
Yes.
that was such a good E3 though, because
Dude,
that
we
E3
need a
had
new Lord of
Resident
the
Evil
Rings
4
game.
and also Metro Prime 2. Like
Yeah.
that was one of Nintendo's best E3s.
Yeah. And Miyamoto on stage, where the end where Link sheaves the sword and then the camera pans out and Miyamoto is in the exact same stance as Link with the sword and shield and then unsheaths the sword.
Sick.
And like everyone's just like, no one expected Miyamoto to even be there in person because he wasn't always there in person at the shows at that time. And all of a sudden, here he is. Like, he's not even the producer of this damn game. And he's just like, nope, I had to be here for this moment. I have to pull this off. We need to drive the hype. And you're just like, dude, this is one of the most insane E3 live moments ever.
Who was the producer? I mean, Onuma was the director back then, right?
Yeah. Did he produce? I thought at that point Miyamoto wasn't the producer anymore, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm not sure. I know Onuma was the director. Onuma was the director since what? Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I guess he still was the producer. Miyamoto was still producing, yeah.
Oh, but not directing. And
No, it was Onuma was directing.
Yeah. Right.
Onuma got to take over directing after Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
because that was like the game he proved himself with. Anyways, dude, I forgot that Onuma was actually one of the writers on the game too. Good for him. Really, just E3 was just so special back in those days, and that was kind of the heyday. Like Nintendo's last live show kind of went out with a whimper. That was the ending with Nintendo Land, which is ironic because Nintendo Land's actually a really damn good game, but it was like not a reading the room moment.
Yeah,
This is your big thing at the end of your show. Is this like everyone's dancing on stage, party with an arch that says Nintendo
no,
Land?
it was definitely.
We don't even know what Nintendo Land is.
We were like, so that's it.
Yeah.
That's
like you showed a side-scrolling Mario, cool, and this there's nothing.
I think that's part of why they
You have
started
a
to get out.
new system coming out, and there's like nothing.
You know what else sucks about that whole situation, right? Like, because the year prior, because they show off the Wii U at E3 2011,
and that was hype,
right? They had that tech demo that made that look where Zelda looked amazing,
Zelda, yeah,
and has never
and
actually
they had that
become
bird
a game.
demo as well that looked pretty good.
Yeah, and so what we get for the launch instead is a 2D Mario game that's
a side-scrolling Mario game that feels like it could have been on the prior system, and then this weird Nintendo Land game that we still didn't know what it was at the time.
It was a really bad launch with very high expectations.
It was
also with completely dead momentum. You know, I didn't realize this until yesterday, during the debate we had. But apparently, there's only 2 Wii games that were published by Nintendo in the year of 2012. Before, like that's just crazy. Like
that's what Nintendo used to do.
Like that's just insane.
The final year into a platform, they would just not
one of those RPGs.
Wasn't one of them the ported RPGs that technically auto released in Japan like 3 years prior?
I don't even remember. One of them's like
either Xenoblade or Pandora's
No, those are too hype. No, it's worse than that.
What was the third one? Besides after Pandora's
Tower, Last Story, Pandora's
Tower. The Last Story was the other one.
That's Project Rain or something.
So, but it wasn't one of those.
That was before 2012.
Got it. Okay.
I don't remember
I remember it took them a long time to get those out.
Yeah, well, back then everything went by a lot slower.
So speaking of new systems launching, actually, we can't do the it's a perfect transition, but I can't do the chat dirty.
Don't you hate it when the segues?
We had some E3 super. That was a perfect transition, but we had some super chats about E3. Want to make sure our audience gets their say in. Venantas at $5 says 2 questions. What's your favorite memory of E3? And over under on 6 titles announced at TGA without Switch logo that eventually are revealed to come to Switch 2. Oh.
By the way, Jake, you're right. Xenoblade was localized in North America 2012. It already come out, which is why it didn't pop up on the list when I checked it yesterday.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite E3 memory? So we'll probably never talk about E3 again after today. So
I think it is the E3 2004 Zelda trailer.
Okay. Jake?
Yeah.
Honestly, the E3 that I look back at the fondest was one that I wasn't really even like enthused for, but it's one that I've just watched like in retrospect, which is like the first ones, like where the original PlayStation was announced and they had like Crash on stage, and like I just love that era so much. So when I think of like my favorite moments of E3, even though that wasn't one that I was like watching live, like that's always where my brain goes.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Magical times.
Exactly.
My favorite moment, like the 2004, is sort of top with Nintendo. And by the way, other companies have had some really big moments there as well. But you guys know I'm near and dear to Nintendo. When he pulled the Wii out of his jacket, this is the GameCube replacement, and you pulled it out of your jacket, and this was after showing off some pretty hype stuff.
That was pretty
Twilight
badass.
Princess is showing off, and all of a sudden, it's going to be
Yeah.
on the thing that you pulled out of your jacket. What?
I remember the Nintendo
What?
Revolution trailer, which is a code name for the Wii, right? Like it used to be called Revolution, like the first trailer, and we saw the controller. I remember my response to that trailer as I was
Mhm.
watching it. Like the first time we see the controller, I'm like, because there are rumors, like I was on the message boards, like getting really excited, like all the Nintendo Revolution, like all that cool stuff. And then when I see the controller, I'm like, what the hell are they thinking? What did you do, Nintendo? And then they revealed the nunchuck, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this could work.
Yeah, it was really different.
Yeah.
Eric,
They
favorite
only had
E3
one
memory.
analog stick for that entire gen. That's insane.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Eric,
yeah.
favorite memory.
I think it was sitting there watching the trailer for Breath of the Wild and then finding out the name of the game. I just remember
The name drop.
sitting at E3 and just watching that, and everybody just
Mm.
going absolutely insane, and then turning around and going
Getting to
into
play
the
it.
booth and play it,
Mm.
and just that whole thing was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then finding out the best pizza in the whole world, but
Oh, here we go. Fat
I
tomato
will
pizza.
never get it.
We'll
Damn.
we'll go back. The Nintendo World's out there.
I
You got
know.
reasons to
Yes,
make
yes.
trips.
Okay.
You got reasons to make
All right.
trips.
Bring back Space World.
Fat tomato pizza.
And besides, if I ever get invited like the summer days of play, that's out there.
Heck yeah.
So, let's see here. And then the second question was this was more related to the TGAs and Switch 2, saying over under on 6 titles that were announced at the Game Awards that didn't have a Switch logo that are eventually revealed to come to Switch 2. So sort of like a bet. What are we going? Are we going on the over and the under on 6? So more than 6, less than 6.
Well, that's I would. The Sega thing kind of is like a cheat because all those Sega games are probably coming to Switch 2. There was 5 shown off.
Hey, then you taking the over?
There will be more than 6 games showing off at the Game
That's the
Awards
over.
that'll be on Switch 2.
He's taking the over. Right, we don't have anything on the line right now,
Yeah.
but I just got wrecked with 2 straight bets.
I'm willing to
We gotta
bet.
chill for a moment.
I'm willing to bet Nate's YouTube channel.
I already
There you
bet
go.
my YouTube
There you
channel,
go.
but we'll
Yeah,
get to
but-
that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in the next segment.
Oh,
Yeah, Jake might take the bet on him, then I'm really in trouble because I can't beat Jake in bets apparently.
I'll take the
Keep
under.
trying. Yeah.
No, he's taking the under.
Yeah.
He doesn't think all those Sega games are coming. Look at that.
You can't count all of them as different.
Why
ones.
not?
I would
They're
take the over.
new games
Fine,
in
then I'll
those
take the
individual
over.
properties.
What if they're all separate releases? Like how they?
Yeah,
did
they
not
said they're
count?
going to be new games. Not these
That's
aren't
like,
remakes of
yeah,
new
I
ones.
get that, but like it's like the Sega Ages collection. Yeah, they are like all different games for $3, but I still
No, but
no,
these aren't.
No,
No,
they're
no,
brand
no,
new
no.
games in each of
They-
those IPs.
Yeah, they're not like these are each individual games.
Yeah,
that
they're
are gonna
releasing
be-
okay,
brand
but it
new
is
or
still like
announcing-
a grouping. Like even like when they're announced, they're grouped together. That's why I associate them that way. But if you want to do it that way, fine, I'll take the
It's
over.
because all those IPs are from the same era. That's why they did
Well,
that.
that's kind of like grouping all the games that came out in 2017 on Switch. Like they just had a trailer that showcased their current projects. Like that's what it is. Like
Okay.
I mean, I'm not fighting you. I'll take the over.
Maybe he thinks it's going to be a collection pack. In that case, it would be one release.
well,
No,
then
I don't
he's
think
the
it's gonna
winner.
be. I just
And
like
then, and then
I think it's kind
I'll-
of cheap. I think it's obviously over if you do that. So I think it's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, fine. We'll count it. I'll take the over.
I think without Sega,
Okay.
it's still over.
Okay, yeah, that's a better. Yeah, without Sega, I would
Even
take the
without
over.
Sega, including
Oh,
Sega, it's
okay.
guaranteed.
All right, how about this? Over under 5 titles without Sega.
See,
I
that's
literally just took
pushing
the
it
over
forward.
on 6 without Sega. So
What else would there be? Monster Hunter Wilds, Visions of Mana. GTA 6 wasn't at the award show, right?
No.
No. no, it wasn't.
I mean,
I don't
maybe that
remember what
might
all the
go higher.
announcements
Yeah,
were,
yeah,
but I
honestly,
remember
if
a lot
I
of them.
had-
Oh, that Switch too.
If I had to, I'd probably still go under.
I'm over. It
Does
is what it
Light
is.
and Fire come to
You
Switch
guys
too?
know I hype you responsibly, baby. I'll take the over on 10. I'll take the over on 20. I don't even know how many of these are showing off.
Honestly,
can
Light
have
and
more
Fire
than
doesn't
even
look
showing off
like
the
that
show. I'll
crazy.
take the over. Dude, I basically became Mike Odyssey. Remember when he used to be on our show all the time and he was always overhyping everything? That's
All right,
basically
wait. I don't recall that. Are you sure you have the person's name right?
Yeah, this was
I
before you
missed
were
it.
a regular. I'm just letting you know.
I'm just fucking with you. I mean, I'm just.
Are you
messing
taking
with
the over or the under, Eric? As he's actually
You
being
know,
the
what
smart
was
one
that?
and looking up what was announced at,
I mean-
at the Game Awards. See, I wanted to say E3, damn it.
Yeah, her,
Oh boy.
I might miss that show. Over or under, buddy.
I mean,
Oh,
over,
OD's
sure.
not coming. That's Xbox
Yeah.
exclusive, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just gonna go through the games, but yeah, that works too. Over, I guess. Sure, why not? Because reasons.
Hell yeah.
I have no.
I'm loving all the overs.
I have no. If
That fits my
reasons or
show
not.
perfectly.
So
Yeah.
Then said E3 also provided a good opportunity for game industry people and media to network. Absolutely.
mhm.
Insane networking at the event. Insane.
I mean, you still have that at others, but
But there you got the
Yeah,
game
right.
devs.
Oh,
like
yeah.
literal,
It-
like big name game devs.
You get to meet devs,
Yeah.
and that's
At PAX,
that's
it's like
really
basically
different.
marketing team.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Then Taker 610 said E3 eradicated, expired, expulsed. Sad trombone.
Yep.
Ah,
Man, that's deep.
God, that's
All right, it's
so
getting
deep.
late. Let's move on.
Hold on, Boo Betty had one other
Eric,
thing.
calm down, Andres.
Go, whoa. How late was your show last night? My show always goes that late. How late was your show last night?
Yeah, but imagine doing that back to back to back.
Wait, how
man.
late? What? How late was it? Can we know?
It was I was done live streaming at 11 and he was still streaming.
I started before his stream and ended after his stream.
I started at 7:30. So did you.
First one in, last one out. Putting in
Yeah,
that
but
work.
I'm always on time. You're not.
I was on time.
Who's on time? Who's on time?
Oh, all right, whatever, man. About the same time. Fine, I'll give it to you, even though you.
Either way, you streamed longer. Which I was shocked that you were still going when my stream
Me
ended.
too. Me
But-
too. But we were having
But
fun.
you know when my show goes to every time, so I don't want to hear any complaints. You
What-
can
what
always
the thing is,
you can dip anytime you want. You know that, right? You're not required to
but
be here. I'm
there's
the
a
only
difference
one
that-
required to
listen,
be here.
listen, there's a difference because we were talking about Switch
Hey,
2.
hey!
When you talk about Switch 2, time just flies.
Shut your sexy little mouth.
All right, Boomany said
My
with
mouth
EA
is
rushed
not
off
little,
stage
but
after
thanks for
receiving
saying
rewards.
it's sexy.
Everyone fans felt like everyone was rushed off stage. Like as Nintendo guys, we focused on Aonuma, but a lot of people felt like everyone was. And then Legendary Bastard wants to
Dude,
just
that's such a
remind me
great
that I need to
name.
do another shot. So we're going to get
Sure,
that.
why
We're
not?
going to go ahead and get that other shot in because we did technically cross another $20 in super chat. So you know what? I'm just going to do it. It is what it is. That being said, shall we get to the Switch 2 topic? And while I do the shot, does somebody else want to?
let's switch
talk
to
about
the
it?
next topic. Hey,
Yeah, actually, because I've been waiting for this because it does kind of stem from the debate I had yesterday. It kind of left a lasting impression on me, and I really want your takes on this. So, while you're getting drunk, I actually am going to
It's only my
present an image
second.
to you.
Give me some credit.
So, Bo and Tucker actually prepared. They worked together for a few hours and prepared imagery for the debate that I did by myself yesterday. Which
yeah, because
was-
Rob.
yeah, he got busy.
It happens.
I think if Rob and I were together, we would have like won the debate, and so it's more debatable. Yeah, who won the debate?
They came prepared and you weren't. Got it.
I mean, I did research.
You thought it was going to be an easy win, and they came in and got compelling.
Oh, they had one. I mean,
Wait,
mean,
So
good points were made
I'm
on both
so
sides.
dumb.
By
I'm
the
sorry.
way, people
Nate,
don't
were
even
you
know what we're
on
talking
his
about or what the
podcast
rumors
last night?
are.
We
We
were
might wanna
debating.
go
Yeah,
get to that
right. I think you and I are talking about because we already know. Like no one else knows.
But we got to
Alright,
let the audience know what are we talking about? Because
so
technically,
last-
this is 8 days
right.
old.
Right. So last night, I had a debate on my channel, a live debate.
Wait,
Botox
Nate was
thing
there. Nate was part of it.
He
No,
visited
I was in the chat a little bit.
He just
here and
visited
there.
in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
I
Yeah,
would have
so-
filled in if I had known that Rob wasn't going to be there, but
Yeah. So I had a live debate. It was me, Botox Games, and Backlog Banter. The idea was to have a 2v2 of Team 2024, Team 2025, debating when Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out, what year, and that was basically the live stream. So we opened up
Wait,
the live
did you
stream.
have to 2 against 1?
I was the one.
he got
Oh
tagged.
man, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You got the double
I-
team.
I-
yeah.
I felt confident about it, so I wasn't too worried. But after doing the stream, I think what happens is when two people are talking versus one, there's a psychological effect of, well, they're literally talking more because I don't want to be rude,
Yeah.
right, and just over talk them. But by not being rude, I also allowed them to dominate the conversation because it's
Yeah.
two people versus one, right? So
Mhm.
that said, I still made all my points, so whatever. I mean, it was a good conversation.
I mean,
it is what it is.
I think it's wild. Like, obviously, you're right. Like,
Well,
okay.
okay.
What we haven't even
I-
got to is part of what, like, look, Team 2024 versus Team 25. We can get to it in a moment. There's actually rumors out there, not just about 2024, right? There's a whole bunch of people. Rumors about it being like early next year, which is the crazy thing. I just want to bring these two things up quick, and then we'll get back to this 2024 versus 2025 thing, because I am interested in what that point was they made that was really good about 2025.
I think it's a good point. Yeah.
But there's two particular sources last week that brought up about Switch coming out early, or Switch 2 coming out early next year, which a lot of people think, yeah, 2024 is obvious. Not most people don't think early 2024 is really going to happen. Maybe an announcement, but not a release. They're talking release. So one of them is Rev Genius over on Twitter. He's a known Samsung leaker. Nintendo is partnered with Samsung already with Switch. Probably going to be partnered with manufacturing with Switch 2. So he gets a lot of inside information on upcoming Samsung products based on manufacturing. If you go visit his Twitter, you're going to see him just tons of Samsung leaks like crazy. But he put out there saying that it looks like Switch 2 is coming out early next year. And you could just say, well, maybe he's just shooting the shit, even though all he does is leak stuff all the time. Okay, cool. Maybe he's just throwing an opinion out. But then Zuby Tech, who's one of the largest and most well-known PlayStation leakers, also had a leak for Switch 2 that stated Switch 2 early next year with a January event. And the crazy thing about Zuby Tech, because like I didn't really know a lot about, I knew you go to him. I followed him on Twitter because he does PlayStation leaks, and I like to stay up to date what's going on with PlayStation. But like Zuby Tech is so well known that like the head of PlayStation Studios follows the guy. So does Digital Foundry. Like serious people are following him because he has leaked things that are a big deal. So that's kind of very just fascinating on its own. I don't know that I'm like, oh man, this thing's coming early next year. But we potentially have a manufacturing person. We potentially have someone who's obviously connected with studios with another company. I'm assuming if he's hearing this stuff, he's hearing it from a third-party studio that's bringing something to Switch 2 that heard when the reveal is coming, because they would know when their game's going to get shown off for it and blah blah blah. So, those are like, we talk a lot about Zippo and other dumb things on our channel, but these are like two new people that I didn't pay a lot of attention to. That just digging in, it turns out that
they don't leak Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, you won't pay that much attention to them, but they actually are pretty damn good and pretty damn reliable based on what I was able to research about them and the way that the other communities around them talk about them. They're very well respected. Even though, I'm going to tell you right now, Nintendo fans, don't dig too deep into Zuby Tech, because he is a massive fanboy and he trashes Nintendo and Xbox any chance he can get. He's a super Sony
he would
fanboy.
rather get
Super Sony fanboy.
Event. Is he so much of a fanboy?
That's the thing. Is like, would he fake it? He said to someone someone asked him about that. He said in a reply, like, no, like this is just.
Why would he?
Wait, what did he say?
Like,
what did he say? I didn't hear you.
Why would he put his credibility on the line?
Yeah, it would ruin his credibility if he did that. But
so what did he say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it because a lot of us were talking at the same time.
What did Zuby Tech say?
Oh, yeah, you said something. He said something in the replies.
He replied to someone who said, "Oh, are you trolling?" And he said, "No, this is something I actually heard." So it would be a reputation thing if he was just doing it to piss people off. And then obviously we have Rev Genius, who didn't say there's a January event, but he did say early. And when you say when I think early, to me that's first 4 months. Once you get past the first third of the year, now you're more towards the middle.
I would say early is first half. Technically,
I don't think that's early then. If it's first half, like if it's June, that's the middle of the year. If it's May, it's almost.
I understand what you're saying, but if we want to go technicalities, right? And you like if it ends up coming out May or June, no one's. I don't think anyone considers that early. No one's gonna say they were wrong.
Well, yeah, if it's May, if it's June, I think they might say it's wrong because that's the middle of the year. No one considers June early. Okay, I'm looking at let's ask the chat.
It's early.
Chat, is June considered early?
Before you ask chat, like it would be early compared to holiday predictions.
But that's not what they said. They said early 2024. They didn't say early holiday, like compared to holiday. They just said early compared to the year, early 2024. So it's June early. I want to ask the chat because that's almost to my birthday, and I don't
think
consider
so.
my
I think
birthday to
it's
be
June,
early
not holiday.
in the year.
Yeah. I also feel like we're splitting hairs here.
Jan to April. See, that's
I
what I thought, Jan to
agree,
April.
Andres. I agree.
First 4 months, man. That's early. I don't know. August is still early. See, then you have people saying August is early. What do I know? What do I know? Second half of the year is early, baby.
Hey, get fucked. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
No.
September's early. November's early. You know what? December 31st is early 2024 at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
First quarter. Yeah, that's the first 3
relative.
months. So I don't know. I was giving credit to let April slip in. I truly believe early means the first quarter, but I was like, I'll give them 1 extra month on top because it's still the first third of the year at least. But anyways, do you guys think there's anything to this? I mean, obviously, if a January event happens,
I
we're
have
going to
one
know
more
quick.
question before you ask that. I have one more question. Chat, do you think if you had to choose, not middle, if you had to choose early or late in a year for a new hardware release, would you consider June to be early or late if those are your two choices?
I'm gonna enter chat and say early.
I know you're going to do that. Anyway, setting aside that, that's the rumors from like people who are supposedly reputable. I don't know what to think. I just know.
Oh yeah,
I am excited about next year. I'm very confident Switch 2 is coming out next year. Now, I may have my own source on this. Actually, I do. I straight up put it in a video
Does
already.
your own source tell you the timeline?
No. They were too afraid.
No.
No, the wink. Look, there's
No?
some NDA, there's some NDA stuff involved. I don't want to like put anything out there. I may have an idea.
Oh, so it is
I
no.
may have an idea. But it's
All right,
2024.
I will
2024.
DM you. Never.
And I will totally, no winking, tell you jack shit. Moving on. I usually share. This is
me.
This is different. This is I don't want to get this.
Sitting in a dumpster.
If you were here in person, maybe I'd tell you.
All right.
Maybe.
So how much?
Eric doesn't even know.
How much is a plane ticket going to cost?
How much
me?
I keep it private. Like this is the respect I have when I have like an actual real source. It's like no.
I respect you for.
But they did say I could just say it's coming 2024.
friend.
So it's coming 2024.
I don't think he's being a terrible friend, dude. I think he's
No,
just
he's
being
being
in person.
very good.
I want to be
somebody
clear about
else.
this. This is not Nintendo. So it's
He just
not
wants to see
someone
his
who works
guy.
for Nintendo, meaning that things could change. It's fluid. Nintendo makes the ultimate decision. This is just what they were told. 2024.
True.
I am on like, and even without this source, I was already like, it's coming 2024. I'll give you one good reason, and now we have. You know what reason you didn't have yesterday? How about the fact that Switch is the fastest declining selling system in November year over year?
Yeah, it's a
Didn't
shame
have
we
that
didn't do
data
the debate
yesterday.
today.
Didn't have that. Yeah, didn't have that data yesterday. That dropped today.
I'm
Like
doing
not
round
only is
two.
it double digit, it's the biggest decline of all the
Doing
systems
round two.
year over year. So Switch is obviously people might panic over that. Nintendo knew, like that's why they didn't adjust because they were ahead in the first 2 quarters. They knew this holiday wasn't going to be big for them.
They fought tooth and nail. They announced more bundles than they ever have had before.
Yeah,
like
Nintendo.
Well,
knew.
I mean, they didn't do a price drop. They chose not to do a price drop.
Yeah, they
so
could have
that
did that, and then they might have adjusted sales if they did that.
Sure, but at the same time, like the thing about a price drop is, you're going to sell more systems, but also you're going to make less money.
Yeah, basically.
And what at the end of the day, what really matters is how much money are they making.
You might not make less money because if you sell enough more systems.
Oh yeah, that's why price drops do happen. But obviously,
Yeah.
Nintendo didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah.
You're muted, or I'm muted. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
sorry,
you.
we can. There's a thing happening at the end of the Bucks game. They just won.
I don't.
And Giannis and Halliburton
no.
are just going at it right now, screaming at each
Giannis
other.
just went absolutely sprinting,
And he's
off
telling
the
him
court.
like, "Get him off my court." I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
Giannis just went absolutely
this
sprinting
never
off
happens
the court into
at the end of
locker
Bucks
room.
games.
I don't know what the heck happened.
And the game's over. The
Trying to
Bucks
figure it
won.
out.
I don't really know what the controversy was. Sorry, a big Bucks fan, and I'm like, I've
Yeah.
never seen Giannis and,
Giannis just went
another
absolutely
star player go
sprinting
head
up-
to head like that.
sprinting off the court with people chasing him.
Holy crud!
So yeah,
No, I kind of want to look this.
There's going to be news about it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably all over Twitter already. I don't have the volume
that's
on.
what
I don't
I
know
was
what's going
doing.
on. I'm sure there was something that happened. Something happened after the game. I don't know what it was, but it pissed Giannis off. That's for sure.
Maybe someone else got suspended indefinitely.
No, there wasn't anything that happened in game that was that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Giannis, by the way, just because we're talking about it, he did drop 64 points tonight and scored 26 in the fourth quarter. Just want to throw that out there. He
How much?
might have
How much?
26 points in the
I heard
fourth quarter.
66.
He dropped 64 for the game. He's plus 29.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, people who thinks he can't shoot free throws, he made 24 today
Out of
Yeah,
how
out of
many?
32.
out of 30 because they were fouling him like crazy in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's
That's what, 66%?
that's not good. But
Yeah.
24 to 32 is not good. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like 70%. It's not good.
it's
What are
not
you
above
talking
average.
about? It's
That's not a good
75%.
percentage. What?
That'd be the best he's ever shot in his
I
career.
was gonna say that's
What are you
It's not
talking
good.
about?
fantastic.
That,
for
if you
Giannis.
hit 3 out of every 4 free throws, that's good.
He
Giannis.
did not hit 3 out of every 4. He hit
Yeah,
less
he
than that.
He's factually 75%. 24 divided
Oh,
by
yeah.
32 is 75%.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
But I would consider at least 80% to be good.
But for
Yeah.
Giannis, who shoots 60%, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
good for him
Yeah.
doesn't mean
So
good.
there is a thing
He's
about
like
free
that-
throw
isn't
shooting.
he the
for
running
bigs.
dunk guy?
No, and
That couldn't
he
shoot 75%.
in fairness to him, I mean he's right. Like that is above
Oh.
average for him.
for
for
him,
him.
but it's not
Yeah.
good like in general.
No.
It's a big improvement.
How about
It's not
this? How about shooting
good
71% from the floor? Is that good?
That's
That
pretty
is
good.
great.
Because that's what he
That-
did today.
That's
Yeah,
godly.
but that's not what we're talking about.
Anyway,
Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Giannis is amazing. All right. So
Yeah, he is amazing. Anyways, moving on.
switch to
Sorry, I'm more interested in like what they were fighting about after the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am too, man.
I just love the NBA. So when hey, the Dre man, we talked about that earlier, dude. And evidence was mentioned.
I will
slap
be
the
looking at the
half out of
highlights
him.
when like after the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm going to be looking it up because something happened.
Oh,
Okay, not save it. We're save it.
Yep.
After the show. All right. Back to what we were talking about. Sorry to interrupt. No one even remembers anymore.
You're just tired of
Switch
Switch 2. You don't
two.
even care about Switch 2 anymore. You're ready for Switch 3, obviously.
No. All right.
so
How about
coming
this?
out next year? Come on,
Let's get
I
back
want
on the
it.
Switch
I
2
need it.
train. Hold on. Back on the Switch 2 train. What was
Switch
the
2
evidence in the
Pro.
debate? What was the evidence in the debate yesterday that
Oh, cool.
for 2025? Like
Sure.
the one that was really good.
Yeah, and for the record, when I say really good, that doesn't mean it changes my mind. It's just
A
kind
solid
of like,
argument. They made a good point.
It's a point that I can't necessarily refute.
It was one of those that you hesitated for 2 seconds and went,
It
"That's
was
a great
unexpected.
point," but no.
Unexpected.
Well, I knew this one was coming, but that I still couldn't refute it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Mean anything necessarily, but it's a good point.
It's a good point. That's all it is. I'm just
Now,
kind
what
of
is
curious what your
Team
perspective is on it.
2025.
All right, so I'm gonna share it actually. The
Yep,
chart. they
you
made.
share it? Sure thing.
Yeah. So let me know when you can see it.
And share. Wait, there it is.
So you see this chart they made?
They're
Yeah,
talking about the
so-
reveals.
Right. So this is the dates for when the code names for each respective Nintendo system in the 21st century was revealed.
Sure.
And then when the actual system was showcased, when the actual system came out. And so by looking at these code names, right, like basically, we haven't gotten a code name reveal for Switch, right? And then so even in the best case scenario, which was I think the 3DS, March 2010 to a release of February 2011, an 11-month window. Like this would just suggest that since we haven't gotten an official code name reveal from Nintendo, that Switch 2 is not coming out next year. If assuming this code name pattern makes any sense. My counter to it was just I just don't think they're going to do with the code name reveal, or if they will, it's going to be a hell of a quick turnaround, quicker than any of these. But I'm kind of curious what your perspective is on this, because this is the history.
So my perspective is that history's under prior presidents and not the current.
I did say that.
And I don't think that the code name reveal thing is going to keep happening. People forget that the reason, and I'm going to bring up Switch in this case because that's the most recent example. The only reason they even told us the code name, and I don't think we would have known the code name otherwise, was because they announced the partnership with Denna, and they wanted people to be scared because they thought maybe Nintendo was going to go all in on mobile. And
Also,
abandon
Wii was
console.
complete garbage.
They literally said this when they revealed the code name. Like, we're doing this because we don't want people to think we don't have, we know our current systems aren't doing well. We don't want people to think we're abandoning making systems. So, we have a new system and works code name at X. That's literally the only reason we even knew the code name. It was because of the partnership with Denna. So the timing of that March had to do the timing with the partnership with Denna going public. So I don't think that actually plays much of a role. I think it's much more important to look at reveal to release, and that's where you see, hey, October to March. That's a quick damn turnaround.
A 4.5 week window because it's late October, the beginning of March. Like it's such a short turnaround. And that's been my perspective. Like I agree. It's old Nintendo. Because if you look at these patterns, though, right? Like if you want to look at that, that's 2 years, right? That's just to think that. And by the way, when code names are announced, this is during a financial Q&A with investors, right? So we're still a couple months away from that. So this would mean, like what? Like is even late 2025 a realistic consideration with this in mind? And at that point, so we're talking like that just feels like really far off. So I don't agree. But I also this is the pattern, and basically my belief is just this pattern is not going to hold. It's a new Nintendo ecosystem now. So
Furukawa's quotes also sort of indicate they're not going to follow the pattern, and that is that Furukawa has been saying since he took over, and he's repeated this multiple times. Nintendo always gets to here and then falls off the cliff. And when you look at all those reveals, one thing in common is, hey, one went up here, the next one fell off the cliff for Nintendo, by the way. Like, I know people don't like 3DS sold great, but it's technically the worst selling handle they've ever had. So for them, it's falling off a cliff. For us,
is it worse than Game Boy Advance?
Yes, Game Boy Advance sold 80 mil. We're crazy too, because Game Boy Advance had one of the shorter periods on the market.
Yeah.
Still did 80
million. It had legs when DS came out.
Yeah, it did have some legs. So people weren't sure. Nintendo said DS isn't replacing it. There were still games coming out. Anyways, but the point is that he's talked about this factually, like not falling off the cliff. And I think part of that is realizing, hey, we don't need to do this year of hype. Also, we don't need to let our systems die heading into release. And a year of hype for a system kind of kills the current system. So even if you have big games coming,
exactly. I don't think they'll ever do that again.
Yeah, I don't think. Like, I kind of think this president's like, no, we see the way modern technology is, the way modern releasings of systems go. It's short announcement to release. We don't need a year to build this up. We announce this thing's out a few months after we're done announcing. Like I think, look, they did 4 months with Switch.
Look at how Nintendo releases their games. They hype up like thing, and they don't talk about hardly anything else after that. Yeah. And then as soon as that goes out, they give it a couple weeks, and then they have another big thing.
Yeah.
And they like to just do it one at a time. They don't want to split people's interests.
There's only a few things that they let you know years ahead. Zelda's one of them.
Yeah.
That's consistently we know ahead of time. Metroid apparently is one of them now. Smash as well. Those are like the ones that they let us know ahead of time. But in this era, outside of those IPs, everything else has been like, hey, we let you know, and this thing's out in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And they had huge success doing it. Like they sold more games this generation. First system ever over $1 billion in software sales for Nintendo. PlayStation's used to that. Nintendo isn't. This is the most software they've ever sold in any generation in their history. DS is the best-selling console of all time. Yeah, Switch is the best-selling software console of all time. I think Nintendo cares more about that because of how much money they make off software. It's insane. Like, people always were, Nintendo cares about hitting 150 million. No, they don't. They care about consistent yearly sales and profit margins. You don't worry about some arbitrary numbers that you could say, our system that we're no longer selling is now the best-selling system of all time while we're trying to sell a new product. Like, they're not going to, what are they going to do? Beat their chest and brag about, hey, we sold 5 million Switches in 2026.
Yeah, that's not keeping it clean.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
No bragging.
Yeah. And you've never seen Nintendo do this, by the way. Like, they've never been the company that goes out there and brags so much when they're on top. We've seen the other companies.
They're classy. That's true.
Yeah, they don't, and maybe it's because every time they're on top, they just fall right the hell off. So they know, like we
They know
don't.
what's coming.
I don't, even if they would have like been able to predict like consistent success, I don't think they would have.
You know,
ever.
I think
You're
it's
right.
funny.
You're right. They are like that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Some
Andre.
people kind of
They don't
worry
act
that
like
we could
they're
get like
better
a
than
Wii U
everybody else. I guess
situation
is maybe
again.
the way to put it. When they're on top.
But we're not gonna get a Wii U situation again. Like, I mean, it's interesting if you look like starting like with the DS game Wii era, like the only system that really flopped was the Wii U, right? Let's see, you got
Sure.
DS, Wii, 3DS, Wii U, Switch. So out of 5, so they're like 80% is pretty solid, right?
Mhm.
And also that was when they were splitting themselves between 2 different platforms. This kind of goes back to the whole like debate between 24 and 2025. Like people that look at like numbers and patterns from beforehand, that's looking at a Nintendo, different leadership, but also them having to share their resources for 2 different pillars. It's just about Switch now. And it's just a very different beast. The way they're going to operate, the way they're going to handle things. They want to have a smooth
success with
transition.
Switch, short announcement to release.
Yeah.
Then you have a new president coming in being like, "Hey, we can't keep doing what we've been doing. It doesn't work.
It
gotta
doesn't
be
work.
different."
And if they did it, it would be even worse now because at least back then they had another platform to fall on if they had a drought or something.
Everything, all their eggs are in one basket platform wise. Like they can't afford to be.
They
messing
have
up.
to. They'd have to make it work. They have to. Yeah.
Yep.
So if anything, announcing a new system sooner than later gives them the opportunity to have that 2-pillar thing for at least a little bit.
Sure, yeah, because you're gonna have some trickle down Switch sales still. You'll have a price cut.
I mean, the first year, I bet you the first year there's gonna be better Switch sales than there'll be Switch 2 sales.
Really? I don't know if I buy that.
Software wise.
Software, yes.
Software, maybe.
But if you look at the PS5 and Xbox Series, like PS5 was impossible to get, but it still outsold the PS4.
Yeah, console wise, they're gonna make 10 to 12 million Switches in this first calendar year. Easy. So
no, I think it's probably the case that Switch 2 will outsell Switch 1 in its first
software wise,
year.
If there, especially if there's a lot of cross gen, software wise, it's
software is where it's at right now, right? That's
that's where they make most of their money for sure.
Yeah.
No,
my point is simply that
wait, Andre, let me ask you this question. I agree that Switch will outsell Switch 2 in software, but the best-selling Nintendo title of the year, just individually, I think will actually be a Switch 2 game.
Metroid Prime. I'm just kidding. It's going to be 3D Mario.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Pokemon.
Whatever their big gun is, whatever it is.
There's a Pokemon game that's not on Switch 2.
I mean,
you mean not on Switch 1? Oh, or wait. You mean not on Switch 2?
Yeah, because Pokemon tends to join the next generation a year later.
Pokemon's going to be a 10
Yeah,
million
you're right.
seller.
You're right.
Like it may even be a 15.
I mean, it'll be backwards compatible, so Switch 2 players will probably get to play.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be technically
made for
Switch,
Switch,
right? Yeah. So I think Pokemon's probably it's probably going to be.
Pokemon might outsell because Pokemon does 15-20 mil now.
And so the thing is, even if 3D Mario goes on to sell 30 to 40 million copies later down the road, like its first year,
not in the first year.
Even if half of everyone who buys a Switch 2 buys 3D Mario, which would be an insane attach rate for within the first year, like there's just no there's no way they're gonna even hit 10 million. There's just no way.
And I know.
Well, I'm assuming that 15 million is kind of like the cap in terms of first year sales, right? Like maybe they put out more, but I'm just basing this how they did.
If they have more than usual, it could be 15.
But the Switch sold 15 million. Is
what people forget is like I know we see these insane launch numbers now from Nintendo. Nintendo's games are evergreen, man. There's not like these other platforms. They don't have to blow their load in the first launch period. Mario's just going to keep selling. So that's why Nintendo's not afraid to launch massive exclusive games in year one when it's from their IPs that just keep selling year over year over year. That's why I think they want to get a Mario Kart out in year one because they know that thing's selling all gen. All gen. It's going to be a system seller year one, all generation. It's going to be a system seller every holiday, which I don't like thinking that, hey, for the next decade, it's just going to be more Mario Kart bundles, just the new Mario Kart game. But this is what Nintendo does. It worked, so they're probably going to keep it going. That's basically what I'm
By the
saying.
way, guys, I'm looking at the chat. This was water. So
Oh, well, you hold up a cup
Someone-
like that.
someone
I'm
accused
thinking
you
it
of
could be something
drinking?
else.
Dude, I just realized I had like the sketchiest drink the whole time because I had refilled this with water and then put iced tea
Looks like-
drops in it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it
So
looks
just
like
looks
dirty
like
piss.
this.
Looks like you're drinking whiskey or something.
I
Man.
know. I'm
I'm sitting over
genuinely
here
not.
drinking
If I was,
40% plus alcohol.
I would not be keeping it clean, and you would know.
Immediately no. As someone who's been around him, it's an immediate reaction.
Okay, all right, let's calm down about it. But okay,
I'm gonna say.
Anyways, so I don't know. You guys have any more thoughts on the Switch? Like, do we think these rumors mean it's going to actually be revealed early next
It
year?
just feels a little hard to believe. You
Yeah,
know,
that's the
it's
thing. I don't
I
doubt
would
these
say
people,
it's,
it's just-
here's the phrase: extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and right now we don't have extraordinary evidence to an early Switch 2 launch, right? So I
the
just
crazy
I,
thing
ne-
is,
I
too,
need a
if
little
we
bit more
think-
evidence to really buy
If we
into
think it's
this.
going to be like a 3 or 4 month thing, literally they can announce it anytime, and it's just here in 3 months.
I think it's one of those things where I'm not going to believe it until I see it, or maybe a Switch 2 leaks. You know, like
Yeah.
if Eurogamer comes out and says that Switch 2 is coming out in May, then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, maybe there's truth to this, right? But
Okay.
I need I need at least one really big site to say something before I can really open up my heart to this.
So this is semi-related. We had a
before you
member
can
chat
open
to
up
him.
your heart to it.
It says
Yeah.
Switch 2 reveal month
You are
prediction.
passionate about Switch 2.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Let's end
I
this
love it.
Switch 2 and get to our next topic by talking about Switch 2 reveal month predictions. Let's just throw it out there. When do we think it's being revealed? It's not released, reveal.
March. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm boring.
March? That's all right.
But
That's a popular one.
I might
because
have
of the
to.
games
I
and
might have
stuff.
to hype a little irresponsibly. I might
December.
have to go January train, baby.
Okay.
Let's
Yes.
go, chat.
Hey,
Hype.
I would love a January reveal
Let's go.
Yeah.
because January is
Let's
like only
go.
2 weeks away.
Eric, what do we
Like,
got?
it's crazy. We're already halfway through December.
Don't remind me.
It's been a long December.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Screw it. December 26th.
December.
The day after
December-
Christmas.
Christmas
It's,
Day.
a, it's a bonus. It's a Christmas bonus miracle.
We're having a
Yeah.
freaking
And
direct.
when they release it, they just have like
Why
why am I blanking on the Mario guy's name and Zelda? Miyamoto. They just have Miyamoto flipping off a bunch of kids that just got the Switch 1 for Christmas. And then he like
You
holds up the
just
Switch
opened
2.
it. Here's what awesome.
Oh my god.
Like, you got this
That's
brand new
Then
one
you got
right
me.
after you got it.
You got me. Look, I almost feel like I'm not hyping irresponsibly anymore. I'm going January, and because Eric just won
I'm
out.
going with
We are
responsibility.
we are hyping irresponsibly, but Eric is just off the deep end. Like he is wilding right now.
You know what's crazy is you guys make me feel so tame.
Eric, you're
Yeah,
Eric,
you're like the. It might not get even revealed till June. Comes out September, and you're just like, March. That's the popular pick.
No, I
It's-
said I said
no
March.
Eric is crazy. Like I like you,
I just
but
won.
you're fucking crazy.
exactly. His whole point is that earlier the better for
Yes.
him. Give it to me now. If I could say it's going to be revealed tomorrow, I'd probably say it, but it would have been announced that it's being revealed tomorrow. So
Yeah.
got to give him a week to announce the 26th, baby.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
We're still being irresponsible.
Oh,
No
yeah,
one's
so-
gonna mistake us for responsible folks. Okay.
I
Well,
think
No
irresponsibly
one's
is
gonna
so-
make that mistake.
Jake's just trying to make up for destroying me at the Game Awards. That's all. He's
I-
joining the train.
I just want to say that
Excuse
you
me?
know, the Nintendo staff are going to be out for the holidays
Hey,
for a
get your mind
few
out of the
weeks, so
gutter.
don't expect any major official Nintendo news after this week until like sometime mid-January.
January, yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing minis and other stuff. So January, they sometimes have
Semantics.
news.
Dude, but
And
you
then
know,
February
isn't
direct.
Pokemon Day in February? So wouldn't it
Yeah,
make sense to? I don't
So
know.
what?
Now, Pokemon usually joins a gen late though, so or a year late.
Semantics.
So.
Well, they're not.
Usually,
If the
But
Switch
this
is
was
backwards
this generation,
compatible,
they
they don't
started
even
having
have.
multiple teams work on stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah,
the
I
next imagine
you
they
when we get
announce
another
a new
BDSP
Legends
game
game,
next year.
a new
Yeah,
Legends game, Switch 2 exclusive.
It's gonna be like another BDSP. I just feel it. it's
Switch
going to be
takes
another
this
one of
would
those
be
kind of
crazy,
games.
but
No, I think they learned, dude. They've actually been
They
so
learned
good.
they
at
learned
listening
that
to
they could
people.
hire a team and pay them next to nothing and make billions. That's what they learned by making BDSP. It was like the cheapest thing they've ever done, and they made
No,
billions.
but dude, they listened to people's feedback of Sword and Shield and made Arceus. Like they've been really good. And even before that, they listened. People were tired of gyms, so they changed it up with Sun and Moon.
I
They
know.
really do listen.
I'm not saying they
Now,
don't.
they
listen.
might
I'm
not.
saying
They might not nail
I'm
it.
getting off the
but
Legends
sometimes
hype
you
train
do.
for next year.
You enjoyed Arceus, right? Like
I'm off the Legends hype train for next year. I started thinking about it. I don't think it's had enough dev time. I don't think it's coming next
all
year.
right. Oh,
What?
by the way, shout
Year
out
after.
to
It's
the new
2020
DLC
years,
just
it's
dropped
3 years, not
when the
enough time.
podcast started.
Have we seen Pokemon games? No, 3 years is not enough dev time. Thank you very much. I think we've already
Yeah,
seen
but have we seen that they don't care?
Yeah, exactly.
Legends Arceus.
I don't care.
I'm sure
I'll
that they
buy it.
cared. I'm just throwing that out there. The Legends game looked like it had a lot of care.
I'm a
I mean,
simple
they obviously
boy
already
that
have an
likes
engine going,
Pokemon,
right? Like
right?
3 years is not that
But the new
unreasonable.
hardware, new system, it's 2025. Is what it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're going to another BDSP next year. I'm just throwing that out there. Now I will say this: the new Legends game could double up. It could do what they did with BDSP. Drop 4 months later in the early 2025.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Could be a thing. Anyways, moving on to our next topic. This is just fun. I love talking Zelda. I don't know if that's like a secret at this point. And we have like two different things to talk about when it comes to the future of Zelda. One of them is about a particular remake / remaster, hopefully remake. Actually, in this case, they specifically said remake. That is just super hyped to talk about. The
I'm
other
just
thing,
getting so pretty with this one. It's just crazy.
yeah.
I almost feel bad.
The other one is just the next Zelda game, the next big one. We'll touch first on the next big one, which is the one that I think there's not quite as much to talk about unless you really want to dive deep into the Zelda.
Well, I actually have something to chime in on that.
Sure. So let me just get to what Aonuma said.
Sorry.
He had two big interviews. He did
That's
with
what I was
Game
going to
Informer
talk
and
about.
IGN.
Perfect. Okay.
And he said Ultra Hand's not going to return, basically. That's the general takeaways. Ultra Hand's not going to return. That's specifically Tears of the Kingdom for the next
I
game.
miss doing the Ultra Hand jobs. I'll miss that.
You might as well change that little tagline on you right now.
That's a real thing. You have jobs to complete in the game where you use Ultra Hand. They're Ultra Hand jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the smirk you have after you say it gives it away.
That's it's just my face, man.
Yeah, we've already established you're just sexy, apparently. That's what everyone is saying. We have the super chat to prove it.
Yes.
Anyways, they've also apparently entertained, and then we've heard this before. This isn't like a new thing, but they were asked about Zelda and expanding her role and maybe being playable. And basically, Aonuma was like, yeah, this is something we've talked about in the past. We've entertained it. And basically, if an opportunity arises that they feel like they can make a playable Zelda work, that they will implement it. Just basically say the door is still open on possibly Zelda being playable in a future game. That's sort of like the big thing that a lot of people talked about, because it has been talked about by the fan base a lot. Like whether it's not necessarily her being the star of the game, but like maybe side quests you could do with her, dungeon rolls. There was actually debated heading into Tears of the Kingdom. Some people thought, hey, if she goes to the past, maybe we could play as her in the past with Link in the present. That obviously didn't happen, but
playable cutscenes might have been a neat idea.
Yeah, or like us being able to even even if it was just quick time.
Remember the opening sequence for Tears of the Kingdom? That was basically like a playable cutscene.
Yeah.
Like, what if they had done something like that for Princess Zelda for some of the flashbacks? Yeah. I think that would have been maybe the best case scenario.
See, for the playable Zelda thing, I throw it out there. Like, I think helping in dungeons would be interesting. And I'm going to give it an example from a prior game where this would have been a really cool take. And this is a game we're about to talk about in Ocarina of Time. Zelda is, sorry, spoiler, Sheik in Ocarina of Time and just shows up in the dungeons. Just shows up in the dungeon and talks to Link and gives him advice, right? What if you're playing as Link up to a certain point in the dungeon and then the perspective changes to where you were Sheik and now you're showing how Sheik had to break into the dungeon to get to that point to talk to Link because he clearly didn't go through the same entrance. So now you're getting an alternative perspective of the dungeon with alternative gameplay that converges back with Link before you switch back to Link after she gives the advice or whatever. And now that's
not a bad idea. I don't like it, but it's not a bad idea.
Again, this is going back to a game that already exists. I'm just pointing out an idea like that I could see being implemented in a future game where Zelda's playable in a role like that. It doesn't have to be an advice role, but
Well,
whereas
there's
the
also
segment of the dungeon that
Zelda
she
was
had-
heavily involved with the gameplay in Spirit Tracks.
well, yeah, as the Phantom, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's not like we haven't been able to use her in the past. I'm just saying that we haven't, like, we're not directly playing as her.
This is maybe a better example. The Wind Waker had companions for some of the dungeons.
Yeah,
And actually, Tears of the Kingdom has companions for the dungeons. The
you don't-
sages.
but you don't play as them. Like, that's the difference.
No, you don't
Both of them are
play as
really
them.
playable.
No.
Like,
You don't play as them. Right? You don't. I understand what you're saying. You're talking about
Majora's
gameplay, but
Mask has a good example. There's literally a side quest. You play other characters. The Andrew and Kathy side quest. You literally play as other characters. It's the first time in Zelda history it's ever happened, where you literally played as a different character that wasn't Link.
were you just disguised as them, or were you actually? I don't.
No,
remember.
you were them.
Yeah. Okay. That was.
Yeah,
pretty
the
impressive,
masks
but-
were disguised, where you were
Yeah.
a character for those cultures, but you weren't really them.
Wait, can I say my thing real quick?
Yeah.
No.
It's not too long. It's just
No.
it's about that someone had tweeted the quote that you said.
Yeah.
And there was just a really good reply like on Twitter that like made so much sense to me and stuck
Did
with
you
me.
like it?
Someone was like, I can't understand why people want to go back to linear. What I would want is
Oh yeah.
linear dungeons, but an open world. And I was like, yes, because you know what? It actually is really boring when you're going in between locations in like Ocarina of Time. Like, there's not a ton to explore. There's just a little bit. But if that was all open and there was lots of cool stuff, like, I think that would be a really great marriage between the two. And that would kind of, people had the same complaints with Breath of the Wild. A lot of people was like, the dungeons weren't they were boring, like the divine beasts. So
The
yeah,
Lightning
give us, like,
Temple in
the old school dungeons, but
Mm.
with an open world like in between it. And I think that would
Yeah.
be an awesome Zelda game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was
No,
just
no, no,
thinking
no.
'cause-
I'm good.
yeah.
I didn't want to...
Yeah, no, but like the Lightning Temple in Tears of the Kingdom, I would say is maybe the closest thing to what we were kind of getting at,
Yeah.
because
You
there
can do
are
it out of
linear
order
moments
still, but
in the
it's
Lightning
still
Temple.
pretty.
But like there's the opening sequence to the Lightning Temple, right? Like
Yeah.
'cause you have to go
Well-
down some corridors and then
Yeah, that's
it's-
very linear. That part.
yeah. Yes, I think Lightning Temple is actually a pretty damn good dungeon.
It actually,
one that
yeah,
feels
it
most
is.
traditional
I
Zelda, like.
totally didn't solve it the right way. Like, I got the reflecting thing. Like, I would just like pile stuff
Yeah.
up instead of doing it the intended way because I just got frustrated. But it worked, and I didn't have
Yeah.
to look it up.
but that one
like-
was kind of tough, right? It was a little
It was
bit
really
of a,
fun though.
yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
That was. Yeah, you're right.
I liked the spectacle for the Wind Temple, but
Same. And that's typically going to be your first one.
Well, yeah,
If
the
you
game
go
sort
in
of
the
directs you that
recommended.
way a little bit.
Like,
Yeah.
for most
It is-
players,
it is
that'll be
the-
their
it is-
first one.
yeah.
I think that's a great first one for that
Yeah.
game.
But
Yeah,
it's
the
also-
temples
it's
and,
also
and
kinda
Tears
easy.
were way better than the divine beasts.
Love the boss fight. That boss. I don't even care about the rest of the time, but the boss fight was so great. I'm good.
Colgera,
For which one?
Colgera.
Colgera is such a
Colgera
goat.
was such a
Oh.
good fight.
It was really
Yeah.
easy, but I mean,
I mean,
It
I
was
I
think
mean
cool.
that it's the first dungeon.
yeah,
it's supposed
true.
to be. To be fair, I don't even think it's the easiest. I might want to get into. I'm
Dude,
really
the
disappointed.
The lightning one, the
in the
bug
Zora
was
one.
definitely the hardest, I think.
You
Yeah.
know, it's funny. I've heard people say that it's easy, but it was also hard for me. I think it depends on how you play the game because the difficulty does ramp up. I think as you progress, because like it was
What's
one-shotting
hard
me.
about
What
this
made it
fight?
easier for me was just like
You have a
when
water
you aim
shield.
your
You can
bow in
throw
the air,
water. You
it
have water
freezes time.
abilities. You have bomb arrows. So I don't know what's hard.
Yeah,
about
and
No,
like
the-
when you aim
the-
in the air, it freezes time, and that like makes it so much like
yeah,
gives you so much more leeway.
Are we talking about the same boss?
the boss at the end of the Zora one.
No, I'm talking about the Lightning Temple.
Oh yeah, I was talking about the Zora one. I thought that one was even
Oh.
easier than
I
Colgera.
was talking about the Wind Temple.
We're all talking
Eric,
about Daredevil.
Eric,
The
Eric,
Lightning
Eric
Temple
was
one-
thinking about the Fire Temple. He just
No,
didn't
the-
say
the
it.
Light-
he was
Yep.
thinking
The
about it.
Lightning Temple one, I will admit that one
That
was
one was hard, dude. That one was
that was
really hard for
hard.
me.
It would
And I wanna
always
say-
one-shot me.
I'm gonna
Like,
throw
it would
this
just
out
look
there.
at me, I would die.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear people talk about easy bosses, I keep thinking back on all the 3D Zeldas I played. I don't remember ever leaving any of the fights thinking they were particularly hard. They were just had cool mechanics. Once you figure out the mechanic, it's easy.
Yeah.
So like I've never looked at Zelda games as like, oh, we have super hard. So like I honestly thought like the Lightning Temple boss is actually one of the harder bosses in a 3D Zelda game.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
legit.
Dude, with all the different Gibdos chasing you,
Gibdo's
it's
chasing
actually
you, and like
it's actually kind of creepy. Like it's
like
scary.
she's always coming like right at you all the time, and as you're trying to
Yeah.
like get distance from her.
And
Yeah.
getting behind
And
you.
it gets in your
sometimes you're
head
not
once you
sure
die a
where-
few
where it's
times. You're
looking.
very intimidated. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely died to the fight a couple times before I
Oh, yeah.
even knew what I was doing. Didn't
And
even know
what's
what I
cool
was
is you
doing.
fight that boss to open up the dungeon too. So there's a little bit
Yeah.
of like a story
Yeah.
there.
And so then you think you know what to do, and then the same thing doesn't work exactly at all in the final part. You're like,
Yeah.
oh well, shit. I don't know what to do now. Oh
That
yeah,
was really great
that
challenge.
fight
And
was,
also, it was cool to see challenge like that at the end of the game, because the thing with Breath of the Wild was,
unless it
for
was
me,
your
the
first
most
dungeon, then it was the
challenging
beginning.
part was the beginning, when you had no hearts or no good equipment.
Imagine
then
doing that
The
dungeon at the
more
beginning.
stamina and hearts you got, the easier the game got, the better stuff you'd find. And technically, the boss fights were harder, but they were easier because of your attributes.
Mhm.
Sure.
So I think, dude, Tears of the Kingdom really learned so much from Breath of the Wild. Really,
I
really
feel the
mastered it in a
same
lot of
way.
ways.
It's refreshing to hear that because there's been a lot of negative conversation about Tears of the Kingdom lately, and I feel like it hasn't really been representative of what they accomplished with that game. Like I look at where they went from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, and they went in all the directions I wanted and expected them to go in. Like
Yeah.
I thought they did a better job of telling the story. I thought they did a better job of having an antagonist that you had a relationship with, which really helped to have a more satisfying end. And the way they handled the final boss fight was way better than the way they handled the final boss fight.
The final boss fight,
Dude,
so
so many
Yeah.
things.
that's
were
a very good final.
Well,
They
you
don't
saw it.
always
That
get
was
it
my
right.
number
They
one
got it
game
right.
that I played, 155 hours, even more than Pokemon. And I looked, and like the majority of my hours that I gamed on Switch, it was like every month was like the bar was this little, and then May was like this.
Yeah. I've been noticing that for a lot of people, myself
Dude, the
included.
bar when it went off screen.
May is a big spike year for most Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
Dude, when
Yeah.
when the phase change happens and the bar goes off screen,
Dude,
I'm
they
like,
they did so many cool things.
I'm like, wait, is the game broken? Is this a bug? What just why is the health bar off the screen?
I just want to
it's so
recognize what's
cool.
happening right now.
It's so
And let's not
unique.
lie, Ganondorf is always going to be so much cooler than any form of Ganon.
I tend to agree. Beast Ganon's always been sort of a letdown. And
Well, I mean,
or like the top down games, Ganon's all right.
so if
Yeah.
you the thing is, Ganon is cool to me when Ganon's the final transformation of Ganondorf. But there's got to be a Ganondorf at the base.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can see that too.
Dude, come on, like Ocarina of Time.
I just don't like Beast
Ganon.
Ganon.
Ganondorf and
I just don't do
transforms
Beast
into
Ganon.
the
I'm kind
Ganon.
of over the Beast Ganon thing. Give me just a big giant pig.
No, I
Ganon.
like it as like Andre's right, like as the ultimate form of a boss, but not as the antagonist you're
Like-
seeing the whole game.
Yeah.
Or like
I
I
want-
want,
Ganon-
yeah.
I like
want a
Ganon and Ocarina
character.
of Time. Ganon
Yeah.
and Ocarina of Time as an example. I like that one.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well,
'Cause the whole
Ganon,
time,
yeah.
the visual antagonist that you're seeing is Ganondorf, and then at the end
Yeah.
they just have him an ultimate form, which is
Ganondorf
kind of like
is way
a
more
cliche in a
personality.
lot of like RPGs, right? Like you've killed a boss, but then there's really a super boss. It's like the god of the world or trying to be or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like a cliche, but not in a bad way. It's a cool it's a cliche because it's awesome. So like
Yeah.
it's cool when it has meaning behind it, like Ganon to Ganondorf.
Yeah, but but they did something really cool in Tears of the Kingdom where they one up that. Can we say
Yeah,
it?
that's true.
I don't know. It's just so cool. But anyways, the thing I wanted to acknowledge
Yeah.
though
Oh, it's
is
such
that
a
right
good
now we're
one.
kind of gushing about Tears of the Kingdom, and to me, what this kind of feels like we didn't intend on doing this, right? And to me, what it kind of feels like it's I think it's part of the Zelda cycle, right? Like I think we play Zelda, and after the honeymoon phase, a lot of us get really critical of it, and then after a certain little time, we start to reminisce, think about it,
Yeah.
right?
I
Like we
never
had that
got
year in review
critical of
today.
it, honestly. I just was saying that Baldur's Gate 3 was going to win Game of the Year, but I always said Zelda
I
was
know.
mine.
No,
Yeah.
you've been consistent on that, right? I'm aware that you're a Zelda fan, but you were like, hey, look, Baldur's Gate's gonna win. I mean, I understand why Baldur's Gate 3 was gonna win, right? It wasn't totally shocking. I was hoping Tears of the Kingdom would win, right?
Sure.
But you know, it doesn't surprise me what happened.
So, yeah, I think we can move on to the second part of this,
I'm ready.
because
So
this
ready.
is as I said, like talking about the future of Zelda is crazy and interesting, but like the only thing we really know for sure is it's still going to be open world because then that's something they've confirmed before. It's going to be open world and it's not going to be a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. That's basically what we learned from all of this, which was not what we expected it to be anyways. So we just have to wait. We're probably not going to see the game for 2-3 years. So we'll see what happens whenever they decide to reveal it.
I think we could see the remake sooner.
Yes. And that's what the next quote's interesting about. So Aonuma was asked directly. He's like, hey, I'm, the interviewer's like, hey, I got to be a little selfish for this last question. Ocarina of Time remake. Are we getting this thing, basically? And Aonuma laughs and says, no comment. Now, people act like it's getting blown out of proportion. He was asked if we were getting Majora's Mask 3D back today, and he laughed and said no comment then, and then we got Majora's Mask 3D.
Yeah, Nintendo's notorious. If it's a hard no, they'll say that.
Yeah, you literally make up some opportunity to be like,
for them to
hey,
say
that's
no
a good idea. Maybe we'll consider it.
Nintendo loves to temper expectations when expectations should be tempered.
They're not a fan of hyping irresponsibly, even when it's warranted.
And Aonuma probably already got in trouble when he said Skyward Sword HD, and then Nintendo literally went into denial mode.
I mean, the thing is, he hasn't said that it's happening, so he hasn't.
But he was given the opportunity to just flat out no.
So, but what's really interesting about this, right, is that because remember there is that other interview from Nintendo Dream Magazine, right, where and some people have actually tried to counter this thing where he was saying, hey, oh, it's interesting. I don't think people know about Raru anymore because they said, oh, well, Raru used to be a town. But if you look at the interview, he's talking about a character.
Yeah, he brings up the character, Raru.
And the only other time it was a character is Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
So they were talking about Raru from Ocarina of Time. And so he's saying it's interesting. I don't really think fans know about that anymore. And so it does.
And that's what a remake.
At this point,
cool if in the Ocarina remake, it was Raru from Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh,
now we're just full retconning. Let's go.
I don't want to just shut you down, but I personally would be.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I wouldn't.
All right. Sorry. My bad.
All right, so go.
I mean, hey, man, it can be your wish. What
we're all allowed to.
I just thought it was cool for a second. Now you're making me doubt myself, so it's fine.
Now I doubt myself for doubting you.
All right, so what were you gonna say, Andres? You were about to say something. Then
we were actually in the middle of flirting, so if you could.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I just think it's interesting how we're kind of seeing these different things pop up. And this is me maybe tooting my own horn here, but maybe you can vouch for this. I mean, that you can just check the timestamps. The timestamps are there, right? The Ocarina of Time thing's been around for a couple of years, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm the first. I'm not.
Sure.
That's not the case. But I made an Ocarina of Time remake video like a couple months ago, right? Mainly from the perspective of just looking at historical trends and that there's probably going to be a remake in Ocarina. And it wasn't necessarily Ocarina of Time, but that was just kind of like, I think this makes kind of sense. And then shortly afterwards, the Nintendo Dream Magazine comes out with the Raru thing. And then the 25th anniversary stuff comes up and people start to talk more and more about this and more videos start coming out. And then we get this. And so it just kind of feels like they're aware of the 25th anniversary conversation. I mean, heck, what Nintendo of Hispania and Nintendo of Europe are actually posted on social media about Ocarina of Time's 25th anniversary. Like, there's an awareness of what's going on with this. And so with Aonuma having the opportunity, after arguably already teasing the idea and all this conversation, to not deny it, I just feel like we're starting to get to a point where this is feeling more like a really solid prediction.
And like they've been already working on it and they already know.
Yeah. And just something I'll bring up
it's like an
for
early
those who haven't seen the speculation on this before. The main, like, I would say, point about there being something major like this coming is just because we're going to wait years before the next major Zelda. And when you look at the history, when Nintendo closes out a generation with a major Zelda game, they follow up the beginning of the new generation, like within that first year to 2 years, with some sort of repurposed other Zelda game to bring in the Zelda fans, sell consoles, showcase the system, and hold this off until the next major Zelda game is ready a few years down the road. So a remake makes a lot of sense. And now we have all this Ocarina of Time stuff. and so it's kind of like things coming together.
Are
It's
you
not
are
even
you
rumor.
sure that it's a pretty solid prediction? Or are you just happy to see me?
Huh.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Pretty solid.
He is flustered.
It's pretty
You
solid.
are
Is that what you're gonna
flustered,
say?
man. Oh
know, 'cause
man, if you wink at him right now, he might start to blush.
I just feel like there's nothing
I'm
I
a
can
little
say.
flushed. I'm a little
There's
Giggity,
flushed.
nothing I can
giggity,
say
goo.
or do that will be construed in the way I want it to
It
be
won't work.
construed.
Yeah. It's okay. I can read between the lines.
I know you
All
said
right,
you
buddy.
wanted to go for it. I didn't-
There are no lines to read between.
Are you sure?
Still doesn't
No.
care what push-
Yes,
All right, sorry.
we're good.
Whoa.
Here, I'll give you. That's too
Whoa.
cringe. I'm not gonna do
Whoa.
I was eating a
Whoa.
sandwich. I was eating a sandwich so aggressively.
that.
Nom, nom.
Whoa. What is that?
Guys, I technically
Pause.
didn't say anything.
Pause.
It hits that.
All right.
It is hit that
Eric,
time of
would
day.
you like to see an Ocarina of Time remake?
I mean,
I don't think you
Yeah.
ever played the original, did you?
possibly while you pushed the pause to go to the bathroom.
You were playing my pause game.
Yeah.
You bastard.
You probably handed me the
Whoa.
controller and said, "Play this for me," as you went to the bathroom.
No, probably
Back
not.
in the
Not that game. Nope. My game I mostly played alone. It was Wind Waker. That Wind Waker was the one
Yeah.
because he had a sale for so long. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, keep me going.
just go.
Keep
I'm
me
gonna
going.
to
I
the
gotta go
bathroom.
take a shit.
Yeah, right. 20 minutes later, you come back and still be
Still be
sailing.
sailing.
So.
Sorry, I ran
Yeah.
into this thing in the middle of the ocean and it killed me. Now I'm trying to bomb it. Oh yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah. I forgot to
Yeah,
tell you about that.
happens,
Forgot to tell you about that thing. Anyways,
I mean, yeah, it'd be great.
I think so. Here's the big thing with the remake. Like, if it happens, and I think there's a good chance that it will because I think Nintendo thinks it'll sell a lot.
And they're
Are they
probably
going?
right.
Are they going to reimagine parts of it, or are they going to stay super faithful?
Oh, I think they'll reimagine parts.
Such as apparently Raru.
Well, I
Uh,
honestly think there will be a more open world to it. I think they'll implement that.
Do they do that? What if-
That's a big ask, but I have
It
so
is a
much
big
faith in
ask.
that team that like I think they'll do something awesome like
So
that.
when you say that team, you mean the main Zelda team?
Yes,
I don't know if the main Zelda team's making it.
Yeah,
they've gotta have allocated some, right?
They might be helping.
well, they might oversee. I guess.
I think
but
Grezzo might be the
Yeah,
team. doing it.
even the B team, I have
Yeah, Grezzo at this point. is
more
the team
faith
right now.
in than most like developers in general.
Well, Monolith Soft has actually been hiring for Zelda.
Yeah, what if
for a long
Monolith Soft's been
time.
the one
Sure.
doing
We
it?
assume it's for Tears of the Kingdom,
And
but
they
that's not
are really good
necessarily
at
the case.
exploring open worlds too.
And what if it was this? What if they've been working on the Ocarina of Time remake, knowing like because they have basically a dedicated Zelda team there that helps out.
Yeah.
What if like the core Zelda team's working on the next Zelda game, and then this team was finishing off this, and then joining the core team after this one's done to finish off the next Zelda game too? That could be a
Yeah.
thing as well.
It could.
Or Monolith Soft sort of leading the charge on this.
They may have
And
been
if
working
that's
on
the
this
case,
remake for a
that team
few
has all
years
the
already.
experience with the new engine, and they have all the experience with open world Zelda. Like they could easily somehow implement some of those elements into. And I'm not saying we're going to be able to climb everything. I think some of those mechanics are good. That's not going to be coming in. But Ocarina of Time, if you guys think about it, is not that far away from being an open world game. It's got
Mhm.
arbitrary restrictions in place that you could sort of glitch through to do dungeons out of order.
So Hogwarts Legacy on Switch is not an open world game, but on other platforms it is.
Here we go into that debate because there's some loading.
Yeah, well,
What I hate about that when people say it's not open world because of load screens. Guys,
open world's
Open
more
world
about,
games
it's about
used to always
gameplay
have load
structure.
screens. That
Yeah.
doesn't make it not open world. It just means it's not a seamless open world. And I'm going to tell you right now, there actually isn't that many seamless open worlds. There's a lot of loading happening right in front of you. Some of it even hitching the game. If you open a door to go into a building and the screen goes black for half a second, that's a load. That's not seamless.
Yeah, but it's a lot more seamless now on the consoles that have SSDs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure. And then
Yeah.
no, you're
And
not
I'm
wrong.
not necessarily
thing-
disagreeing with you. I'm
Yeah,
just
but open world
pointing
games,
out.
like go back to play original Skyrim. Dude, there being load screens does not make something not open. That's never been the whole point of open world is that it's open and you can go anywhere. That's
it's
what
more
makes it
it's
open
more
world.
about gameplay structure, the freedom of what you
Yeah.
can do and how you do it.
Like,
But
the
they
original
have
Legend of Zelda is considered one of the very first open world games. Every time you enter a dungeon, it loads.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So
constantly.
how do
loading,
you
right?
how do you
That's the
feel about
idea.
big loads? You
Well,
don't
yeah,
like them?
There's always constant.
All right, I'm gonna ignore that, and yeah. So what I want to talk about,
Is
yeah,
Z-Link?
you can't do the.
That was
things.
another thing. Remember, Z-Link? It's up to our imaginations. Whatever
Wait,
happened in
I
your
don't. What are you
imagination,
talking
what
about?
happened?
Oh, Zelda and Link. That's the thing. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, no, they
So
said it's
obvious.
up to whatever your
I'm
imagination.
not.
is
I'm
happening.
actually not joking here.
Bro.
Like I'm not trolling or anything. I genuinely think that Link is asexual.
I genuinely think Link has been borking Zelda for decades. Moving on.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think I've never
Here's the
seen
thing.
Link show interest in anyone.
Yeah, the curtain falling with Link and Zelda going into kiss. That's nothing.
I would no. I mean, Link and Skyward Sword definitely has a thing. Like, yeah,
Link
Okay,
and Zelda live
alright.
together.
yeah. I would say Link and Tears of the
But
Kingdom.
I will say this:
That's
Nintendo goes out of their way to leave possibilities open,
I mean, it's up for you,
and that's why they literally said
Androgynous,
it's
thank
up
you,
to
Blue
you.
Mini. That's what I
They
meant.
want Link to connect with as many players as possible, so they've purposely never really
Is that what you
gone
meant?
all the way in the game to show it outside of that one curtain moment at the end of Zelda 2. So I think that they purposely leave it a bit more ambiguous. And literally they say,
Yeah.
hey, they just did this in an interview. They just said, if you think Link and Zelda are together, they're together. But if you don't, they don't.
That is the whole
Literally
thing,
your
right?
imagination.
That is Link on a character as a character. He's supposed to be a blank slate for the player.
Mhm.
So
He's
if
been
the
a bit less
player
of a blank
if the
slate.
player wants Link to like Zelda, cool. If the player wants Link to
Did you say plow?
like Beetle, that's cool
Yeah.
too.
He wants
No,
to go
but,
sow
like
some
for
seeds,
real, not even like clowning. Like I think Nintendo, and I think they're
grow
cool
that-
for that.
grow
Like,
that corn on the
hey,
cob.
he's whatever you want him to be. But that doesn't mean he likes
Make
Zelda
sure you're
canon.
shucking
It
the
means-
corn after it grows.
Well, I mean, I'll say this:
Handle
canonically,
your crop with
Princess
care.
Zelda is in love with Link. That's like not.
Yes,
true.
I never said she
Yeah.
wasn't. I
Make
said
sure
Link.
you plant that corn
and-
next to a peach
Right.
tree.
Sure, right. That
Like-
just because Zelda loves Link doesn't mean Link loves Zelda.
I think
That's
everybody
fair.
loves Link.
But
Well, I
would
mean,
say-
I
would
think,
say
Si-
Link
dude,
does
I don't
Zelda.
know. In Tears of the
Pretty-
Kingdom, I was
pretty
getting some
safe.
serious vibes from Sidon's wife.
Yeah.
She might want
Hera?
a little piece of Link. Hera definitely wants a piece of Link.
I want to go back to. I
Sure.
brought up the
Mifa?
Hogwarts Legacy thing.
Show. Mifa definitely wanted Link. That was a well-known thing.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah,
that's also
yeah.
canon.
No, girls
Everybody
want
does.
Link.
Everybody
Link
wants
is-
it. You know what?
Dude,
There was
Link
a
is
moment in Breath of
sexy,
the Wild.
yeah.
I thought
Everyone wants
hey,
Link.
I thought
Link
Sidon
Elma-
was gonna slip in.
Elma from the bar in Twilight Princess.
Yep. Everybody wants Link.
Yeah,
I think Link was just
Um,
shocked by the giant.
Andres
bazonga.
has a poster of that Zelda like above his bed. So like,
I think
he can
when
tag along.
when Link walked into the bar with Telma, he was just so shocked that titties could be that big.
The great
Alright,
He had
theory.
never seen
anyways,
them that big in
I
his life.
wanted to. There was something we kind of went by that I wanted to bring up. I didn't bring up Hogwarts Legacy to trash it. I was actually going back to the Ocarina of Time thing. So the difference between Hogwarts Legacy on Switch versus other platforms, where there is a lot of apparent loading, they can, if they were to remake Ocarina of Time, that's something they can do. That wouldn't necessarily require like a lot of extra work, like changing around the structure of the game. You can just
Yeah,
and if you're going through a tunnel, that's just not a tunnel. It's just you just go and there it is. Like it's all just there.
yeah. There's no arbitrary like thing preventing you from going to one dungeon and like forcing you to go to another one first, because people have already like glitched the game out and done the dungeons out of order, and the game still works. So there's no reason to really have that restriction if they're going to bring it back. Just being able to do the dungeons out of order would already make it feel so much more.
Do you think
open.
it would be cool if they added an extra dungeon or two?
Sure. Well,
That'd
who
be
would
awesome,
want more
right?
content?
Maybe
Yeah.
make the ice cavern bigger. So something
making
I
some
actually
of
suggested.
expanding the dungeons would be cool too.
I had actually made a video a couple weeks ago about changes we could see in the remake that might not be like too crazy, but maybe
Mhm.
feasible. But I think an extra dungeon
Maybe.
is like maybe in the cards, right? So like
Yeah.
the north western part of the map of Hyrule in Ocarina of Time. It's kind of just there's like nothing there.
Oh yeah,
Like
It's
to
like
the
that's
right
desert.
of the castle.
No, so like the desert's to the west, right?
Yeah,
Castle's
that's
north.
towards the Gerudo Desert area a little bit.
Right. Yeah, but there's
Okay.
like this entire
Yeah,
plot
yeah,
of
yeah.
land. There's just
There's
nothing
like nothing
there.
going on. Is there a fishing? I thought there was something. No, maybe
No,
it's in the 3D version.
fishing is south. Fishing's in Lake Hylia.
Right. I swore in the 3DS version they added something up there, right?
Maybe
I'm
you're
wrong.
confusing like the mirrored version or something.
Oh
Potentially.
yeah, that might have messed me up too because they
Yeah,
mirrored it.
because so Master
Yeah.
Quest mirrored things.
Yeah, that could be it.
But the
Oh,
point
yeah.
is,
There is an empty plot. I know there's an empty plot. There's like nothing.
right. So
no
there's
purpose.
different corners, right? One
Yeah.
corner is like Kokiri, the south is like there's things on different sides, and there's one area that's just like nothing.
Mhm.
Like they could definitely put something there. Like for sure. Or like what if like I mean if you look at Twilight Princess, like Twilight Princess has a desert on one corner and it has like the ice area on another. Like what if they were to put like I don't know, like an ice mountain over there or whatever, or some kind of extra dungeon would be cool. Maybe that extra dungeon has its own storyline that you have to do certain side quests to build up to, so they can add more
Yeah,
side
that's cool.
quests.
Whole
like
new
that.
side quest.
then-
Yeah.
And then you have a unique boss fight, and that just gives you maybe a more
Finally, let me beat the Running Man.
another power up or
Dude.
something. I don't know.
Give us something good for getting the Skulltulas.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Right?
I was actually looking at footage of one of the early prototypes for Ocarina of Time the other day, and apparently there was an option to actually like the different medallions that you collect from being the temples. That's actually like magical ammunition for your arrows. So you would have more than just the 3 elements.
Mm-hmm.
So what's cool about that is because when you get the medallions, the idea is that your power gets expanded upon, but there's no actual gameplay change when you get a medallion. Imagine if they change the game to where every time you get a medallion, that actually has a magical aura that you can imbue into your arrow or outside of it, like Dense Fire.
Yeah, no, I like that. Also, make the controls for the slingshot the same as the bow in Breath of the Wild. Right? Because
Yeah,
we've never
no,
had
I-
Ocarina of Time where you have the both sticks and 2 shoulder buttons.
Yeah, no, I
Mm.
mean, I think that the aiming should definitely be updated. That makes sense. It was actually
Yeah.
cool using the 3DS version, using the gyro to aim around. That
Yeah,
felt pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah. Nate's distracted.
No, sorry. You guys were having a really in-depth
Eric-
conversation.
Eric was
I
playing
actually,
footsies
no,
with
I
me.
agree. I was agreeing with everything.
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything to
Yeah.
add in.
Yeah.
So I was just
Yeah.
glancing at some of the historic things with Giannis again.
I'm so used to you being like, all right, let's
His
move along,
career-
boys. But I
Well,
was just waiting
today's
for
like
it.
the career high. He's doing things that haven't been done in like 40 years. I don't know. It's anyways.
No,
No.
I know Jake said, actually give you something for the golden Scatulas.
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain instantly went to what? A golden Scatula turd?
Oh,
God damn it.
But
I mean,
actually,
that
like,
is a
what-
very
Jake, what would you want as a reward for
Dude,
that?
honestly
besides-
costumes, because like I love the the different outfits
that's a
in
good idea.
yeah. So add more outfits to Ocarina of Time and make some of them exclusive, like some really cool ones exclusive to those.
You know, it'd be neat if they added some sort of quest or something that kind of linked Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask a little bit. Like, what if there's an additional side quest with the mask salesman that kind of hinted at something related to Majora's Mask?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Like, what if there's like imagine something as cool as like there's another quest you can unlock that's like maybe chaperoning him into the woods, and that's where you find the mask or something like that. Like that would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
I,
And there's
yeah,
a
I
lot
say
that I
add the
like-
Easter eggs, connect the like I love that.
Yeah.
I just want this thing to be real. Like I know part of me like wanting to buy into the quote is like
Dude.
so much hopium, but
Dude, it's
there's
as
precedent.
real.
Like there's a
It's
lot
as
of
real
precedent.
as Twilight Princess, Wind Waker,
I
as,
think
as per Jeff Grubb. All right, that's how
no,
real it is.
look, I actually think Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were actually ported. And at some point they made a decision that the ports didn't look different enough from the Wii U to that they thought people might complain that bought it on Wii U. And because Skyward Sword isn't necessarily so great, Link's Awakening is so good, it sold 6 million, but they like know these games, the 3D ones might have a bigger appeal. That they want to wait till they can drop it where it actually looks noticeably different. And so wait till Switch 2 where they can go 60 FPS 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
think
kind
there's
of
also
worries me then,
something
because
to-
if that's true, Nate, we might not see the Ocarina remake for a long time because it makes sense for those to be the first ones. Then they probably
No,
have.
I
The,
think the Ocarina remake will be
I don't
early.
agree.
I think 2025 we're going to see the Ocarina remake,
Yeah,
and then we'll see The other ones in 2026 and 2027.
So
with
I mean,
Wind
yeah,
Waker
if you want to look at that, we already got the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. They've already been remastered, right? Like we've already gone through
Yeah.
the traditional 3D Zeldas.
You know what? You know what we haven't talked about? I know. Sorry to cut you off. And we won't have to talk about this right now. If this Ocarina of Time thing is real, that means they have to do it to Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
What?
it
They
opens
have to
that
do it to
door.
Majora's Mask then.
It opens the door.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
what if they did this? What if they did this crazy thing and they combined them together somehow?
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I don't think they'll do that.
That would
One
be crazy.
mega game that
They
would be
could,
sick.
but they could get the money of 2 games as opposed to
Yeah.
1. Even
But
if
you
they,
get to the
you know
end of
what I mean?
Ocarina of Time
two
and it
$60 games is still more than one
the Child of the
$70.
Woods. Oh,
Listen, man, they're gonna remake Ocarina of Time. It may be like a 40-hour experience. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be $60 to $70, and then 5 to 6 years later, after we're crying about the next Zelda game taking too long, they'll give us Majora's Masks or something like.
5 to
Probably.
6 years later.
Probably.
We're going to the next Zelda, and then the new Zelda game's gonna drop, and we're gonna be like, "Oh my god, this might be the greatest game ever made." Another 97 on Metacritic.
Yeah, and then it's not gonna get Game of the Year. 'cause
Yeah, it'll
Baldur's
lose.
Gate 4 is
Oh,
gonna
you know what?
come
Here's the
out.
thing. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 4 is gonna come out. We're gonna be.
It's not gonna be Baldur's Gate 4. Baldur's Gate 4 is gonna be like good.
I
But
will
it's
say
not gonna
this.
be that good,
I
and
will-
there's gonna be a completely
No,
other
no, I'll
game
say
that's
this.
gonna be so random that's gonna be.
If
there.
Baldur's Gate 4 comes out sooner than 3 did, and say it does come out around Zelda again, I don't think it's going to be like this walk. Baldur's Gate 3 was it's kind of Breath of the Wild. It was such a shocking game at the time for what it was doing. I don't think that holds up the next time. Still going to hold up
No.
to be an excellent game. It's just not going to be as shocking.
Well,
And
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
the new Zelda
exactly.
game being completely different from what Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom was might be more shocking at the time. Might be. We don't know. We don't even
Sure.
know what the
No,
damn
I
game
mean,
is.
all joking aside, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think the Baldur's Gate series is going to get another Game of the Year for a very, very long time, if ever.
It'll be up for it. It kind of just depends. Because I think
Yeah,
the next one's going to still be really, 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 really good.
probably
The
it's
whole
gonna take them
series
a
has
very
always
long
been really
time to
good.
make. Like, we're talking.
Depends on when it comes out. Like if it comes out in a year where like It Takes Two is winning, well then yeah, I could win that year.
Sure, timing's a bit. It makes a big
Timing and
difference.
how many like this year was packed.
Yeah,
Like just talking gaming in general, what a packed year.
but how a year where It Takes Two wins is just mind blowing to me.
It Takes Two is really good too. Like
I mean,
the funny
it's
thing
good,
is, it
but-
won, and no one even questions like should it have won. No, if you go play the game, it's excellent.
No,
What
it
game is
actually, I really was really
It's
good. I played it.
excellent. Like and you can't.
I
I will
know it's
never
a
say
good
that game didn't deserve it. It was such an excellent game.
Yeah, but I mean, of
It
all the
takes
games.
2 inches.
All right, well, let me
It's
ask you
weird
this,
though. Like
right?
a co-op game
Of
wins.
all
like,
the
that never
games that have
happens.
won
But-
Game of the Year at the Game Awards, would you rank It Takes Two in the top half? No, you probably would rank it like in the bottom 2 or 3.
What? Tell me you
All
haven't
the
played
ga-
It Takes
all
Two.
the
Tell
all
me
the
you haven't
game of
played
the,
It Takes Two without playing It. Yeah.
no.
Have you played
Of-
It Takes Two?
No, I was going.
Well,
to.
then
He
what-
needs Nate, you know that
Listen,
you need a friend to be able to
I
play that
played
game.
other co-op games.
You
like
do
that.
need
I
a friend
know
to play
about it.
that game.
Exactly.
So obviously,
but-
you didn't have to.
No,
ask him.
I don't
So,
care
yeah,
how
I'm
good
sorry, I
it
didn't
is.
mean to put on this on the spot. My bad.
Listen, I mean, I'm familiar with the game, but look at all the games that have won Game of the Year. You're gonna tell me that
That I enjoy It Takes Two more than half of the games that won? Yes.
I'm just thinking about like what most people would think is a better game, and you know that.
Well, I was talking about what I think's a better game because that's the only opinion that matters to me. Look, Tears of the Kingdom Lost is still my game of the year. That's cool.
Same.
I have to wear a Boston Celtics jersey in shame. It is what it is.
Would you say It Takes Two is better than Elden Ring?
Yes, to me.
I
Right.
can't. So I beat It Takes Two.
Would
I
you say
haven't
it's
even
better-
started
Would you
Elden
say it's
Ring.
better
Wait, no,
than
actually,
The Last
no.
of Us?
I started Elden Ring. I didn't play
No,
enough
I
of
would
it.
not.
I haven't played
Wait.
enough of Elden Ring to honestly give you an opinion. Right now, I'd say It Takes Two, but I beat It Takes Two. I haven't beat
Okay,
Elden Ring.
all right. So would you say it's better than The Last of Us Part 2?
No.
Okay. Would you say it's better than Sekiro Shadow Dies Twice?
Like yes, but again, I'm Soulsborne games aren't really for me. But yeah, so yes, I would.
I
God
would
of
say
War?
it's better than that one.
The original God of War, I'd say it's pretty on par. I liked Ragnarok 1,000
Well,
times
the
more.
original new God of War.
Yeah, I don't know honestly. So that one kind of has a special place in my heart too because it did lay down. It was the Breath of the Wild to
For God of
Ragnarok.
War. For God of War, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that one's tough. I'll call that one a wash.
Breath of the Wild,
No.
Overwatch,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Come on.
The Witcher 3.
I could never finish it.
I'd put it above Witcher 3, and I beat Witcher 3, and I beat the Blood and Wine DLC.
Drying Age, Inquisition.
Yes, and I'm a big
Yeah.
Dragon Age
I
fan.
would.
I just went
choose-
over all the games that have won game.
By
of
the
the
way,
year.
by saying that,
Yeah.
like, I would
It
put
was
it
pretty-
above
it was,
some of
it
those.
was pretty even.
That's not me saying these other games I don't really enjoy. That's just how good this game is. It is
Yeah.
that good.
And part of what we were talking about at the very beginning of the show, I was like, I like the Game Awards more because I watched it.
Shout
with
out
you
Joseph
and
Ferris.
chat.
F the Oscars, man.
But like,
Ironically,
it's
he said
too,
fuck
I
the
probably
Oscars, and
enjoyed
then
it
the
more
awards
because
tried to be
of
the
the person I
Oscars.
played it with, because I played it with a friend, right? So I probably enjoyed the game more.
No, I understand that. Like Luigi's
Because
Mansion
I
3,
played it
I
with a
played with a
friend.
friend. It was really
Yeah.
good, right? Like there's
And
a few
Luigi's
different
Mansion
co-op
3 is
games.
so
Like
good.
yeah,
Oh,
So,
man.
and for a game, for a full, like, what is basically a single player narrative adventure to not be single player is very hard to
By the
do.
way.
Like, and it's as an experience, it's so rare that I don't know. It's definitely deserved it, and I don't know.
I'm
That's-
throwing
that's
this out there. Luigi's Mansion 4 is dropping 2025.
Ooh, there you go.
Quattro.
I like it.
Manifesting into existence, but I think it's realistic as well.
Next Level's last game was Strikers. It came out in 22.
Yeah. And they might have multiple teams at this point. We have no idea after Nintendo bought them.
No, I mean, as
Yeah.
long as we follow the 3-year interval, which they've clearly had this pattern going since like 2016, then I would say that's
And
a
Luigi's
reasonable
Mansion 3 was a
expectation.
huge hit for them.
I would say it's a reasonable expectation.
Yeah,
I'll
2025.
probably
I was
I
going to say
probably
next year, but
would be
I
predicting
kind of
that.
it's going to depend on when they announce the system.
There's too many options, right?
Too
We
many
got 3D
variables.
Mario, like
You know,
3D
come
Mario,
early,
Animal
man. There's a
Crossing,
bunch of
Mario
games
Kart,
in
Smash, like
instead of
Ocarina of Time remake,
Luigi's
Metroid Prime
Mansion, what
4,
about like
Nintendo Land 2.
Luigi's like castle or something? Like
What?
just
No,
Luigi's,
no, no,
like,
no, no,
dungeon.
no, no, no.
Oh, you mean where like he's exploring those instead of a mansion?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so Luigi's Mansion was a mansion, the first one. Luigi's Mansion 2 was several mansions. Luigi's
Yeah.
Mansion 3 was a hotel.
Right. Yeah. So
I would
guess
I would love a
castle.
castle.
Yeah,
Actually,
they'll
castle would be
call
a
it
good
LM4,
idea.
but it could be something
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Now the thing is, Luigi's Mansion 3 inside the
There's a
hotel,
castle area.
there's a castle area, there's a
A castle
desert
themed
pyramid
area.
area. Like they do
Mhm.
explore some of these.
Yeah, no,
other
you're right.
creepy areas. But
But
a
I just
whole
feel
entire
like it's
castle
kind
that
of
has
been a
more of a
little
Luigi's Mansion
reused.
1 vibe, I'd be for that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I'd be for that for sure.
Absolutely.
Luigi's sex dungeon.
I'm just saying, like, and also it's become kind of a big seller for them now. So I I don't know if they want it to come out that early in their life,
Eric
but
liked that one.
That was a good one.
we'll see.
Eric
Yeah, I
enjoyed
mean,
it.
you want to pace out the big releases, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing: Nintendo puts out more games every year than any other company. So I have no idea how they want to pace it and space it, because now they put all their games on one system, so their production schedule is just insane. So
I mean, so I'm gonna list some games that I think can reasonably come out within the next
Yeah.
the next 2.5
2
years,
2.5
right?
years. Okay.
right? Ocarina of Time remake, 3D Mario, Metroid Prime 4,
Yep.
Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, some type of Smash update, Luigi's Mansion 4.
I
Pokemon.
think they might wait on Animal Crossing.
Well, I mean,
I think Animal
Pokemon's
Crossing is
given.
going to be like 4 years
Yeah.
from now. I think they'll wait.
sure?
I think
Are we
they'll,
sure
they'll
about
make that
that?
a mid-gen. I think they'll make that a mid-gen drop.
I mean, maybe.
I just get this feeling because like that's another really like that's on the.
Did you say Donkey Kong?
No,
You
I
didn't
haven't
have-
yet.
No, you did not.
haven't.
There's going to be other games, Kirby, Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
and other stuff.
I
but
was just trying to think about games that are like
the mega.
the megas, right?
Yeah. Dude, you're right.
Metroid
Where the
Prime
hell
4
is
might
Kirby?
not
Where the
have
hell
that
has
sales
Kirby
potential,
been?
but
We need a
like
new Kirby
critically
game.
speaking, I mean,
Yeah,
also a
That's the
Xenoblade game,
Forgotten
like
Land, dude. We need another one.
Monolith Soft
No,
has a
Forgotten Land.
project. You know, if we're talking about quality,
Mhm.
Monolith Soft puts up Game of the Year quality every time.
Yeah,
right?
Xenoblade, something.
Oh yeah, Pikmin 5, probably.
I mean, Pikmin 5 probably is. I don't know about 2.5 years, but maybe 3 to 4. You know,
Pikmin 4, big success for him compared to the prior.
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And they were already out the gate going right into Pikmin 5 after it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was crazy. They confirmed, like, hey, we're doing Pikmin 5. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Just confirming right now. Like, you're letting us know this franchise ain't going anywhere. We're getting another one. Sweet. That was awesome. I usually don't get that kind of confirmation, but I think maybe they wanted to make sure people weren't worried.
Well, they have something going here. So they I mean maybe there's something to the idea of following up sooner than later. So maybe like
Kirby and the Forgotten
3
Land 2.
years.
Need one.
Yeah. No,
Need
I
one.
think that's
Gotta
that
happen.
it's crazy because that to me that's a big deal.
It
You know,
is. It's not your typical Kirby game. It's
maybe that's why there
bigger
wasn't
game.
a Kirby game this. I mean, there was a Kirby game this year, but maybe that's
Dreamland.
why.
As I say, don't forget about that
Yeah.
Dreamland Deluxe, baby.
Yeah, but
That's
what if
what
there's
I'm
not a
saying.
Kirby game next year? They haven't
Could be.
announced anything yet. Right?
Dude,
That's kinda weird
honestly,
because
hot
usually
take.
Kirby's early.
Look,
Here's-
we're talking
here's-
next
here's
year,
a
we
hot
still have to
take.
support the remasters and Peach right now.
Kirby sucks. Kirby literally sucks.
That he's right.
He sucked hard.
Yeah, he inhales.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the best inhaler of them
Yeah.
all.
But I kind of like the idea of
Kirby
them
inhaler.
skipping a year of
Yeah.
Kirby because they're actually just getting Forgotten Land 2 ready because that would be that's where it's at.
Kirby also swallows.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
I'm
gonna
too tired.
do our last little segment. This is where you guys can do your super chats, member chats, etc. Get in your questions. So we did this one. So let's throw this one up here. From basketball. Thank you so much. Said, what did you guys think of the final Wave 6 DLC carts and characters released last month for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Arguably one of Nintendo's greatest DLC packages. Over
Hot
like
damn.
pretty
Oh,
good.
I was pretty hyped for the characters actually.
Yeah.
Full
That was
admission,
cool.
I haven't played them yet.
Funky
Well, Mission X
Kong,
won the game.
Diddy Kong.
Eric's not gonna have much to say because he doesn't even own the game. He's one of like the 5 people. Actually, okay, it's half the owners of
Is
Switch.
Eric on your family plan?
No.
No. You're on somebody
Yeah.
else's family plan.
So you're
He's not
on a
paying
family
for his
plan.
access.
Well, you have the DLC for free. You just need to get the actual game.
Yeah.
You
Only
might be able to
have
get
the
it for pretty cheap on eBay.
No, use copy for like $20, maybe. Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
come
you
on. The
say
thing is
get it
sold
for
like 60
free
million. You might be able to find it somewhere
That
for
is
like
pretty cheap.
$1. People might just give it away at this point. There's so many copies out there. I bet you I could literally
it's still
say
pretty
something in
high.
a live stream and someone in the stream would be like, dude, I got like 5 copies of Mario Kart. You want one of them?
You can probably get it for like. Well, I'm seeing a cartridge only. If
Yeah.
you don't care to
Yeah,
have the
this
case,
This is a first party Switch game, to be clear.
Nope.
$30.
30s, 40s. Oh, I see one for 21.
Did you
Yeah,
own
let's-
Mario Kart on
Did.
Wii U?
Look, no case.
Yeah.
No case.
No box, no case.
Yeah, eliminate all the value.
Yeah, right.
Would you prefer to play Just Dance 2022? I heard it still works with the Mario Kart DLC.
Jeez.
That's
So
a
I
joke.
don't have much. I love what they did with the DLC going in. I haven't played it yet. It's not because I don't plan to. It's because I was going to do it over Christmas vacation with my kids. So I'm just kind of holding on my first experience to play with
That's
them.
fair.
Um,
Oh, apparently I found this Mario Kart Deluxe that's worth $35,000
jeez.
Right.
Jake,
or best offer.
you got any thoughts on the DLC? Play it? No.
I actually didn't play it, no, but I was when I saw the characters revealed, I thought that was pretty sick.
The characters were nice.
Yeah, they
Am
got
I
me.
the
was
only
like,
one that
okay,
played
that's
it?
I think
I'm the
so.
only one that
I
Well,
think you're
dude,
the
here's
only
the
one who's
thing.
played
I
it.
really hate all of the
After Christmas, I'll
DLC
play it.
because the tracks are not as high quality as the base game tracks.
You're not
So much
wrong.
every time.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I really feel like as the DLC has gone on, the quality of the tracks have gotten better. There are some brand new tracks. They've added extra things. Like the Booster Cruise Pass really did a great job of kind of subverting our expectations. Like at first it was just promised that we were giving us remade tracks, but then we got new tracks. Then we got new modes, like there's item customization now. They reworked some online stuff. There's a music player now. And like they added characters, which we didn't see coming either. And the just having 48 new tracks, most of them are honestly pretty fun. And a lot of them still look pretty good. Not all of them are measured up to the quality of the base game. That is definitely true. But considering that they double the amount of content in the game, or at least the racing part of it,
Oh yeah.
for the price, like it's one of the best deals that Nintendo's ever offered in terms of deals. I mean, it's
Yeah,
actually
I should go back.
objectively
You make me
speaking,
want to go back give it another shot. Yeah.
It's fun, dude. I mean, if you're do you have the expansion pack?
Mhm.
Then it's free.
I know. But like I
it-
said, like when I got really hyped like after the first couple waves were released, and then
Then you felt
It
left
bothered me that the quality wasn't as good, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I
it's
was being
the
nitpicky. maybe it was
quality.
my
The
frame of mind at
quality.
the time. I don't know.
God, it's
Not
not.
better.
It doesn't measure up to the base game. That is fact.
Yeah.
But
But it might
I
not
would
be
say
as big
that the
as big a deal to me
quality
now. It
has
might just be fun to get the
improved.
new content. So
It's fun. It's not bad. It's still good, fun Mario Kart. Like honestly, I don't even think about the visual disparity. That was definitely a feeling early on, but they even went back and fixed some things. Like there was complaints about
okay.
like Coconut
Yeah,
Mall,
and
for
that's fair.
example.
That's fair because
They-
I felt that way early on. So yeah.
yeah, they fixed a few things. You know, yeah, it's pretty good.
All right.
All right, you're making me hype for it.
Megan Mike. Chris Lanzer says, one thing each of you want to see on the new Switch.
Direct messaging, voice chat.
Boom. Boom.
Holo-
Mic drop.
All right. Well, I was gonna say hologram.
I think he meant games, but I
projections.
still want to see that.
Yeah, he didn't specify. That is what it is.
Hologram projections.
What?
Like legitimately.
Like imagine like you play Yu-Gi-Oh and you just see like the giant monsters, or you can have
Or-
Pokemon
or
battles in real
Pokemon.
life.
You
Yeah,
see giant what?
monsters.
The monster, like it can
Monster.
project it out as like a
Yeah.
hologram.
Yeah,
No, that's totally.
that's Nintendo's. But that's Nintendo's big innovation.
Dude, that'd be so sick if in the next Pokemon game, when you look in the Pokedex, it like shows you a hologram of
Yeah.
the Pokemon while you're reading
How
it.
cool would that be? Yeah, it would be
That'd
so
be
cool.
sick. Absolutely no point. Totally dumb. Don't need it. But that'd be sick.
It would be like straight
$400
up.
for the price of the system.
That is like the ideal idea of a gimmick, right? Like it's a novel, fun idea, but it's definitely like it.
But with a lot of their gimmicks,
one-time thing.
they like to make them functional as well.
Yeah.
Like actually have a point.
Well,
The
I mean, the
most-
Switch is a really good gimmick.
I feel like the biggest miss was like the Wii U with the gamepad. Whereas like, what's kind of the point of this?
And, you know, and they tried to prove that the gamepad was worth it. Like they had Splatoon, they had Star Fox Zero was a bad idea, but they tried. They definitely tried.
One thing I want to see, like, how about an eShop that doesn't suck ass?
Yeah.
What eShop do you have? Because nothing's been sucking my ass.
Well,
You haven't loaded the eShop lately.
dude,
Dude.
whoa,
Hey,
whoa, what?
Whoa!
Well, now.
Dude, that's
Nah, the
eShop
I
is
redeemed
so
my
bad.
voucher code for
Hold on,
your
hold on.
people.
Everyone, I
Organized.
just gotta say this. That is disgusting. I cannot believe no one's been sucking on your ass.
Jake's
Oh,
first in line.
He's already volunteering. That was almost. He just invited himself.
When did the keeping it clean?
I was trying to be like, hey, the eShop sucks and I want it to be good.
Why couldn't you just use like another word like it's subpar or
Sucks ass is a
unsatisfactory?
common
It sucks
phrase
ass.
used.
Well, Andres, to be fair, don't you want
Not
us to be able to rate?
pleasurable.
Do you want us to be able to rate games and see ratings? Don't you want like it to be so much easier to search for things and organize things? Like I don't want to have to like be loading page after page when I'm looking at the sale
Waiting
game.
on the load sucks.
No,
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to turn this into something weird and nasty. But I'm just hearing you make like. A
But you
solid,
were the
like,
one that did it.
argument
Dude,
about
that
it.
was
You
you.
did it. You
Yeah,
did
I
it.
made
No one else
a
was
joke.
gonna
Yeah,
say
you're right.
because
You're
you
right.
asked
You're
me
right.
for
Well,
you
the
brought
thing
it
is,
up.
the thing is, you know,
That was
wasn't
you.
joking.
You
You
made it
deserve it.
nasty.
I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge.
You made
No.
it nasty. That a sucks ass is a very common term used when you want to say something really, really sucks.
Not
Yeah.
from my neck of the woods. I'm just kidding. That's totally a thing.
You have to be like, come on.
Yeah,
I've been in your neck of the woods. They were
No,
using that term in front
yeah.
of me when they were arguing.
I agree
Oh,
though
wow.
that the eShop definitely needs some work. We're on the same page there.
Yeah, the eShop.
Yeah.
There's so
You
many
can't
better
really
digital
say like
storefronts.
it
I
could
don't
use
know.
improvements.
Like it needs a lot. It needs to be completely overhauled, in my opinion. There's so many
Same.
better. There's the digital storefronts are
Dude,
basically
give
better
us
everywhere else.
music. Give us background music, please.
Well, I don't care about that, but
I
I
want
did. Eric,
what's your one?
I
What's
want
your
to
one
be able
thing?
to suspend.
hold on.
a game and
Eric's
be able to
talking
play
too
another
much.
game.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
right.
kidding.
Yeah.
What's your one thing you want to add?
You ready for the bomb?
Yeah, what's the bomb?
Game Pass.
Oh, he went there. Hype it responsibly, baby. Let's go. Xbox Game Pass.
Or a Nintendo version of it.
Let's go. Or Nintendo version as well. Yes.
One of it.
Save me money.
I'll just take Rare Replay in 4K. Thank you.
Save me money.
Yeah, sure.
I think for me, I just think, oh, do I really want to spend $15 a month on Game Pass?
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
a heck of a deal.
Well, think about this. If it was a Nintendo Game Pass, I got to pay for Nintendo games anymore. Like literally 1 a year, 2 a year would pay for the whole damn thing, and I buy way more than 2.
Nintendo would lose money.
Yeah, Nintendo's not going to do it, but I will take
Yeah.
Xbox Game Pass all day. I might.
Well, I think Nintendo would still lose money then because if
I
we
don't
play
think so.
third-party,
I don't think it would be a specialized version for them.
like if we're just talking about Microsoft games,
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
a specialized version for them.
then it wouldn't. Also, $15 would be a ripoff. But you know, it would have to be
Nah,
cheaper.
you get the access to the entire back
Okay.
library of Xbox. I don't know about that. I don't know how it's a ripoff. It's kind of a good
Yeah.
deal.
Eh.
As an Xbox subscriber, it's a good deal. Metroid
Have we
Fighter
ever
90.
gone this late before?
Yeah, oh, we've gone later.
Mhm.
Have we?
Twitch 2 should have VR, says Metroid Fighter
Yeah,
90.
you don't have to match my stream from yesterday. You know, it's not a pissing
If the
contest.
questions
dude,
come in
dude,
and they're paying, it must be
Switch
answered.
Switch 1 has VR, so that's not like. What do you mean by that?
Well, how about
But
VR?
like,
that's
but
not a
like
cardboard box you
dedicated,
have to hold to your head?
dedicated, better, high quality VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to not have to hold it with my hands to keep it connected to my face. That'd be great.
Dude, I think Nintendo was burned so much
By the
by
way,
VR
I'm
that
pouring
they're,
another
kinda,
shot.
they're
It
not.
just cost $50 in super chat. So I'm like, all right, we gotta have a closing shot. Woo!
Hey,
Get the balloons popping, everyone. Get it out. Get it out.
hey,
Mine is
Eric
gonna come off. There it
Martin.
is.
As I was doing mine, probably.
No, you can do them at the same time. We did it
know.
before. Anyways,
Dude, why
Too
does
heavy.
your balloon stutter, Nate, but Eric's are smooth?
oh, it's because his was going first. See how smooth it is now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, when it's trying to do both at once, one of them stutters.
And here I thought it was.
Yeah, I have the
blast
same
process.
problem. Sorry.
God dang.
Anyways,
Oh,
switch to like legitimate VR with a real
that'd be cool.
headset.
that'd be cool.
I don't even know what that could have meant, but it just didn't sound good.
Yeah, right.
I like things crossed my mind that shouldn't have crossed my
Yep.
mind. I'm just gonna
Oh,
leave it at that
Yep.
because you're already nasty enough, Jake. We don't need to add to it.
Whoa,
Again,
hey,
you
hey,
already-
hey, language.
Keeping it clean.
He stopped keeping it clean like an hour
I know
ago,
this.
maybe an hour and a half ago.
I
And
did pretty
I'm gonna
good.
be honest.
I did
I
pretty
think
good.
Andres restarts what got him to stop keeping it clean. Andres was the one
Yeah,
going
hey,
off.
Andres, you tricked me. You tricked me.
Jake was going so good for a while. And all
Let
of a
him
sudden-
straight.
Andres
Wait,
is-
is that
you know
because
what it
you
was?
secretly like it?
No. He doesn't. He probably does. But here's the thing. Andres, you know what it was? It was so clean for so long. Andres is like, this doesn't feel right.
No, that's what it was. Yeah, it was
But
almost
it
like
totally does.
quiet earlier.
And there's openings that Nate and Jake would totally be taking that they're not. I got it.
That they were filling. I mean,
I got it. Like I
Yeah.
got it. Someone's
I
got to
think-
fill the role.
Dude, I think he just wants to get his ass sucked, and rightfully so. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will
no,
fight.
that
I
was-
will die on that hill. I will fight for you.
That was a poor choice of words on my
man.
part.
All right.
No,
All
it's
right.
okay.
All
You
right.
said how you feel.
Not
All
really.
right. We're gonna wrap the show
Hold on,
there.
before you
Oh,
do,
what we got?
before you do, I do want to shout out the Switch because it did pass the Xbox 360 in sales.
What
So-
the Switch?
Yeah.
Past the Xbox 360 like years ago.
What? Then why the hell is it just news today?
What are you?
What?
Whatever
Then what
website
the
you
hell?
read that from might have baited you,
Nintendo
bro.
Life?
It might have baited you, bro.
The 360 ever even break
Maybe
100?
software sales. Is it software sales?
Let me look it again.
Because hardware sales, I mean, that we're like 3 years back that was passed.
Wait, 360 came in third
Lifetime
place.
units US
It
sold.
was 80 plus
That's
million.
Oh,
Oh,
Xbox
US,
360?
US.
Okay, I missed that part.
Specifically, the United
I missed that part.
States, it passed it. Yeah,
But still,
Yeah,
hey, cool.
that makes sense.
yeah.
Sorry, I missed the US part of it.
Yeah, that's like where a majority of Xbox sales are. Is the US. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There-
Lifetime-
you gotta clarify there.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
just said lifetime. I'm like, whoa.
So the Switch has become a better seller in North America than 360
Then the
was.
best selling Xbox ever. Yeah. Big deal. Huge
It
deal.
is, but also the market's bigger now. So
Is it?
Dude, that is a statistic that no one besides like
I
hardcore
want to challenge it. Is
gamers
the market
would
actually bigger?
appreciate. What?
yes.
Let's think about this for a moment. Is it actually bigger?
Every year is a new generation of gamers that buy games.
Sure. And every year there's people who quit playing games.
They come back.
They don't
Yeah,
always
but
come
we
back.
But
My dad
as
hasn't come back.
a society, there's more people being born than dying, so it's a net positive. We live
Also-
in
But
a
yeah, the
society.
system- the reason I bring this
We
up is
live in a society.
no, I bring
Gaming
this
is a
up-
relatively new trend in society.
I
as
hear
well,
you.
right?
And
So a
if
lot
you're
of
gonna
the old
include
people
mobile
that are
phones,
dying, it's not like we're
if you're going to
losing that
include
many.
mobile phones, I'm going to agree with you. Gaming's bigger than it's ever been. Console gaming hasn't really grown, and we have the sales number and the data to prove it. It hasn't.
No,
grown.
it has
Argue it's actually
because of
shrunk.
software.
What?
It has not through hardware sales, but through software sales.
How?
Because they sell more software now than ever.
Back in the DS, Wii, 360, PlayStation 3 era, more software sold than any other era of gaming.
Dude, the Switch has sold more software than any of those that you just named.
Combined, we're talking about the whole game industry. Now, this is a whole industry that you got to combine all that software sales together.
Dude, I'm pretty sure you combine Switch, PS4, and Xbox, and they've sold more software than those things.
No.
Those units.
The DS
However you
almost
want
sold-
to fucking
the DS almost sold a bill. The Wii almost sold a bill. And then obviously you had the PS3, I think had
All right, so you
just
ready to be
over a
wrong?
bill
Are you ready to be wrong?
in that generation.
Yes. But
All
give
right,
us the
here
facts,
you
Andre.
go. I'm gonna screen share.
I love Andre.
I didn't actually mean for this to be an actual other topic, but I just thought it was cool.
There you go.
But hey, why
And
not?
then you misquoted it.
Yeah, I know.
What's
I know.
that tab
I
that
missed
says
the US
Big
part of it.
Mommy Milkers?
I can't even
sharing
read
it.
that. Hold on, I got a full screen over here. You can actually see it.
I can't either. Hold on.
Yeah, right. I
look
literally can't.
On the stream.
All right, can I make it
Uh,
bigger?
What's a
Excuse me?
hybrid console? Is
All
that
right.
just Switch?
Will you just tell me what this means?
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
This is gaming. This is console gaming revenue.
This is just revenue, though. Games are more expensive and there's microtransactions. What are we talking about?
Actually, they're not really more expensive.
mean-
Have you seen how much money GTA 5 made compared to GTA 4?
Yeah, but they were both $60.
Yes, but GTA 4 didn't have an online multiplayer with shitloads of microtransactions.
Yeah.
The revenue is way higher today than it ever used to be. Not
But
even close.
to be fair,
I'm
Nate,
talking about the
that
number
is-
of people actually
but
playing.
to be
it.
Yeah,
fair,
well,
that is
also
one
PS3 launched
definition-
at $600.
that is one
So I don't
definition of
think that's
growth,
a little
right?
horseshit.
So to be fair, it's technically correct.
I'm not talking about revenue, guys. I'm talking about the total amount of people playing dedicated game consoles.
Yes, but to
It
be
hasn't
fair,
grown.
no. But to be fair, growth could be either one. So it doesn't matter what you're talking about. What we said was growth, and this is a form of growth.
I mean, there's a clear.
But that's not what I
trajectory here.
said. It was based off what I said, which I said that it hasn't grown in terms of the number of people playing. This doesn't disprove. This just means companies are more profitable than ever. That
Okay, how about volume then? Oh, look, this is volume.
I don't know what
What does
the
volume
is.
mean?
Yeah, what does that
define,
even mean?
define volume.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't know what that means.
Like sales, like people who bought the game consoles.
I'm seeing a pretty flat curve there.
But
I'm
it's
not
still
seeing
technically
growth.
growing.
I'm okay. 4.43 is less than 63. I don't really know what to tell you there.
Okay.
These are
Every
projections,
single-
by the way.
Yeah, I know those are projections.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we sure that's I don't know what volume means there. What website is this? Is this that Statistica website?
Yeah, Statistica.
Okay. And what do they base their stats on? Like where do they get their information from?
Source, Statista, Market Insights.
I know they're really that website's really bad about giving actual information on where they get their stuff from.
So they're their own source. Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, trust me, bro.
Yeah, right.
Because it's not like MPD gives out numbers. They don't.
Who's your source? Me. Just trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we don't have a lot of the raw numbers. The
Damn.
only numbers we have for
Dude,
sure are the ones that
Dude,
come
rack
from-
shit. When did you get here, man?
Whoa.
So I'll say this though, that I'm looking this up. The gaming console market size currently is valued at apparent according to this 78,880 million. And so I'm now curious what that would be in what year do we want to pick from the prior generation? 20 what was what 2011? Is that what we want to pick? Is that a good year?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm trying. I want to
really
Google the
understand
right
what the point
term
is.
here.
I literally said game companies make more money today than they ever did back then. But that's because they've created more revenue streams within their game.
Sure,
Media
right,
service,
but this
other-
I just said gaming, get the game console market size. Like, well, I like
well, console market size is unit sales, not revenue. Like market size is literally people playing. Like how many people are actually playing games? There are more people today playing games, by the way, than any other point in human history. But it's because this market here
why
is
aren't you producing numbers?
destroying. I've already had this and looked up all the stats before. Like there
Sure.
factually is
Yeah,
less
not
systems
to
sold
us.
today than there was in the past. This is the way it is. Like Nintendo's crushing it, Sony's crushing it, but Xbox isn't doing well. Their market's almost gone. And there's no other extra market from Nintendo now. It's all one system.
Sweet. Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Nintendo alone had 250 million console sales with Wii and DS. 250 mil on their own, not counting Sony or Xbox. Just throwing
Yeah,
that
but
out.
honestly, that DS and PSP market is now mobile phones. So to discredit them so easily is like I feel like it's not.
I'm saying the
If
market.
you're going to discredit mobile
Dedicated
phones,
console market.
you can't count handhelds.
I'm not discrediting them. I said if we want to count them, the market's bigger than ever. But I said dedicated gaming device market has shrunk.
If you count handheld, you have to count mobile.
Okay,
you don't have to count mobile, but then you can't.
I said dedicated gaming market. The products are only built for playing games.
I understand.
Has shrunk, and
yeah,
that market has shrunk
I understand that.
Because
you have to realize we live in a different time. So even though those were dedicated and a phone is technically not, that has still replaced that.
That's my point. I said the market we are currently playing video games in on these systems has shrunk because it's shifted over to this, which is not the same thing. I love games on here. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. All right. I don't agree with you, but I understand what you're saying. I defend your right to say it.
Well, do you think gaming's the same on a phone? I agree. Phones
I think it's like I think in 2023 it's the equivalent of what a handheld dedicated system was for some people.
So
back in like 2005.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe this would be
sure
a good way to handle. I mean, it also gets complicated because like generations aren't as clear cut now because like the Switch Wii U threw everything off.
Yeah.
But so let's say so the total lifetime to the 360 is 84 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then PS3 is 80. It rounds to 87.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Wii was like 101, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was 101.
It rounds up to 102. So if I'm rounding PS3 down, I should round that one up. That makes sense. All right, so plus 102. All right, so of those three systems, about 273 million they sold. All right, so then what should I include to give us a good? Because obviously we're in the middle of the generations for. I mean, it's just kind of weird because obviously
for PS5 and yeah, so like I would for now I would go with market we know, which would be like Switch, PS4, Xbox.
Okay,
One.
All right, so 273 is the number to hit, right?
They don't even have sales data for it.
And the thing is, Switch and PS4 are still selling, right? PS4 is obviously slowing down, but PS4 currently looks like it's at 117 if I round down.
Yep.
Right. Switch is currently at according to this 130. We'll be rounding down, but it's almost halfway. But I'll just lowball it plus 132, and then Xbox One.
Yeah.
Right. Plus 58. So that's 307, which is a higher number.
That's not a higher number. What are you talking? Do you include DS? 150 million?
Okay.
Skipping that was a dedicated.
Oh well, okay. Well then, PSP so we would have to count. We would have to count DS
and PSP
and PSP. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, that was my point. Is like the dedicated gaming market, and I get that a lot of the handheld gamers shifted over to phones, but think about what they shifted.
Well, then at that point, we should also add 3DS and Wii U, right?
Sure,
That's
yeah,
only fair.
But
absolutely.
Right, so
the only
all right,
reason
so
they're not
hold on.
playing the same kind of games is because we've gotten to a point where things are powerful enough, like the Switch, to be able to play the big screen games on the same system.
But the phones today are more powerful than Switch. I don't really understand.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying there's no need for handhelds that have inferior games than console games anymore. There used to be you couldn't get that quality in handheld form, so they would
Well,
make
then
different.
why are we getting the Switch 2 then? That is inferior to consoles.
It can still play console level games.
Some, not all.
Okay, but
You
there's
can
no
play
need
console
for
level
them to
games on an
play.
iPhone right now.
There's no need for them to play
Yeah.
to make everything like a
Just for the
top-down,
record,
like
if you
core
count
version
DS, then
of
yeah,
the
that
regular
generation
game.
has more sales. Just
Yeah,
in
and
terms of
PSP,
raw
like it's
numbers, right?
significantly more.
But there's
Like
there are other
200
angles to
times
this,
more.
right? Like revenue,
Yeah,
things
but
of
see,
that
revenue
nature.
is so different today because now we have all the subscription services, microtransactions. I mean, look at what FIFA makes today compared to 2002. Like, it is insane the amount of revenue it makes. It doesn't mean the sales are any better. It's just the same players forking over more money to play the same game. That's why, like, when we hear, oh, games are cheaper. Yeah, inflation. Games also are now charging us money for costumes that you never had to pay for back in the 90s. You didn't pay money to gain access to a hat. We didn't have loot boxes. We didn't have season passes. Like, they have subsidized the lack of inflation hitting the game prices, which we did just go up $10, for other sources of revenue that have proven to actually be significantly more profitable. That's why the profit margins are so that's why mobile phone games are free to play,
Yeah.
because
So-
all those microtransactions and everything are so much more lucrative.
Something I want to point out though, because
True.
I counted
true.
like, the amount of people that bought systems from
I-
that time, right?
Shout out to
Let-
Nintendo
let-
for not forcing.
Let's
a
point
lot
out
of
there's a lot of double dipping,
far.
right? Like just because someone buys a system, that doesn't mean that's one person per system, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily tell us the amount of people.
Yeah,
playing,
I
right?
know. There's not really an accurate way to know. Like, I own multiple Switches, and like there's no really.
Right. Because like most
That's why I
Nintendo
just- we
fans
just
bought
have the
DS
data.
and a Wii, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we
you know,
just have the data, and we can't like make assumptions. Like, we can make assumptions, but we can't. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I mean, more people
It's
exist
hard.
now.
and
But
there's
I-
more
to
people
your
that exist
point, I
now.
mean,
And I know
mobile-
plenty of people that had a DS, but then the family had a Wii, but all the kids had a DS. Like, how do you count that? I don't. Yeah, how do you? I don't know. Like that's why I said I just go off the raw data because it's too hard to make assumptions on things. But
I mean, I think
anyways,
one thing
none
we
of it
agree
really
on,
matters.
though,
The
is
point is,
that
I'm not saying the industry's not healthy. Obviously, Switch selling what it did. PlayStation's still really, really popular. I do think the industry's hitting a point though where for dedicated platforms, only two can survive.
well, Xbox is making that an easy one.
Well, Xbox for starters only really had one good generation. But besides that, they are going the service route where they want Game Pass on everything. And I think the key thing for them is going to be if they can somehow capture this market and get people to play streaming on their phones.
Well, with those new iPhone
They're
chips,
trying. I don't know if they're going to,
Yeah.
but if they can crack into that market, they're already
Yeah.
getting into the smart TV market. I don't
Well-
know if people know all the top end smart TVs come now with the Xbox streaming app installed.
Sure. I would say that it's tough with phones because most people who have a phone don't want to waste their battery playing, a high fidelity game. I don't.
I don't think people really think about it until their phone.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
I think most people aren't thinking. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't people who do it. Obviously,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are. Right?
Obviously,
But
yeah.
I think
there is an audience that does play like the higher fidelity games on phones because they do exist.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people do that, but is that
I mean, there's some solid games.
is that
on
a
phones.
big audience?
I don't know. I mean, the big
Yeah.
we already know like all the
It's
top
bigger
apps are.
than Zero, which is what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And that's why I
deny
focus
that.
so much on the dedicated gaming space because I've always been in the dedicated gaming space and I play games on my phone. And I have always said this is a legitimate gaming device. So are your tablets. But it's just, is that all you're using it for? If you're a kid, that might be all you're using it for. My kids don't use their tablets for anything but playing games. It's all they do. Roblox is an example, massive game with children.
Yeah.
Minecraft, like that's what they're doing on these things. But as they get older, that often changes as they get more into social media and other things. But
So, just me thinking about Xbox becoming more of like a streaming service moving forward, like
it is
because
well,
we touched
basically
on
yeah.
Eric touched on like Game Pass coming to Switch, right? Like
Yeah.
I can envision that if it was kind of like mostly Xbox only,
Sure.
and that kind of makes sense, right? Like if they eventually kind of go away from,
Wait.
like
I just
hardware.
gotta say to rack shit that I've literally just spent this entire segment agreeing with Andres and then saying fair point to so many things Nate has said. And he said, stop arguing like a kid. Jake,
Oh.
you idiot.
Dude, rack shit for
No,
starters. You have
keeping it
literally
clean.
hold on. I don't like insulting audience. I don't know who you are. You literally have the word shit in your name.
Yeah, it's
I just
it's
wanna
literally his
point this out.
name.
I
How
just
else
want to
would
point
you
this
say
out.
it?
If your parents named you that, you can legally change your name.
Rack shit.
And this is a username on the internet. It could be anything. And you don't even have a profile picture.
I mean, it might just be his name.
I feel like this might be a troll because if you
I
actually
don't
pay
know.
attention, Jake's been very kind to both of us. He's disagreed at different points, but he's also like, actually, that's a good point. Like that's good. Like he's seeing how there's an argument both ways. But Andres, and this isn't even like a typical Andres versus Nate thing. Sometimes we get really heated. Like this is nothing. We're basically like, hey, there are good points both ways. It's just. It's sort of an irrelevant point. Is the gaming market bigger than it's ever been?
Are we?
Yes.
We're just kind of talking. This
Yeah,
is
we're
fine.
just kind of a discussion.
Honestly,
This
we are
isn't
being.
I really
something that, like,
brought out
matters.
the anger.
Like this isn't like something that matters. Like if it was something that mattered, we'd be more heated. Like we're talking about Metro Prime 4 release timing or something, and I'm like, it got canceled.
Like, I feel like when I see comments like that, like, do you think we hate each other? Like, yeah, no, because we do. Like, we're definitely like not friends or anything.
Yeah, I totally get these
brings me
guys.
on because he hates
Here's
me
the thing.
so much.
I get all three of these guys to come on my show for free while I'm making money through super chats, and they're just like,
spend 3.5 hours in the
as
podcast.
soon as we
and
end
then
the show, they're like,
another
fuck
hour.
you. I'm
Yeah.
not coming on next
Yeah,
week. And then
right.
I'm literally on my hands and knees to try to get you to
God.
come back on.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Woo!
I'm just heating the meat. That's all it was. That's all it was.
Hey.
Hey, if you've ever seen Beer Fest, you know that's how you heat the sausage.
Hey, Nate, fuck you and your sexy little fucking gray shirt with your peach collared shirt over it.
I actually was gonna wear a black shirt, but I kind of figured you might, so I had to mix it up.
You know me
The
too
black
well.
looks so good with the salmon.
We've
but I'm
done
like,
everything but fuck each other. We've done everything but fuck each other.
no,
Wait.
hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on.
Is there a
I know we
comment?
talked about pepperoni nips.
Shit.
We
Okay,
talked
guys.
about
it's
pepperoni
getting late
nips.
for me.
We didn't go there.
I am
When do we end the stream?
I've been trying to end it for a
I
bit.
immediately regretted my decision to bring that up.
So
I don't think we need an
All right.
outro, guys. I think that
Here we
was the
go.
outro.
All right, we're gonna go. We'll go around the room quick. Anything you want to talk about? You got upcoming content, where they can find you. Our mods got the links and all that. They can grab it from the description. Andres, restart. You got anything coming up you want people to know about?
Probably talking about Switch 2 tomorrow.
Oh, you're finally gonna talk about the rumors. Hell yeah.
Maybe.
I'm so excited. I really want to see. I know I get to talk to him all the time and have him on the podcast, talk behind the scenes, but his videos, he always brings up stuff he didn't quite mention, and I love it.
Yep.
He always holds a little something in.
never reveal
You gotta
never
keep it
reveal
guessing.
it all.
It's not
Gotta keep it
intentional.
guessing. Eric,
I
Yeah,
just think of things
here.
sometimes.
I know you are here.
I'm here.
At least I didn't lose to you this year.
There is that.
But technically, last time we did a bet, you won as well. I'm now like
Still 2
over
weeks
3 of my
left.
last 3 bets. By the way, I said I was going to
Yeah.
mention this. Speaking of bets, on the stream last night, I said I was so confident Switch 2 was coming in 2024. I bet my YouTube channel on it. But no one took the bet. So
Cool.
technically, I haven't decided if I want to make this an open-ended bet.
But
Because
the thing
then
is,
Jake
most of
might
us
come
are
in
team
and be like, "Hey,
2024.
if I win this bet, look, I mentioned this in my video today. I was like, gosh, if Jake took the bet, I don't think he'd fire me.
No, dude, I would never take your channel. I would never
being able to tell Nate what to do. I'm gonna go to him and be like, look, I'm gonna make a Switch 2 video today. They're like, no, you're not. We're gonna talk about the Portal today.
Wait. We got a Rex shit update, which is is it Rex? Dude,
You're gonna
I'm
turn
so
me into a
sorry.
Pokemon channel.
Wait. I think his name is pronounced Rax Sheet. That would
Is
make
it?
sense. And I am so
Yes.
sorry, bro, because I wasn't
That's what I
trying to
was
make
trying to
fun of
tell
you.
you.
Oh,
I didn't know how else to pronounce your name.
wait. No. So for starters, he took everything as a joke. So kudos to him.
No. I know.
I get a
you
lot of
got me.
shit to my
By the
name
way,
as a
by the
little
way,
half,
Raxi,
I just wanted to piss him off a bit.
you got me.
yeah,
You did it. You mission accomplished.
shit out of you.
got me.
Gotcha. For once, it wasn't me. All right.
Yeah.
I was just
By
defending
the way,
premise.
Nate,
You were
I got a
You
bone. I
didn't go too
honestly,
far, but I was like, what the fuck?
Nate, I have a bone to pick.
You know
with
what? There was a balance. It was a balance because everyone was calling you so sexy.
Yeah, dude, everyone was being so nice to
All
me
right,
earlier, so I think I got
Andres
used to
said
it.
he's got a bonus. What's going on?
Not a bonus, a
Bone to
bone.
pick.
Pause.
Well, that's even worse.
Um,
He's got a
yeah,
bone.
it is. But I honestly I have a problem with you wagering your YouTube channel.
Why is that?
I just think that's dumb. Like, isn't your
No
YouTube
one
channel?
took it. No one
Listen,
took the bet. So I
tell
wagered
me,
against myself.
tell me I'm wrong. But outside of your family, is your YouTube channel not literally the most important thing in your life?
No, it's not.
What
I
is
can't talk about the thing that's more important because we don't talk about it on my channel.
Well, that's
more important
definitely
than your
interesting.
family?
We don't talk about religion on my channel.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fair.
okay.
Fair.
All right. Oh, outside of family and religion, is YouTube not the most important thing in your life? Your channel that you've worked on for years, blood, sweat, tears, misery, depression, all that, passion, despair.
It's up there.
Like it's your career, it's your life sustenance,
Yeah,
it's
I
your
can get
dream,
another
your
job.
passion. Like,
It's not that I can't work anywhere else.
but this is your dream.
It is my dream, and I'm not quite there yet. But
Sure, but the thing is, if you lose your YouTube channel,
I
that's
know
like-
I lose what I'm passionate about. I get it.
like I just
there's also
I
a
just
part of me
don't
that
I
goes-
just don't think you should
I'll
even
say
run
this: there's
a,
also a part of me that goes, "I
small
lost
chance
the
of
YouTube
losing that.
channel." But here's the thing, and I love my YouTube channel. But there's also a part of me that because maybe this is just because I'm older now. Like when I lost Zelda Informer, I was devastated. Would I be devastated if I lost my YouTube channel? I think for a moment I'd be very sad. And then as I get a different career path and I start to realize, oh, now I have time to play video games, I get to re-pick up the passion that started this channel in the first place. I played 500 hours of Switch this year. That's the lowest amount of time I have spent playing my Switch because I was too busy doing content full time for the first time in my life.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
why would why would you bet your channel? What was even the bet? I forget.
Switch to
Why would I
2024.
bet the channel? Because Switch 2 is coming out in 2024. And whoever took the bet would have to pay me something equally valuable.
Yeah. I guess honestly, I guess that is
Your channel's pretty valuable though. Like,
Yeah,
what's someone gonna have
that's
to
what I'm
give
saying.
you?
My channel isn't just like a throwaway 5,000 sub
Wait,
channel.
so
that
what would they have to give if they lose?
It would have to be something equally valuable. I don't know what that is to them.
What monetary value would you give that cash?
Yeah.
Well, you
How
want
much-
to do
how-
cash value.
Like, how much would you say?
Yeah,
you'd
let's
sell your
say
channel
that's the
for?
thing I wanted to give cash.
Like,
What's
sell my
what's the
channel
value?
for
What's
based
a
on current.
reasonable price?
Unless honestly, that might be a little too much to ask. You don't have to reveal that if you don't.
No.
I mean,
Like,
well, we're not
here's the
we're
thing.
not asking to tell us how much he makes. We're asking how much his channel should be valued. That's two different things.
Like cash value. Like if I was to sell my channel, like what would I actually sell it for?
Because you got to think
Yeah.
about its potential, right? Like I think that.
Yeah,
should take
I gotta,
into
because
value.
I gotta remember the channel's me, and I already know the value after I sell it's going to sink for the buyer. But that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about what the channel value is to me in the future if I just kept it
Right.
and where it's going. I'd probably be willing to sell it for 10 mil.
Jesus.
That's not even
So
life-altering money.
basically, you expect
Yeah.
people to take a bet
I
that
didn't expect
they'll
people to
give
bet
you
10
$10
mil. There's other
million
things you can give that are valuable.
if the Switch releases in 2024, but you'll
Yes,
give
I
them
expect
your
Elon Musk to
YouTube
come out
channel.
and take the bet.
But you'll give them your YouTube channel if it releases 2025, and you're surprised that no one's taken that bet.
I didn't think anyone would take the bet. That's the point. It was
Yeah.
just a ridiculous statement that no one was ever going to take, and no one did take it.
Because no one wants to put $10 million up on it.
Sam West, yes,
What?
yes.
I built this channel from the ground up, and I'm so proud. I got just to bet my channel. No,
Yeah, for $10 million.
That's confidence. Do you not understand? Like,
Dude,
know
I bet my
I
channel
can't
that the
say.
Switch
It's
comes out
coming
in
next year.
2024 for $10 million.
I'm not worried about it. It was a bet with insider information. I did insider trading. It wasn't a risk for me. It's coming 2024. I literally already said this in a video. I have a source.
No one let Carl Jobs watch that statement.
Insider trading. It was a unlosable bet.
All right. So, hypothetically speaking, if you were to make that bet, and then tomorrow there's a virus outbreak, and we literally have a real life zombie apocalypse, and
well, the money in my YouTube channel,
money doesn't matter then.
Won't even matter anymore at that point. YouTube won't even matter.
No, but someone's gonna write you a letter.
Internet will cease to exist.
Someone's gonna write you a letter because we're
How is it
gonna
get delivered?
To
what government service
and satellites, and they're like, "Hey, you owe me your channel."
Yeah. There's a zombie apocalypse, but the postal service still works.
Yeah, sorry. Look, you can have the login to my channel. YouTube doesn't exist anymore, but here you go. Have this useless.
Here's a login info.
Here's a login for the internet that doesn't work. My bad. You want my old router while you're at it? I'll give you that too.
Or what you could do,
router? I hardly know her.
You probably could break into Nintendo headquarters, find a Switch 2 prototype, and send them that instead, and be like, "Here it is. It existed."
I think someone else probably would have broken and done that before I even get to.
Well, maybe there's probably a warehouse somewhere.
Well, that's your opinion.
It is. All of this is.
Anyways, it's just called confidence. Confidence of a man going 0 for 3. I love it, Race fans.
Irrational confidence.
I love it. I might be responsible, but no one took the bet.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Irrelevant. Yeah. It's irrelevant. Nobody took the bet, so there is no bet. It's not a big deal.
So then at this point, Jake, what do you got going on?
For what? Oh, shit. You can find me. You can find me on YouTube, Jake Randall. Find me on Twitter /X. Same thing. I'm gonna release a PlayStation Portal video eventually, but that's it. I'll keep it short.
Yeah, and he's secretly plotting the next bet he knows he's gonna dominate me at.
I don't know, dude. I'm not a plotter. I'm not in the moment guy. You know me.
Yeah, and you're very good at reading the moment. I have to learn to bet better against you.
Yeah, it's all right. See now I'm like
maybe we bet the next
humiliating because I feel like you're gonna beat me in the next one now.
Yeah, we should bet on the next Bucks Celtics game.
Ooh, that's a good bet.
I mean,
is that Milwaukee? I think the next one's at Milwaukee. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, Celtics are taking that.
Pretty sure Vegas odds would definitely have Boston winning.
No, our chemistry is getting so much better. Thank you for Drew.
Yeah, Boston is getting pretty scary.
Oh, that's what you say today. The next time he has a shit game and you lose because of it, you'd be trashing him just like all the other.
No, he does the intangibles, man. Even when the stat line's not there, he's all over the court on both ends.
Oh, I know what Drew is.
Yeah.
But when you have to rely on him to score late in the playoffs because Tatum doesn't know how to show up, it is what it is.
Dude, we have Porzingis, White, Brown. We've got plenty.
Gray, green.
Yeah, keep bringing up guys that keep getting injured, and all right. You got Purple coming off the bench, right?
Dude, White and Brown are both really good. Yeah. We don't have Green anymore. We did for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Nintendo Pride podcast. You hear us everywhere podcasts are heard. We're trying to get all the audio versions up. If we don't, it's my own fault because
I just sent them to you. So
you can send them to me, but that's not uploaded.
I know.
And the funny thing is, he sent it while he has access to upload.
Yeah. I didn't want to.
I don't pay him. I don't pay him. I don't pay him. This is volunteer. All right. Just thank you for doing the work.
Yeah. Well,
now I just have to get off my ass and actually hit upload.
You also weren't here, so I would have had to prompt you.
Hey, I love you, chat. Thanks for being nice, mostly. And Rack Sheet, I'm sorry I said your name wrong, and I had fun.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week for episode 31. And then,
31.
Oh my gosh, we're actually gonna not miss a week. I just realized we're actually gonna have an episode every week. We're gonna hit 52 weeks.
Hey, really?
Holy shit, we didn't miss a single week.
Oh, well,
even the week I was gone because you filled in for me.
Yeah,
dude.
Remember.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey
Still
on.
2 weeks left, bro. Let's see what happens. zombie
I could
apocalypse.
die in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could die.
Let-
We have. Oh, by the way,
let's not
I
even
just want to
go
throw this in. We do have Josie Woe coming on next week. Those remember who she is. I don't know if you know, but hey, we have someone coming on next week.
there. Cool creator. It's gonna be a good time.
Later, guys. Peace.